in, everyone, to episode 137 of the Battlecast podcast. I'm your host, Peng, joined by my co-host Anicor, and apologies ahead of
Cheers.
time. I'm top cut Anicor, I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
But that felt like forever ago. I'm
Yeah.
different background, different setup. Hopefully my audio is not too scuffed. I brought my mic, but I don't have my mic stand or anything. I am visiting my dad and my stepmom.
Wait, you're just holding it in your hand?
I'm holding it in my hand. Yeah. Here
That's
we go.
wild,
You
bro.
see? Yeah.
All right, good
Yeah.
luck.
So I might have to put the mic down to like switch between tabs because I'm just using my laptop. I don't have like multiple monitors, so that's just a heads up. It's a little.
Have you ever tried holding a mic for hours?
Yeah.
Just saying,
The
I don't
time,
think you thought this
the
through,
time,
innit?
the time to stop recording is when I can't hold this mic anymore. As a heads up, right? So for those that are wondering, if it's shorter than usual, now I think we'll probably just go on our typical rambles, and I'll make it work. But yeah, I just came back from Knoxville, and I got a ride with Polly actually on the way down, and then I'm in Atlanta for a few days until I go home. Funny enough, we actually got pulled over by a cop on the way down.
I swear. What
Yeah,
for?
nothing. The cop said there was a car parked on the side with hazard lights on, and Polly didn't drive around it. Like, he didn't like slow down around it or give it space. Like, he didn't drive into a car, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And Polly's just like, oh, okay, like, sorry, I didn't see it. I just saw like you tailing me, because he saw like a car tailing him, and he didn't know what
Yeah.
was up, and I did too. And I swear there's no hazards. I'm pretty sure this cop just had like a quota to me, because all he did was give
Yeah.
Polly like a warning. He wrote out this whole document. It was a written warning. That was it.
Bro,
I'm like, what?
man needs to
I'm
get a
like,
job, you know. No, he needs to get a hobby.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Mad.
I'm not in the cop industry, so I don't know specifics, but he was a traffic cop, and maybe he had to give out a certain amount of citations or something. But yeah, I swear I didn't see anything. It was like midnight, no cars on the road, pitch black on the highway. What hazard lights? We would have noticed a car with hazard lights on, And why would Polly not drive? Or I mean, I don't even know what he's trying to say. Drive
Yeah.
around it. Like, he was
Yeah,
going to
not
drive
drive
into it.
around it.
He didn't drive into it. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I I trolled our friends a little bit. So I took a video of the cop car, and like, because Polly had to go sit in the cop car to like get the citation or whatever. He was like patting him down, and like he was like running both our license. Like he was running Polly's license. He grabbed my license. I'm like, I'm just sitting next to him, right? He's like, no, you're not in trouble. I just need to run your license. If everything checks out, you just get a warning. He was gone for a while. So I was like trolling some of our friends, like, Polly got like a cop pulled us over. And a bunch of people were like, oh my God, it's okay, everything.
You
Adib
should have
was like,
started hashtag 3Poly.
yeah, Adib responded with W. Anyway,
Seen
no,
touch
he's
road.
fine though. It was a literal warning for something that I don't even think happened. But anyway, so we're in Atlanta now, so we're going to discuss a bunch of things. Before we get into the YouTube comments and the rest of the stuff, I just want to address something, because some people probably seen it, some people didn't, and that's fine, especially if you're not on Twitter, X, whatever. You probably haven't seen it. Someone, I'm not going to name names and stuff because it is what it is, leaked a DM I sent a little bit ago. It was a couple months ago. And it was I'm not going to read the DM, right? Because it was definitely harshly worded on my part, right? But I wrote a very harshly worded DM to someone, and I pretty much just said, get rid of your accounts, leave the community, never show your face in the community again, because this person committed a sexual assault and was sexually harassing another member of the Pokemon Go community for a while. And, you know, uh, regardless of what people says, I saw evidence of this as well. And in my mind at the time, and I think to some degree still, but in my mind, uh, this was what I could do to help protect the victim in this situation, because this person was still an active member of the community and planning on attending events and stuff. And I don't want to get into too many details because, first and foremost, it's not really my story to share. Second, it's incredibly traumatizing to the victim to even just experience this and see people talk about it. Like, and then third, like, I have no problems. I don't like I don't even care that people know I did this, right? Like I'm not trying to hide anything related to that. But it's more so again, I don't want to draw attention to it because one, the person did leave the community, and then two, for anyone that's curious, we're like, oh, how could you just send this stuff and not get in trouble? I did technically get in trouble. TPCI was not a fan, and they, addressed it with me, of course. So I don't recommend people take this approach themselves, but I'm always honest on this podcast. Me and Anicor, we're always honest about sharing our opinions. Obviously, it's something we can't share. We'll always say we can't share, but we're not going to pretend like something like this didn't occur. But I'm not going to share details related to the actual harassment and assault because one, again, super triggering, not only to the victim and survivor, but for other people that have experienced something similar. And honestly, for people that are talking about it, like that's something I hope you realize, because this is not trauma, right? This is someone's actual like trauma that they've experienced, and this is their lived experience and you know, they don't like sharing this stuff is just like it's not something good for themselves and their mental health and stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean, I recognize that people. I will say this, right? Not everyone that's sharing this or whatever wrote up like this document or quote tweeting or whatever and trying to get me, TPCI take further action against me. Not all of them like are necessarily maybe know the full situation. But some of them might know some of the stuff, and a lot of them they just happen to be also friends with the perpetrator, right? And I get it. Some people want to stand up for friends, but just because someone's your friend doesn't mean that they can't commit certain heinous acts, right? I mean, even though some of the worst people in the world have friends, right, that they care about and they treat kindly. So take it as you will. But I personally don't mind sharing any stuff, but I am looking out for the victim in this situation. And if anyone listening or anyone that's listening to this podcast or sees this podcast on YouTube has a further issue with me, if you really want to get something done, if you want me to be sanctioned or something, you can submit a sport ticket to TPCI, right? That's the best way to get a hold of it. I tweeting about it, like you could say whatever, but honestly, it doesn't. Those that have issues with me going through like vigilante ways are doing the same thing on Twitter right now, right? Tweeting about this stuff, but also on top of it, traumatizing the victim. I chose the routes, but I honored my word. I didn't expose this person publicly for what they did because they followed through on what I requested them. So that's that. So if you came to listen to the podcast just for that bit of info to see our take on it,
Yeah,
you
you
can
can go
leave
now.
if you want, right? If you didn't come for that, you're a regular listener or whatever, then you could stay. Obviously, I mean, you could do whatever, but I figured I'll address it right off the bat so that no one has to
Do you think
people
maybe
that
we should have
find
put it at the end?
look, if
Get those
you
extra views.
yeah, I mean, if a whole mob of people want to really get me sanctioned again really hard, I'm sure some trooper will listen to the whole thing and find the timestamp to share with
Yeah,
their
true, true,
friends,
true.
right? So, um, I'm trying to make life easier for you all, right? Even if you hate my guts. But yeah, that's that. I mean, again, I did what I can to support a victim of sexual violence, and it is what it is. Uh, but yeah, do you have any comments on that, Anicor?
Not too much. I mean, obviously, like I'm not involved, so I feel like majority of
Mhm.
what I have to say is probably not even like relevant anyway.
Yeah,
But then also, I think generally, um, the fact that the actual issue is separate to what's going on Twitter, I don't know, it seems a bit weird to me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Um,
like it. Just yeah. Go
uh,
ahead. Sorry.
yeah, like I don't know. I think this is a weird way of going about whatever this person is trying to achieve in it. But
Yeah, I
that's
just think I know for a fact that a lot of people that are very fervent about this and uh, want to get me punished for whatever X, Y, and Z reasons. I know for a fact that they never spoke to the victim about this issue. And so that's just something. And I'm not, and this is not me to say, go reach out to the alleged victim, right? Go reach out and stuff. No, that's like not your business, right? If
mhm.
you really think nothing happened and you think that I shouldn't have done that, then just let TPCI know, right? Like, evidence was submitted to TPCI ahead of time before I did all that stuff, and so if there's probably a good chance that I wasn't banned permanently or fired completely because they saw some of that. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm just stating uh why, right? Because if I wrote that to someone else randomly for no reason and that was submitted to TPCI, I'd be like, yo, Caleb sent me this out of nowhere. I didn't do anything. And there's no evidence of anything, then I'd assume that my punishment would be a lot more severe. But yeah, that's that. Again, if you are saying that you're here to protect members of the community and make sure it's a safe place, then I hope you own up to it and you actually do that. You don't have to do whatever I did, but there's a lot of ways to support people that have gone through sexual harassment and things of that nature by just being supportive to them and actually kicking out perpetrators out of communities, right? That they're a part of that you might run, So yeah, that's about all I'll say on it. Some people that are very upset with me or whatever and think what I did was had no reason or whatever, they might still keep doing stuff, but it is what it is. We'll address it when it comes. Um, but let's get into the YouTube comments. Unless you have
All
anything else
right.
you want to say on this.
No, no, no.
All right. Let me again. I'm just doing one screen, so it's a little bit harder than usual. But
I'm really wondering how long it will take you.
no,
Like, you'll
no,
probably have to swap hands, so maybe it'll make it a bit easier.
no, no.
But
I'm doing this one hand, man. I got,
bro,
I
that's
got, I got it
ridiculous.
all. One hand right here. All right.
Nah, nah, as in like halfway through.
Oh,
But yeah,
with the holding the mic. Oh,
yeah, yeah,
don't worry,
yeah.
man. I could withstand quite a bit. All right. Let's go with the comments from the episode from 2 episodes ago because we had
Mhm.
nighttime clash on the last one. Crocodile says, "Oh man, just like the tortoise and the hare fable. Congrats on Anicor winning a bet, proving the doubters wrong." And
It's
then
true.
Crocodile says, "Me," and better luck next season. Super Saiyan point 0.5 Goku. Super Saiyan point 0.5. I can't even be mad about that, Rose. That's hilarious. Infamous Smash says because Infamous Smash commented on how hard it is to attend certain events
Mm.
before. I was just wondering like where they're located. Infamous Smash says north of Charlotte, North Carolina. Been to 3 locals. No one showed up. I would be
Oh,
more upset if I had traveled farther and I can't justify traveling to the next closest local. They need a pre-sign with 3 trainers coming and 2 interested on
yeah.
the Play Pokemon site. I also competed at Charlotte and at NAIC last year. It's very fun, but this year has been rough without locals. I know I won't reach 500 points. Going to work on becoming a professor and set up my own events after I move.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
I think that's
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's a really great approach. Um, you know, Unfortunate that not enough people showed up. I think it just unfortunately it depends a little bit on your area as well, even if there are like potential local opportunities. Um, but hopefully it continues to grow. We'll talk more about this later too, but like there's more and more people competing at the regionals, especially when you have
Mm.
repeat regionals like Knoxville,
Yeah.
Charlotte, Liverpool, right? We're gonna have another repeat one at Utrecht. So like, and when we see the numbers are growing from last year, it
Mhm.
does give me hope that more people will be involved.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty excited to be honest. I think also like we were discussing locals quite a lot over the weekend because I guess we'll go into that later as well. But
yeah.
I think maybe using campfire is a really good idea for locals organized in terms of like so this particular problem
Yeah.
of like showing up and nobody's there, maybe getting some sort of like pre RSVP using some sort of group might alleviate that. Do you know what I mean? If you don't have like enough people RSVP, then it's probably not worth showing up.
Well, I got a question for
I
you.
don't
How
know.
often do you use Campfire?
I don't, but the thing
Okay.
is I don't at all. Yeah,
Uh huh.
and I was actually intending when I go back to London, I had this Discord server that I made like way earlier than locals were a thing, but it was to do London locals. Um, but I was going to integrate Campfire into it as well, mainly to potentially attract uh, other players of the game who maybe aren't like completely aware. Because if you think about it, yeah, like we're people who are already invested in PvP, so we already know all the places to go to get whatever we need in terms of like PvP information and stuff like that, right? But I feel like there was probably a large proportion of the community which we aren't aware of. They're probably not on Discord. They're using just whatever the game has to give them. Um, and it's like a almost like an official game feature, essentially. Do
Mm,
you know what I mean? So I feel like that's the reason it has potential because it's so like linked in with the game.
yeah.
There's a local community of mine in London who they're not PvP related, but they do like raids and community days and stuff like that, and their campfire looks pretty booming, to be honest. So I think there's
Yeah.
potential.
I think there definitely is. I know our local organizer James Ablation was using Campfire for
Mm,
the events. I guess a better question is how many people actually showed up because of Campfire, but there were a lot of people that RSVP'd on Campfire, but the people that
right.
showed up were the same people that PvP
I
regularly.
see. See.
So I don't know. But I mean, honestly, it can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't go anywhere, like no one comes because of Campfire, what's the big deal, right? It's like if you're
Yeah.
tweeting about an event and no additional come because of the tweet, you shouldn't just stop tweeting about the event. Maybe in the future someone will
Yeah.
come, right?
Yeah. It's true.
So I mean that's not a bad idea. Maybe some Niantic employees
Yeah.
listening will consider that, right? It'll
I'm
be
definitely going to explore it. Like when I go back to London, I'm going to explore Campfire in tandem with Discord and
yeah.
just see like what kind of routes I can take to increase the numbers of
Right.
participants.
Me personally, I just been using the local like tournament site and just
Mm,
checking. And I think a few of my locals that also do that have been showing up for the same reason too. Cause
mm,
like we'll do like I've been going to like the last two locals I went to were both first time ever I went to that card shop.
uh-huh,
And every both times like there's enough people because other people did the same thing as me. Like they've never been
mm,
to that car shop either, but they also looked it up. So there are a lot of people that I that regularly face in PvP, but like we didn't talk about it ahead of time.
mm.
They also did that too. So yeah. Alex Sanchez says, first time listening, but this was fun to check out as I'm learning more to help with locals. Oh, that's really on topic.
Nice.
Question from more of a VGC background. What would your thoughts be of a tournament mode Great League rotation or the other leagues as well? Just thinking great because it's TBCI format, where whichever Pokemon you bring automatically scale to whatever the highest level they can be for given IVs, and leagues similar to how VGC auto scales everything to level 50. Feel like that could help with the grind on candies and dust, or if you're in a situation you could catch Pokemon with great IVs, but too high level, though not sure how that'll affect the game.
Do you
That's
know what?
interesting too.
Honestly, I
Hmm.
think like I've been thinking that idea is like so necessary. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, slowly, I realized that it probably goes against what Niantic want for the game. Do you know what I mean? Is the
Yeah.
only issue. Like being able to be like, well, this is my Master League Gyarados, yeah, but I'm gonna scale it down and use it in Ultra League. I don't care if it's like a hundo, right? At least I can
Hmm.
use it. And then if I really want to optimize, then I can build a second one which has Ultra League IVs, yeah.
Right.
But again, it's like it's not really the way that Niantic want it to be, right? They want you to have 5 Gyarados, which
Probably more
yeah,
than that, but
which
yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, what you said is exactly how I think Niantic feels about it as well, and I understand. Like, this is not something like I think that would be convenient, but I do understand. And I'll put it this way: I feel like, especially these days, there's less reasons for people to go out and grind a lot unless you're newer to the game,
Mhm.
right? Because for me, maybe for you, right? For a lot of people, outside maybe some shadow events, new shadows, you have
Yeah,
everything you need, right?
pretty
Unless
much. Yeah.
they release maybe a new Pokemon every once in a while, and most of them aren't relevant for PvP.
Mhm.
Once Annihilate came out, yeah, it's relevant for PvP, but everyone just made their Annihilate in like an hour, like in a few minutes, right? And then
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
And then you're back to just grinding GBL and that's it, right? So
Mhm.
from a PvP perspective, I can already see how there's already kind of a lack of interest in some of the other Pokemon Go features, like going out to do routes or all this stuff. And so like, and that just doesn't. So doing this would end up being further away from probably Niantic's vision and mission.
Mhm.
Um, Like, I'll be honest, when we had that, like, what was it? Shroomish? No, not Shroomish. Amoongus or
Oh,
Fungus?
I
The
actually did that,
Fungus
you know.
spotlight? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did because you're a slow grinder, so you need all the tests you can. But I like just got tired halfway through, and it was only an hour,
Yeah,
but I just got a little bit tired, and
yeah,
I've been playing Pokemon Go every single day for like since 2016, right? So like I've been grinding this game for a while, and for me, I was just like after a half hour, I just stopped. I just went
yeah.
home.
Fair enough.
I
Yeah,
dropped a lure on my home stop, and I just like played some other video games for the next 30 minutes. Um,
yeah,
so anyway, so I mean, it's maybe not, and everyone should play the game how they want to, right? It's not like 96 forcing you to play an
yeah.
hour. But what I'm trying to say is, I think if they did that, it would have reduced a lot of the actual like grinding purpose of the game,
Hmm.
and it just kind of kills a lot of what 96 trying to do. I think, like, imagine like Go Tour LA, right? The Sinnoh Tour. Imagine if once you catch a Pokemon, it's an IVC one, and you could just
Oh,
like,
that's
all
it.
right, I'm gonna go home. Yeah, I got what I need, right? I got one hundo Dialga, right? Let's go home, right? I don't need to grind the
Yeah.
rest. Yeah, so
Well, so the thing is, I still think it's a good idea, right?
I
But
think it's a
obviously,
great
not
idea
idea
too.
that they're
Yeah,
not going to think. But then also, it would be like you wouldn't scale up; you'd scale down. So it would help a bit more in terms of like, well, you have to still at least get it to, 1500, or you have to get it to,
I think
2500. You can't just be like 10 CP and then scale up, As
I
in
could be.
VGC, they scale anyway. But as in, like, if you implemented it in Go, making it just so it scales down still means that you have to actually try and get the Pokemon and level it up.
Yeah, I
But
think
it just also
Alex might be
means that
mentioning, the commenter might be mentioning that you could also scale up. I'm not sure.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, because in
Scaling,
VGC they
yeah,
can scale up in it, but like I feel like that would be the one thing where if you imported it into Go, you remove the scale up and it's fine. Because realistically, just putting in the effort to build one Pokemon, I think is a part of the game, right?
yeah.
But then just allowing it to be eligible for Great League once it's a Master League version or something like that is a
Right.
nice quality of life feature, I think.
Yeah, I might be misunderstanding. Maybe Alex is not saying scaling up, but in VGC, it's so easy to scale up when you have rare candies. You just like dump them all into Pokemon,
Yeah,
give it
yeah,
level
true,
nine.
true,
Like
true.
it's really easy to make Pokemon like max level in VGC and perfect
Yeah,
IVs, right? So, yeah, it's just Pokemon Go is a very unique game, and I think like
yeah.
I wouldn't
I
like
don't see them doing
it's
it. So.
yeah, and like part of it is like the accessibility of some of the stuff is a little bit tough at times, but I do think that Niantic has done things to make it more accessible. You know,
Mm,
I would say the game is more accessible than it was when the
yeah.
championship circuit started 2 years ago.
Yeah. To be
Um,
fair, one thing I'd say is Stardust wise. I mean, maybe it is because like these days I don't need to build anything new and I'm not
mhm.
doing like Master
My
League
starter's
relevant
looking
stuff.
good these days. I'm at 11
Bro.
mil.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just
Well, mine's
chilling.
not. Well, actually, mine would have been good, yeah, if I didn't have to dump 5 mil in this flipping Clodsire stream. So,
No, don't. Okay, one
but
is not 5 mil. Two, I.
hey, it was a Clodsire, there was a Mandibuzz, there was a Registeel, there
Oh,
was a whole
no one told you to
Tentacruel.
make the mana buzz and
Bro,
Registeel, right? Tentacruel. That
yeah,
was
the
you.
Registeel was
That was you.
the one that was doing
Speaking
doing
of
the
that
cooking. So.
stream,
Uh,
I got an apology from Auburn this past weekend
oh, why?
because he was like, "Caleb, I'm sorry, man. If I didn't give Anicor a better Clodsire team, maybe you wouldn't have to bleach your hair." I was like, "That's right. I forgot about it." I was like, "Dang, you're right.
Yeah, true that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how much
You
like
best build
I've
me some. You
even
best build the Ultra
even
League Pokemon I'm about to
gained.
face next week in Battle Frontier, so you can scrim against me, right? The least you
Nah,
could
bro.
do. This man's got like
Uh,
26 million dust anyway. What you need to save it
uh,
for? Build that
oh
Ultra League
man.
Licky Licky.
Yeah,
uh,
true that.
yeah.
But yeah, I think like what one thing I've noticed is that every single event,
Mhm.
pretty much every single event, seems to have at least one of the boosted Stardust Pokemon
Yeah.
in Wild Spawns.
Yeah.
And even if it's not a part of the event Wild Spawns, it's going to be like a. I mean, here we have a Lola Meowth just like
Mhm.
randomly about. I think that's sick. Like because honestly, most of the time I don't really catch stuff
Mhm.
in a day. Like I just don't feel the need to. But if I'm ever on the app and I see one of those, I'm going to catch it. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
Why not?
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. Like Stardust is up, so I feel like there's maybe less Stardust issues. in terms of like when it comes to like
Yeah.
building multiple Pokemon.
It
Realistically, I think it's like if something's an XL, maybe there you have the XL. But even like with XLs, it's like if something's in an actual rotation,
mhm.
um,
It's not
you
too
can
hard
kind
if
of
you
get
make it
yeah,
to
it's not
get
too
it.
hard, you know.
But
I'd say
there's some
okay,
stuff
one
like
example.
Exo Palisand. No,
I
that
was
ain't
about to say, yeah,
happening.
yeah. I was
Yeah,
about to
yeah.
say,
But luckily, it's not that
yeah,
relevant for Battle Frontier
yeah, yeah,
Enchanted. I don't
yeah.
know. My teammates were
But I
telling me
think
that because I
also
was
that,
looking. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I mean, it is
that's
kind of, but at the same time, like I guess you
is
can
it
do
that
without
good?
it, you know. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it
Well,
seems like it has a lot of potential, but nobody has it, so it's like it's a bit difficult to assess, right?
yeah.
Um,
Thank goodness none of
but
my opponents have been
yeah.
walking to the moon every day. I appreciate that.
Yeah. The thing is I think like it was definitely accessible, but you kind of had to have the foresight to be like
To
during the
grind it,
Halloween
yeah.
time to be like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna grind this, you know,
Who would have
because
thought? Because isn't it just a worse Runerigus? How is it better than that? Is it because the mud
yeah.
shot?
Mud shot, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
got like way more flexibility in it. Like Runerigas don't really have
Yeah, you have
ground
scorching
damage, you know.
sand. Yeah,
Like so,
on
you
the
got scorching
Palisand.
sand, shadow ball, mud shot. You're like, it's almost like I don't want to say it's like a Gligar, but it feels
A
like
digger
it doesn't have
speed?
any hard counter, you know.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It can like
True.
hit most things for like neutral, same
Yeah,
as a
that's a good point.
Mandibuzz. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
So
Ghost Dark, Ghost Ground. What resist
mm,
that?
Mandibuzz.
Mandibuzz. Oh yeah, Mandibuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like just I guess you don't get normal flyers in Ultra League in it, so it's pretty much
Oh,
just Mandibuzz. So
Pidgeot.
oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a shift tree, cacturn.
I'll let you reflect on those options while I read the next comment. If a smash says, I agree with Anicor about the animations. We as players are looking at the same screen when we battle. It's not expected because it doesn't happen when we battle. It's just not needed. And honestly, it looks like a clip art distraction, especially a new siren for round 3. This was posted 12 days ago, and
Do you
let
know
me
what? And it's only
say,
got worse.
there's
It's
a couple
only got
sirens.
worse. Bro, what
What's
one
fun?
HP in a dream? Yeah. You know what, yeah? Bro, you know what this reminded me of? And I think I forgot about this reference when I tried to mention it last time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember those memes from like maybe around 10 years ago? And they would be like little there'd be like little videos of someone's like no scope, you know, thingy in like COD or some shit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Uh-huh.
they'd like overlay loads of like different animations, and then when you shoot something, then the whole screen goes black and white, and then like a song
Right.
comes up. Bro, this is what it's getting to. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. And if I had the
Mhm.
animation like experience to meme on what they're doing right now, yeah, I would fully do that, yeah. Bruv,
Okay.
imagine like Onion Frank throwing a bait and it's successful, yeah, and then like a little animated
Leaf
joint goes
tornado.
into his mouth and the glasses fall down. This is what he's giving me right now.
I mean, that well, one definitely never will happen in Pokemon events,
Hey,
but
we're getting
two,
close.
that
We're
would be
getting close.
hilarious if that happened, and then he looked at the camera, and then the glasses fell down, and that would crack me up. Okay, I got a question for you and Infamous Smash and the audience too, right? Let's say hypothetically, I don't know, right? I'm just don't say like, oh, Caleb said this is true, right?
Mm,
I'm just saying hypothetically, if TPCI or production really is dead set on these animations,
mhm,
what would you change about the animations, right? Because obviously, okay, the little cartoon siren round game number
mhm.
3, like this has
Do you
the
know
animation.
what?
Like, what would you change to throw in there if they still say, you know what, Anacor? Okay, let's say they're consulting with Anacor, right?
Oh.
It's like Anacor, you got a lot of opinions, right? What? So here's your chance.
uh,
We have to keep animations for whatever reason, right? Or maybe
okay.
the producer's boss is like, my boss says we need to keep animations, right?
Uh-huh.
What would you change about animations? What would you add as an animation to make it seem more hype, but not distract the stream and still
Yeah.
make it feel like a good production?
Okay, so initially, yeah, like the round 3 sort of thing, like that one in particular, I feel like that could be more of like like one of the more traditional stinger transitions. Do you know what I mean? In it, yeah,
Hmm.
but also on time, so it's not actually like you know, oh, the thing's already started. There's a big bell in the middle, and do you know what I mean? Like the Pokemon are
Hmm.
already going at it. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna do that, you could do it in the countdown part, just before the countdown part, like time it a bit better. Yeah. So that obviously means that
Hmm.
whoever's, choosing to put these transitions in needs to be like, kind of on the ball with it. Um, so that's with that one in it. Yeah. So like you can make it a bit more of a formal one. And then it feels like, okay, cool. This is like we're transitioning into the entry of like the third game in it. And then when you do
Right.
that as well, then you can have a bit more creative freedom over what you make that transition, because it's not being overlaid onto the actual battle. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
like, so there's that one. Yeah. Okay. What are the other ones? What we got? We've got catch,
Catch, one hit
one HP
KO,
in a dream,
one
one hit
issue in
KO.
dream.
Um, I just don't like catch. I don't like
Yeah.
catch. I think that just needs to be scrapped. Yeah, because the thing is that the caster's already gassing about it anyway. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
enough. You don't need extra thing. Do you know what I mean? In it, yeah. And then again, when they get the catches wrong, which honestly, like, I'm not even being a hater now. Yeah, is a like too many times. There
Hmm.
is too many times to the point where like what are you even doing? Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, you can say like, yeah, the SME has, a lot to do. Yeah. Well, they just don't do this then. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like sometimes they're hitting catch whenever um the caster says catch. Yeah. And
Hmm.
it's like, it's not even a gas catch. They're literally just saying, oh, we catch the move.
Yeah.
It's not exciting. It's not. So catch, you can bin that. Yeah. One HP in a dream sounds cheesy. There may be like, it's fine for a caster to say it, yeah, but then for you to like put it up in writing, yeah, it feels like you're trying to be one of the kids,
Yeah.
like it's
Oh, I got an example. Like if you're watching a boxing match and a
uh,
knockout happens, the
uh,
commentator's like, "Oh, that's a knockout, right?" And then
mm.
imagine on the screen while you're watching, it just shows knockout on the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'd be thinking like
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
something you do on WWE, yeah, but like, you
I don't think
know,
they do that in
yeah, they
WWE.
wouldn't even do it there, they wouldn't even do it there. So
I
that
think some.
one, uh,
Yeah, what I would say is also. Have you seen have you watched American football ever, like NFL?
not properly, no.
Okay. Well, anyway, so in that, there's essentially like a line of scrimmage, just like where you
Mm.
start off, right, on both
Yeah, yeah.
teams, and then you have to reach a certain point for you to kind of like get another first down, right? You have
Mm.
4 attempts to get there, right? And so they're like markers that the markers are like on the field at the ends, right? They're not in the middle field, they're at the end so that
Mm.
they're on the way the players. And but when you're watching it on TV, they actually put like a blue line for the line of
Mm.
scrimmage,
Yeah,
right? So that you could actually see it. But it's not actually on the field, right? No one's sitting there with a paint doing it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think and when I first watched like football once a kid, I didn't even realize that that wasn't on the field until later. I was like, wait, like that's just someone behind the computer actually adding that line every time.
uh,
And that was like super helpful, right? But because it's just like it's visually it helps the players see the line because it's hard to
mm.
see the line from a viewer perspective. All the players know because they know like they can see on either sides and they need to line up. If someone's like way too far past the line, everyone's gonna be like, "What the heck are you doing?" Right? Like move back, right? But for the viewers, it really helps out um, the viewing experience, in my opinion. And
Mm.
I think that is a good example of like digitally adding something that actually improves the viewing experience.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I personally would love to see something. I don't know what that is though for Pokemon
Yeah.
Go PvP.
I think and I do this a lot as well in terms of, I think, looking to other sports, yeah, like not even necessarily esports, yeah, but also maybe esports as well. I just
Yeah.
don't really watch many. Looking to other sports is, I think, a really good place to look for ideas,
Hmm.
but because of, they've been doing this for decades, is like, multi-billion, or maybe billions too much, but definitely multi-million, dollar businesses for, big sports organizations. So I feel
No,
like,
definitely multi-billion. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
multi-billion then, yeah, yeah. And it's like, they've tested all these things out, so it's
Hmm.
like their ideas you can kind of rely on being like, well, this is, definitely pretty certain. So
Yeah.
I can't think of any ideas particularly, but I feel like, and I get what you're saying as well, like, something that enhances the experience, doesn't take away from it. I don't really know what that is just yet, but honestly, I think maybe other esports are worth looking at. And you know what? I'd say other esports. I'd say fighting games are best to look at
Mm,
because the thing is, I think when obviously Pokemon Company's running, all of the games, right? But I think people are way too quick to be like, oh, the closest comparison is VGC because, that's also a video Pokemon game. When I would actually argue the closest comparison would be if you wanted to go Pokemon based, yeah, Pokken, or just generally fighting games. Because again, VGC is extremely like turn based in it. So,
yeah.
if you're doing something there's a lot of time where you're just sitting there, nothing's going on. Whereas in these fighting games, all the action's going all the time. So, if they were going to integrate something into there, they'd also be aware where, like, okay, well, we don't want to detract from the action. So, how do we implement it in a way
Dude,
that
I just
complements?
thought of something.
Oh,
Well,
go on,
so
go on.
first off, no, I really like your idea of you looking at fighting games. So I think that is
Mm-hmm.
a pretty good comparison. It's also fast paced, right? You try to knock each other out, right? They literally say
Mm-hmm.
like KO, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of fighting games, I think like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they actually have a KO animation in the end.
Yeah.
And that's like part of it. Be like, and you have to announce like KO, right? And all that
Yeah.
stuff. And it's no one finds it cheesy because it's part of the
Yeah.
culture and it's well integrated. I think it's like the animation, I think maybe part of it is also the animation isn't like it's a little bit cartoony, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think also it's Pokemon,
I
so
think
maybe
so
that's
as well.
why.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not very I guess like in my mind, if
It doesn't
something's
feel very
getting
edgy.
knocked, yeah,
Yeah.
if something's getting knocked out, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be like round, bold letters, right?
Yeah.
Oh, knock
Okay,
one
I get
hit
you. Yeah.
knockout, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be like knockout, right? Like something
Yeah.
big, right? What if this would be pretty dope? I don't know if TPC would go for it. I don't know. This is just me spitting out stuff as just a person interested in this, not as a commentator. What if they had like a bunch of knockout animations, and when they
Mhm.
say knockout, it'll be like a Machamp coming in and like uppercutting like a Hitmontop, right? Like coming in, right? Or like but even better is
Uh,
what if it's the Pokemon? So you know how like Mortal Kombat they'll have like KO
oh, that's
sequences,
sick.
right?
That's
So
sick.
let's say
Gligar just knocks someone out of the dig, yeah? And then
yeah,
there's a little
yeah,
animation of
and then you
Gligar
see
just doing
Gligar
like.
coming in and throwing an animated dig at a Lickitung, like looking there and like getting knocked out, right? And they would have to okay, one, that's not easy to do because they
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
make multiple different pairings and the thing is like the meta's changing, right?
yeah.
Imagine like imagine at Dortmund, the new meta changes and all of a sudden, Polyworld's all of a sudden relevant. Who's got time to sit there and make a Polyworld animation, knocking out
Yeah.
not only like an Altaria,
Yeah.
right? But a charger bug and everything else in the meta, right? That's gonna be really tough. But
Yeah.
I think it would be cool, really cool if you could do that, right? Because
Yeah.
all you have to do is you're in the final match of this might be some work for the SME or people running it in production, but like because let's say like the final two Pokemon is like a Swampert versus Altaria, right? Health or low
Mm.
on both sides. You just have to get ready and see like, all right, who's knocking out who, right? You type in the program ahead of time, and then you just press like execute or like submit or whatever when it's the Swampert taking out the Altaria. And if it's the other way around, you do it the other way, right? You
That's
push that
extreme.
notification. That would be dope, though, right?
That would be so sick.
That
Do you
would
know
be
what? I
so
think the
cool.
closest is
And
maybe.
also imagine like a specific. Oh man, this is going to take a lot of money and time, and I doubt this will happen. But a man can dream.
uh,
You have specific animation for different things, because in
so if
Mortal
it's a
Kombat, I feel
dragon
like
breath knockout, if it's just fast move
no,
damage.
not even that. Let's just say
Uh,
like a charger bug, right? A charger
uh,
bug taking out like a Zumro.
mm.
It's like you have a shock it, right? But then like a charge bug, if you somehow take out Bastion, right? That animation looks different, right? You're like dodging the stone edges and then you close in on them and electrocute them. That'd be so cool. Wouldn't that be
Oh
dope?
man, yeah.
That'd be
I
so
think that'd be
dope.
sick. I think that'd be sick.
Especially, yeah, that'd be so. I mean, look, we make fun of you ever going bowling, right?
Yeah,
The
and they
bowling
have the
animations just
little
like
yeah.
their animations are so goofy, but it's like kind of funny, right? You see like a plane like fly through two pins because like you didn't hit either of them. Okay, maybe now that I think about it, I've seen okay, look, that's wild because I've seen that
I
because
swear
I've seen
down.
that. Yeah, I literally have an image of that. But they
Bruv.
no. Let me phrase it.
Which
When I say
bowling
fly
alley is
to,
this?
yeah, dude, every American one, man. I don't know. No. When I say fly to, I mean like fly between, like they don't hit them, right? Because you missed it with the ball, right? That's all right. That imagery,
And
my
so the strike
apologies.
would be what?
The strike is like they just throw like a rocket down or something. It's not a plane. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, every time I see a plane flying past, it's always kind of miss, which is kind of wild. I mean, I'm thankfully that's the case, right? It's not the other way around. But if you don't know what we're referencing because you're too young or whatever, like don't think about it, right?
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're not from
it's
the
tough.
1900s, then then don't
Yeah,
worry.
nighttime classes don't stress out over this one. Just
Yeah.
go back to sorting your old cards. Um,
Uh,
but
but
like
you know
if
what? I
you we
think
like make fun of those bowling animations afterward, but
yeah.
it's kind of like that, right? But if you make it like
I
kind of
think
cool.
so Pogo Doms, he tends to have like
Mm.
some very strange stuff. And sometimes it's like a bit too much for me. But honestly,
But it's like that, right? Because
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah,
Some of
that's
his
actually
ideas are not too
that's an
bad. Yeah.
amazing example because
Mm,
he'll be like you have like a Electivire charge up like he'll show like a clip from the anime where Electivire's
mm.
charging up for a big attack and
We
then
just
he'll
kind of
show the
guessed.
knockout on that, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no, because when I first found out about Pogo Doms was I followed him because of that. That's like,
Mm.
man, these clips are pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, who
Literally,
cares
yeah.
if it was the battles like in like the 300 low range? I don't care, right? These are cool. I don't care what Pokemon
Yeah,
using. Like
yeah. It's
the
true, it's
the
true.
content is actually very unique because no one else is really doing
Mhm,
that. But two,
mhm.
it's short form and it's like and it gets you hyped, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it. Yeah,
I
it's not
think I
easy
think
too,
my
right? To
gripe
make
with it,
those
I
interesting.
think, might have been the sound, because I think the sound's a bit too intense. But
Sometimes,
generally,
yeah, yeah,
I think it was a pretty decent idea.
yeah. What do
Yeah.
you think about that idea? The
I
custom
think
animation.
okay. I
That
think
would be
it
dope.
definitely would need testing. Yeah, but I think it has
It would like
potential. I think
it
yeah. I
would
think
it
it,
would
it
take a
has
lot of
potential.
work
Yeah,
though. So
yeah,
I would not be surprised if that doesn't get implemented in
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
or
Yeah.
if AI
But I
really
think
takes off, they can get AI to make this real
that's
quick for
yeah.
them.
That would be the way to do it
Yeah.
realistically,
But
anyway. But
I don't know if Pokemon would allow like for
AI
official
stuff.
production
Yeah,
to use AI
yeah,
drawings.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that sounds like that would never pass in any
Yeah.
world.
I
So
mean, you know what? Yeah, you say that, yeah, but probably be surprised how much it would.
I mean some people making games
Sometimes,
with Pokemon
yeah,
looking things with AI.
sometimes,
So
yeah, 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 true, true. But yeah, I think there's like back to just animations in general. Yeah, like see what they're trying to do. Feel like there's probably better ways to do it, and I don't know if piling on with extra ones of what already exists
mhm.
is exactly my favorite thing, like with the addition of the what was it, 1 HP in the dream. Yeah, I was like, bro, give it till next season, yeah, until we start just seeing, thanks for the bits and just
I don't really count
like
like that.
all sorts of other like cheesy stuff,
I don't know
so
if Twitch will even survive until next year, but it's a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
different thing. DH Chakan says, uh, Missy cosplay, you should add shaving legs. Or and then also asks, are any of you going to Sinnoh, LA, or Bali Safari? I don't remember a PvP booth during Vegas, but would be cool to meet. Yeah, I will be at the Sinnoh LA one. I don't, to my knowledge, there's not PvP booths up, but yeah, come find me. I don't know what you look like, but come find me. I'll be wandering around for sure.
Yeah,
Are you
he
going to the
has
Bali thing?
yellow hair. Can't miss him.
Shoot. for Super Saiyan point five.
Yeah.
um, what do you think about the Misty cosplay shaving legs?
Honestly, I don't really want to do that. Like, I think it's already, to be honest, probably
All right,
funnier
sounds like
without
we should
shaving
add it
legs. And
then. Sounds like we should
nah,
add
but
it.
no, it's more like okay, I don't mind shit, but it's just like it just sounds like so much effort.
Okay.
And
The only reason why
long.
I'm not like super into it, I'd be down.
Oh,
The only reason I'm not super into it is because I'm trying to imagine if I lose this bet, I
yeah.
fly into London Sunday night and I'm very jet lagged and I had to wake up early to check in and everything. And on
Mm.
top of that, I got to spend the whole night in the shower shaving my legs.
Yeah, bun it, man. Like I'd rather be preparing for the event as opposed to like shaving my
Yeah.
legs. You know what I mean?
I will say
Easy, easy.
also, one thing about UIC is that the winner would have to hit legend pretty quick
Yeah,
because
it is.
it's It's like
It's
the
like a
first
month
week
in.
of
Yeah.
April. Yeah.
I'll be trying.
I will be trying too, but there's a small chance that neither of us will
It's
hit it.
possible. It's possible. Yeah. It's possible
Uh,
no one will hit it. Like, I mean, how quickly do people hit legend? Like the first legend,
a month is pretty quick.
is it?
Mm,
We'll try. We'll try. We'll try.
what you think about first to expert
Uh,
for the Misty thing?
but then, do we abandon the legend bet then?
So how about this? We'll do first to expert for the Misty thing, and the
Mm.
legend bet will be the clown face for the
Okay.
podcast.
Okay.
The
Okay.
moment that you don't get the clown face, the moment that you miss legend, you have to do part one, the clown mask. So it's not like you
Oh,
have
what does that
it's
mean?
for every week. Because before it was like you have a week, the following week to do the
Oh,
clown
right. Yeah.
legend,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So immediately clown makeup, and then every
Wait. Why
subsequent week,
immediately?
because that's like
Oh,
because why
right.
would
Oh,
it be?
because
Yeah,
one
because
person lost.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
hit legend and then
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be like, well, if I hit legend next week, I don't do clown mask, right? No, I
Yeah.
have to
Fair enough. That
immediately do
makes
clown
sense.
mask,
That
right?
makes
And
sense.
then
Okay.
subsequent
Okay.
weeks
Okay.
you add more.
Okay.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That also makes the veteran bet even more impactful because you gotta be running freaking
Loud.
Loudred immediately once the other person is veteran.
Oh,
And
mate, that's so
when they're
annoying.
vets, they're only 250 points away from expert.
That's so annoying. You know, I
I like
haven't
it.
booked my ticket from like Japan to the UK yet, but
Well, what's that to do with the bet? You can hit
it has to
expert in
do with the
Japan.
bet because like
If you're in Japan, you can't GBL.
well, I can, but it would just be a bit awkward, you know what I mean? And, you know, or like I'll be. The thing is, I'm planning to stay for a couple weeks, and a couple weeks takes me to like early March.
You know,
Um,
the thing is, around mid March, you should
mm.
definitely start looking at places that you could buy Missy outfits just in case you need to get it ASAP for USC. I don't want to. I don't want to
Look,
see no. I
let
ain't
me
going to
just
go
say,
to USC and
Amazon.
see some Missy dressed up like Missy with short black hair. Right? That's going to throw me way the heck off. That's going to look even weirder than the wig. To be honest, you're going to be like, "What happened to Misty?
Don't
This is
watch, don't
identity
watch.
theft."
No, this is London, isn't it? Yeah, like Amazon, 24 hours, no problem.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, that's not an issue. In it.
All right.
But yeah, okay. So no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna go full try hard. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
bruv, watch, yeah. My favorite Mexican artist gonna drop a new album around that time. It's over for you, bro. It's, it's over for you. Yeah, when that new album drops, it's
Yo,
over.
I don't know how many Japanese listeners we got, but if you in Japan, you hit up Anicor, you show them a good time, yeah. You get them, you go bring them to the sake bars every night, right? Yo, honestly, you don't have to do nothing. Just stand around Anicor. He be talking your ear off for 24 hours a day. He gonna forget about GBL real quick. Don't
Nah, they'll be
worry.
giving me tips. They'll be giving me tips. Don't watch, yeah.
No, I know
Bro,
you barely even play Pokemon Go at the
they're gonna
actual
call me
events. You think you go PvP when you're around people?
they're gonna call me Vix Anicor 13
What's
or
Vix
Anicor X
Anicor?
Go. I don't know. These are
Anicor
just some of
what?
these these are like some of these Japan teams, in it. You know,
Oh,
I
oh.
don't really know who they are.
Yeah. Jesus 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A Christopher says 3 hours of the boys and they're both looking good. Let's go. Was that
What?
when I had blonde hair? No, I didn't have blonde hair. Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
That's
Unfortunate.
yeah.
No,
Well.
you had dyed it actually. Yeah, you had. That was the
Oh, I
first one.
did. Yeah, sorry. I'm looking
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
intro. That's why. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I appreciate it. No one really gave me any don't walk near elementary school jokes since then, so I appreciate it. Uso says next time they will add the animation Anicord. Whether that reports a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave it to the team. You know, that would be funny because that could be a bunch of different things.
Yeah, yeah, that could be someone didn't show up.
Yeah,
Someone didn't get
yeah,
enough sleep.
yeah.
Someone
So
got a lot of sleep and absolutely destroyed their opponent. Yeah.
someone lost a valiant fish again.
Hey.
Not too soon. All right, we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. We'll talk about that later. T. Wastel says the cheaper energy of Palkia's new move is pretty helpful for it too. I think Origin Palkia with the signature move can actually win zero shield Dialga, whereas normal Palkia loses. That's good to know.
Sick. Yeah.
I probably won't have one built, but that's good to know.
That
I
should be easy
agree.
to build one though.
I don't have the
Like if you're doing the
XLs and I
tour,
need the
no,
hundo. It's not
no, no. But
easy to
like you're
mount.
probably doing loads of raids, right? What else is there
Okay, let me
even to
put it
do
this
on
way.
tour? Oh,
I I went to New York Go Fest
uh,
and also Osaka, right? And there was
yeah,
Xerneas
yeah, yeah,
spawning, right?
yeah.
So guess how much Xerneas XL candy I have?
Like 700.
Okay, and so theoretically I should have a Xerneas built, right? If that's the
I guess
case,
so. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't have one built.
But
You're
why?
right though. I got like
Yeah,
760 XLs. I could build
yeah,
two because the IVs are all terrible. I don't have
yeah,
close to
yeah.
hundo.
I got the same problem
I've
to be
done a
honest. Yeah,
ton of Xerneas lucky trades.
yeah.
I did like 5 this weekend at Knoxville.
That's mad. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I've given away shiny everything for him. I have a ton. I have like maybe like over 12, 20 shiny lucky Xerneas in my storage. They're
That's
all,
mad.
yeah, terrible. I don't have like a 98. Yeah.
Do you
So,
know what? Unrelated, yeah. But can I just say
mhm,
something?
yeah, of
So,
course.
and you know what? Maybe I'll look for this when I'm in Japan. There was one guy who was on like because there was like a world's Discord server in it, yeah. And there was one
Hmm.
person who was on that Discord server who during Osaka Go Fest they did it in Nara instead, yeah. And it was still like possible to get
They're
all the
within
Go
the
Fest
range.
bonuses and stuff, yeah,
Really?
within
That's pretty
in Nara.
interesting.
And so they were catching Xerneas with the special background but with a location tag of Nara. And I was like, that is the sickest Pokemon
Oh,
to ever have. Because obviously
that's
Nara's
pretty
famous
dope.
for their deer. Yeah. So like catching a
Oh, I didn't
Xerneas
even think
from there
about
with the
that.
background, bro, honestly.
Wait,
And I was
who?
like,
Where's this
so this is
person
the thing.
at?
I messaged them, yeah, and because they're based in Australia, I messaged them and I was like, yo, I'm just wondering, like, could we start building friendship? Because I'm going to be back in Australia, and it's
Hmm.
very likely that I'll be, like if you're going to an event, I'll be there, and then maybe
Hmm.
we can try and get lucky and like do the trade.
Hmm.
Ignored me, didn't respond.
Yo, DM me the name. Let's see if they respond to me. Like, oh, Caleb
I'll have to
Pay?
find it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. But if they respond to you, yeah, I swear down, yeah, I'm coming for them. Yeah. No,
No,
where's my Xerneas?
no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say they didn't respond to me, even if they did, and then when
Uh,
I get that hundo lucky Nara Xerneas, I'm like, yo, what's up? Surprise! I've
But
been
I'm gonna
cooking this
see
for
if it,
a
like if
strong
I can
90
find
days.
this in I reckon it's probably a low chance, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
see if like maybe I can scout out when I'm in Japan
Right,
if
right.
anyone would have it. But I feel like that's such a niche thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like you know what I'm saying? It's like, I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
you because like what are the chances that you had a ticket to Go Fest Osaka and you were
and
in
you weren't
Nara
in
and you didn't
Osaka.
go to Osaka?
Yeah, especially you're that
Like
close to Osaka.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wait, so
So
this person just never went to Osaka because they're busy or
they did.
something?
They decided to do it in Nara. They were like, Osaka's too busy, which is
Oh
like fair
wow.
enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nara's I really like Nara a lot. Dude,
Yeah, it was nice,
the
pretty.
sake in Nara, the Nara sake,
Hmm.
oh so good. That was so good.
Did you take any
I
back?
was no, what do you mean? I finished both bottles in a day in one
Well, I
night.
mean,
Yeah.
fair
That
enough.
onsen was a little too comfortable. Yeah, I don't recommend. You're not supposed to go in
Uh,
after consuming alcohol, but
yeah.
I didn't know. I
I
was like,
don't-
dang, I was relaxed. Yeah, it was I actually speaking of Tiwasa, because I was with Tiwasa when
Hmm.
I bought it too. We just went to some a convenience store and I bought the the Nara sake and it had like the
Hmm.
deer on it on the bottle.
Oh,
So
someone was
that's why.
actually saying that. I think this was a discussion in that same Discord where it was like there are probably like Japanese import stores in the US or like at least online where you can
Mhm.
potentially find that stuff. Because I think some people
What?
were looking for certain things and they were like,
Yeah,
there's
I'm
some
going back to
stores
Nara
that
for
you
that
can.
alone.
Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
the
Yeah,
Nara sake was, yeah, something else. If
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
knows where I could get that in the U.S., let me know. Tiwasa also says, I agree that shadows should be tradable, and I think they should also be able to be lucky traded. Helps both hundo shadows like Snorlax more accessible. I think the best solution would be to make it such that shadows that have been traded cannot be purified. That I think is a good
That's
idea.
interesting. Okay.
But well, okay, so you could lucky trade shadows is what Tiwasa is
Hmm.
saying. I mean, like I don't agree. Again, from an accessibility point of view, I think that's great. I just don't know if Niantic will go for that in the immediate future, just because again that reduces the grind for shadow legendaries and shadow
True, true.
stops and everything, right? I think shadow. You know how people have shadow hundos, right? And like
Yeah,
they're really rare. Like it's just no one's gonna. I mean, I don't. I'm okay with that because
yeah.
I'm not big like oh look at me and my exclusive shadow hundos. Like I don't really care if other people have them too, right? But I do
Do
think
you have
that
any
yeah,
Shadow Hunters?
I do.
What do you
I
have?
do. I have a couple. How many do you have?
I think I have like 5, but I have some really good ones. I'm not gonna lie.
5? That's actually a lot
Yeah,
more than I expected.
I actually have
No,
some
mine
really
are
good
like
ones.
not that good. I have a Shadow Shift Tree, but the problem is like with XLs, you don't even need that for Ultra League. I have
Yeah.
a Shadow Canto Ninetales. Again, not needed for Ultra League.
Maybe. Well, I
No,
mean,
no, you don't need the
oh
shadow
yeah,
is what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
True, true, true.
Because the rank one is not a hundo.
Mm,
Sorry, yeah, you don't need the hundo, not shadow, I should say.
yeah.
What is it? 4-star. And I have a Tangela, which Master League
Yeah.
Tank Growth Premier could be
Yeah.
interesting until Chestnut dropped, and then all of a sudden it
Yeah.
became irrelevant.
There's a Ultra League Tangler.
Yeah, we'll do it for the next bet, right? What's your best Ultra League?
So actually, I've got 4. It seems.
Okay.
Oh, what my best Ultra League? What Tangler?
No, no, no. What's your best? What's your Shadow Hunters? Let's hear these first
Okay.
before.
So actually, I've got some really good ones. So I'll go with the worst one first. Yeah.
How do you have so many? How so?
Zubat. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's the
Those,
worst
yeah.
one. It's like
Ultra,
it's just a bit useless. Yeah.
Ultra League Golbat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that
Great.
should be a bet. That should be our next bet. But
Ultra League
let's keep
Golbat.
going.
Right.
No, let's
Right.
keep it going. I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. Machamp.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wait. You're
Yeah.
starting from worst to best? How's that your second worst one?
Oh, no. The other 3 are just good. So they're just one
What?
was
What are the
bad. The
other
other 3
three?
are good.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
uh,
Okay. Gotcha.
Ursaluna.
What? Okay.
Yeah. And then Sandshrew.
Oh, those are all really good.
Yeah.
Outside the
Yeah, just the gold the
Golbat.
Zubat's pretty dead, yeah, but the rest are pretty dead.
Ooh. How about this?
Uh,
What's a Crobat power up to? Shadow Crobat.
I don't know, maybe like 28 or something.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
um,
Let's see.
I don't know. I don't know if it's fair or not. What I was going to suggest is for our next bet.
Uh,
I have to. If I lose,
29.
I had to run Tangela in Ultra League.
Shadow Tangler.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
if you lose, you have to run Shadow Golbat. But I feel like that's not
Yeah.
really fair.
Yeah, because Shadow
I feel like
Tangler is
it's
probably actually like has
hot
the stats to
garbage.
back it up. But as in, like, do you know what I mean? It's
No,
gonna
no,
have
it's
some
not fair for
stats.
me. What you mean?
What do you mean
Shadow
it's not fair
Golbat.
for you? What?
Hundo Shadow Golbat's
Shadow
way better in
Golbat?
Ultra.
Bro, Shadow
Yeah.
Golbat goes to like 1900.
What
Oh,
do
it
you
goes
think
to like
Tangela goes?
2200. It goes to
What-
27.
yeah,
Tangler goes
that's
to
actually.
25.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I wasn't just like, look, Tango
Uh,
goes to 25, 30.
oh, well, yeah. Well, that's fine with me then.
Yeah, Golbat goes to 2200. I don't know if like 2230. You
uh,
have to best buddy it and everything.
how about this? Loser
Uh,
has to run Tangela in Ultra League in general. You could just run a
okay,
non-shadow.
I've got a lucky in it. So
You could, yeah, you could run
yeah,
non-shadow, and then I could run
if
the
I have the
non-shadow, or I could run the
XLs, yeah.
shadow.
Let's see if I got the XLs.
And you probably don't. Do
I got
you?
155, so maybe I'll get it.
Better
We'll
get
revisit it.
walking.
We'll revisit it.
Better get
We'll see.
walking. You know.
Nah.
When you're dressed up as Missy around EUIC walking around the venue, I better see a Tangela as your buddy, right? When you try to get those XLs, that'd be a Tangela.
We'll see.
Anyway, Tiwasa says, I love this bet idea, but the Friday of EUIC is exactly 5 weeks after the start of GBL season, so you guys better hit Legend fast. Yeah, so I think, I read this comment earlier before we started recording, so that's what gave me an idea that we should probably just do expert because,
Fair enough.
yeah, you're right, it's a little fast. Ginger Ninja says, I'm here for the Crawdont chat. I'm loving Anicor hyping it up for me. All right, look, event's over. What you think about Crawdont?
I actually did get a decent Crawdon, but I mean, do you know what? I think about it more, yeah, and I'm like, okay, it's definitely worse than Greninja in every way, but with the Shadow, it's just got a mad attack stat.
Doesn't it have Scald?
It does have Scald.
What's the point of running Crab Hammer anymore if you have Scald?
There's no point of running Crab Hammer.
Okay.
It's completely irrelevant, which is really unfortunate. I feel like, you know what, it'd be nice if they buffed Crab Hammer. Like, actually make it relevant, because it's already irrelevant anyway. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like anything good gets it. So
And everything that learns it is not good anyway.
yeah, exactly.
So
So why not buff it? And actually, maybe if you buff it, you give it you give it something that can potentially make it not a worse Greninja. Do you know what I mean?
what
Like
if
you make it a Pokemon that can be a viable glass cannon
what if
with
you
a certain buff.
mm, what does it do in the main series game?
Don't know.
Do you know?
No, no
Let
idea.
me look this up real quick. Sorry, I'm typing with one finger. Crab hammer. So it deals let's see. Deals damage and increase critical hit ratio.
So increased attack.
Um
Let's say in this
critical
case.
hit ratio.
No,
Yeah,
no. As
well,
in,
you
like
talking
in
about
this
how
case,
it's yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, what if it was there's no critical hit factor though.
No, so you just have to increase attack.
What is critical hit in Pokemon? It's not double, is it? Is it double the damage?
Uh, I
How
don't
cool
know.
would it be? I don't know if it's like too broken or not.
Uh,
How cool would it be if Crabhammer has like a percent chance of doubling the damage? Like that would be so stupid if you're facing a Kingler with Mudshot, and all of a sudden you're like, shoot, do I shield this potential Crabhammer? This might like one shot half of my like Altaria at this point. Like
yeah, that'd be
that might be
ridiculous. You
too much.
can't
People
lie.
don't like RNG already, is what
Yeah.
I'm
Wait,
gathering from
what's
Pokemon
the
Go.
percentage of critical hit increase?
Oh shoot, I already closed the tab. No, it's not. It's just wait, let me see.
As in, like, what's the percentage that it can potentially happen, or is it
It
just
just
every
says it
time?
has an increased critical hit ratio. I don't
Are
really
you on
know.
Cerebi? Because like somewhere they put the
No,
percentage
I'm
there.
on Boba
Oh, okay.
Garden,
I don't
Bulbapedia.
know. Okay. Well, let's say you reduce the cost by 5,
Hmm.
and then you add either a defense drop on the opponent or an attack increase on you.
I thought it'd be cool if you get
Maybe
a
make it guaranteed.
defense increase because
Defense
that's the
increase
problem.
on
Is
you.
yeah, I mean I don't it
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
reflect the main series game,
yeah,
but I think that would make Crapper more useful because Kingler and Crawdon are too frail.
yeah. True,
So if
true.
you're throwing stuff that's boosting your defense, they
Hmm.
can stay in the battle a little bit longer.
Yeah,
There's nothing
maybe.
really that increased defense anymore in this game that's relevant. Like
Yeah, it's
Skull
just
Bash Lappers is probably the
obstruct
only
was the
thing, right?
closest. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
no,
that
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
yeah. But Skull Bash Lappers, I think, of all the moves that we had that was kind of
Mm,
useful, that was probably the only one. But we don't
true,
really do
true.
any defensive buffs anymore that are
Yeah,
relevant. Everything's just debuffs or attack boosts, I think.
yeah. Maybe soon come.
Yeah.
So Ginger
Punk.
Ninja, Crawdon Meta soon. Soon. We're working on it.
You run that next season, see what happens. And GBL, please do that.
No.
Yeah, Crawdon to expert is Anicor's goal.
Well, you know what? Like, in all seriousness, in it, yeah, I think like obviously Greninja is good, yeah, but I think Greninja and Charizard in recent times are, I guess maybe Shadow Machamp to a degree, but it's like they kind of show that uh stat product isn't necessarily everything. Do you know what I mean? In it, like even if the stats are not that great, there's still potential to make a Pokemon viable. But
Mhm.
obviously, you just have to tweak
Yeah.
some things. So you know.
Conky says Clodsire with like the downward stocks thing. Conky's always big on the yo. Here's the most ironic part. I think this is the same Conky. It's possible it's not, but I think it's the same Conky. I faced Conky in GBO like a few weeks or a month or so ago, and guess what he was running?
No.
Clodsire, and I lost. The Clodsire was cooking me. Yeah, I think Clodsire is not. It's okay in this meta, but I think
it's awkward
honestly,
in
I
this
think
meta though.
isn't
It's
it
because
better?
Whiscash and Gligar.
Yeah, it's Wishcash and Gligar. I mean, and
You just can't.
this double grounds on every team, right?
Yeah, you just can't. You can't run
Um,
it.
and I honestly think without Polyrath though, it's a little bit better, but it's just not.
It's
I
still
think
not
the
good
the
enough.
problem is Wishcash.
Yeah,
I don't even think the Gligar's that bad because if you're running Stone Edge, you have play into it. The
yeah, I
Wishcash
guess so.
matchup is
Yeah.
so brutal though. Yeah, I mean you
The
can't
thing
go
is, if you're
Stone
running
Edge.
Stone Edge, then you're losing to Azumarill as well. So then you have another issue. So
Yeah, but
do you know what I mean?
that's
In
not
it,
as
so it's
bad with
like,
the poison sting, right? It's safer.
well, I mean, Poison Sting, Stone Edge. I think you're still
It's
losing
oh yeah,
nearly
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
But honestly, even I don't even know if there was a ton of Zero this weekend. I mean, there's some, but like I'm not as worried about Zumro because that I've faced a Zumro into Clodsire and like it's
Mm,
still not that comfortable for Zumro because the Ice Beam doesn't really do that much. But
mm.
But yeah, the wish cache is a big problem for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've had a few top cuts with it this season though, but yeah, nothing crazy. Justin Daniels said, "You were right about Annihilate, Caleb. I follow VGC and Pogo plus play both. Annihilate's Rage Fist increases every time it takes damage." Ah, okay, good to know. Good to know. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that works. I mean, honestly,
Does it need it?
Annihilate's pretty strong right now.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know if it needs
this
that.
might end
Yeah.
up being kind of like Drain Punch Beware, where like the Drain Punch itself is not even that relevant.
Yeah,
Um,
I think, to be honest, I think that would be the best way they can implement it, where it's like super low damage. But then it would essentially be like a power up punch, right? So a ghost
yeah,
power up punch, and I don't know
I don't
if
really
that
want
would
that.
see use.
I
Really,
think,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I think Shadow Ball's
Oh,
much
you know what?
much
I
better.
think a ghost power up punch though, it might be like a side grade. Do you know what I mean? In it, where it's like you got certain degen strategies where all they're doing is just boosting up
Maybe,
their counter damage and just trying to
but
like,
like,
just
but the
force through. So it's like it's not definitely going to be good, but at least it gives some people like a power up punch Medicham sort of feel. You know what I mean?
the problem with that is that Ghost as a charge attack damage is not as impactful. Because let's say you're facing
Yeah,
Lickitung and you're using the degen strat of Rage
yeah.
Fist.
Then
What?
it's
Like
peak.
you're
Yeah.
throwing double resisted ghost damage at this
Then it's
normal
peak for you.
Pokemon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
But
Like,
then
or
it
like you think
means
you were on,
also
right?
like, a bit like Poliwrath, like when Tomahawk was using Shadow Poliwrath with Power Up Punch. It's like, well, you can now muscle through things like a Skarmory, or maybe you can even muscle. No, not an Altar, but like you can muscle through a Skarmory. You can
You
muscle
can
through
muscle through a
like,
Scarm with just like
you know,
straight Night Slash these days.
yeah, no, yeah.
It's kind of
I don't know.
weird. I
It'd be
mean,
interesting. It'd be interesting.
yeah, I feel like also that makes the mirror matchup really not fun.
That's
Because
true.
right now
Yeah.
the mirror matchup is can you land a Shadow Ball or you're going for a little bit chip damage to Ice Punch Night Slash, but you always have to watch out for a Shadow Ball. Here, if you're running like just straight, you want to throw Rage Twist regardless.
Mhm.
It's just whoever throws the first Rage Twist first wins or wins charge attack priority wins. Because if in a mirror
Uh,
matchup, why would you build up? Well, because no one's gonna run Rage Fish Shadow Ball, and
that's
assuming
true.
Rage Fish is
That's
actually
true.
worth
Yeah,
running,
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
going to throw Night Slash or Ice Punch. You
That's
could just
true.
throw straight Rage Fist, and then I don't know that like right now the mirror matchup is kind of interesting because like
Mm,
you could bait around it a little bit. You could just chip with Night Slash, like there's some play around it. Like it's not very linear matchup, right?
mm,
Especially when you have a Shadow Night Slash versus and a Shadow Ball versus Ice Punch Shadow Ball. But
mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure how to make of it.
I think it'd be
Uh,
interesting though.
yeah.
It sounds like it'd be.
We had some comments from last week's episode with Nighttime Clasher. 8 the Great said, "My goat nighttime making EU cry time." And a cope 13 times this episode. JK, but I am sold on EUIC. What's the play? Do we bring a US flag? In all seriousness, I think EU players have better name recognition than some of our really good players in NA because of the interviews. EU players get a ton of screen time, which helps stream watchers recognize them better. Well, that's a good point. I actually never even thought about that. We didn't start doing interviews until like literally this year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then also travel being more accessible probably means you're more likely to see the same person at all the regionals compared to like here in NA
Mm,
where we don't see the East Coast players come to West Coast and vice versa.
that's true. Do you know what? I
Very
actually
good
had a
points.
theory the other day, yeah, and I don't know if like I haven't thought about this theory. It just came to my head, yeah. Do you think it's maybe because um, when factions was around, right? You had teams like you had certain teams which had all the big name world qualified players on the same team. Yeah. And so because there was that kind of like lack of I don't want to say diversity in it, yeah, but it's like you kind of always attribute them to the same thing. Do you know what I mean? In it, it's like if you think about like the previous Emerald Emerald tier NA,
Tier.
yeah.
Yeah.
You like Pogoats, yeah, and you're thinking every one of those players is recognizable, yeah. Stadium Elite or Legends United, yeah, every one of those players is recognizable. And then some of the other teams, which were still good, yeah, it didn't feel like their names particularly were like super recognizable because they didn't have the same kind of concentration. I don't know if this is a thing, yeah. This
You're
just
talking about
came to my
like
head the other
super
day,
teams are
you
a
know.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. And because the concentration was so
Um,
high, it felt like it was, but whereas in Europe, yeah, when you look at EME Emerald, a lot of the big names are like spread out across multiple teams. So it's like I don't know.
Well, what would that what would that do with general name recognition for
I have
like
no idea.
official?
It just
I
felt
don't.
like it for me. That, like I said, I didn't think about it too much, yeah, but it just felt like that for me,
Yeah,
where
it
I was
doesn't seem
like,
like you thought
you
about
know,
it too much.
yeah, yeah. But it was like you had like Rise, Axon, House Stark, all like on the same team, and it just felt like that was just one particular group. Do you know what I mean?
But wait, so are you saying? Well, why would that hurt NA name recognition?
I don't know, but it did.
I
But it
don't
feels like it
like.
did.
The more you're talking about this, the less I'm understanding like
It
where you're
just
getting
feels
at.
like it did. I don't have a reason for it. Like I said, I didn't think about it enough in it, but it just
Oh,
feels
you know
like it
what it
did.
is? It's the EU
Uh,
bias, right? You're
Nah,
literally in my
nah.
DMs
Bruv,
like this is
even you're
one
saying that
this is
they're more
one of the best
recognizable.
players from Italy and stuff. I'm like, who is this no name person, right? That's like
Even
imagine if I text you, I'd be like, this is one of the best players in Minnesota, right?
I'll be like, all right, fair enough,
No, and
like.
you Jacob was like they went to Charlotte and went 44th place.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe that's not
yeah.
the reason. One thing though, let me put my curtain down
Yeah.
and also get a snack.
Sounds good. I'll read this comment while you're doing this. Um, Navalar says, here to confirm I was one of the 3,000 watching Nighttime Clasher commentate in Clash. His transition to Pogo inspired me to give it a go. Oh, that's actually really cool, actually. So, um, really dope to see like some people from other communities also try it out and stuff too. Wait, hold up, hold up. What the heck? This is kind of wild. Interesting. So I'm looking. Why is this a thing? I'm
What?
looking at the oh, I need to change this. I'm looking at the YouTube version and it shows like shows category, right? So category is gaming for sure for the
Uh,
episodes. But it also shows Brawl Stars.
I
I
swear,
didn't type I didn't type in Brawl Stars. They just like pick it up from the audio and
match
threw it in
probably,
as a
yeah.
category. That's funny because there's no Pokemon Go. It just says Brawl Stars.
Wait, did it get more views?
No, not necessarily, but
Okay.
I'm just saying it's just funny that they it
Yeah,
categorized this video as a Brawl Stars video, which is
mad.
wild
Or
because
do you
I
think
didn't type
maybe?
it in.
No, no, I wasn't. I was gonna say maybe because of his name, but like,
But
I
then
feel
wouldn't
like that's
my
a
name bring
stretch.
in the Pokemon Go tag too? Oh, that's weird. I'll
Maybe
check out.
Nighttime Clash is bigger in Brawl
He
Stars
might
than you
be.
are in Pokemon.
Yeah, he did win a regional. Uh, RC Cola says Nighttime is such a funny guy. I've been impressed how quickly he's picked up competitive PP and do so well in play. This man is the hero USA needs, but not the one we deserve right now. Anicor and EU in shambles. That's right. That's right. Yeah, let me click on this other episode, see if it actually lists Poco or not. But I don't actually think it does. Uh, but yeah, that'd be wild. If it says Brawl Stars again, no, it doesn't have any category on this one. That's weird. They started categorizing videos the moment Nighttime Clasher came on.
That's mad.
That's something. That's
That's,
something.
that's some power.
Yeah. Anyway, that does it for our YouTube comments. We did have a regional recently, and
We had two regionals
two
recently.
recently. Sorry, my bad, my bad. No. I literally thought in my head like, oh, don't forget
All the
Melbourne. No,
Australians
Melbourne.
gonna come for you,
Let's
and
no,
both
no
of them made
history.
world record, yeah, history, yeah,
Yeah. The Australian one even bigger history in my opinion.
because I guess it was first.
No, not
Um,
only first, but so the record is we had two repeat regional champions in the same
mhm,
season, right? Like
mhm,
no people, there have been people that have won multiple regionals, but they never won it in the same season,
right.
except for now after Yukovic won it in Melbourne and Doombug won it in Knoxville recently. But the difference is Yakobovic won back, not only won two regionals the same season, he
Mhm.
also won back to back regionals.
That's true. That's
Doombug
true.
didn't
Yeah.
win back to back regionals. If Lau Jeffs won, then that would also match
Yeah.
that record. So in a way, Yakovic's record is a little bit more impressive, but
Yeah. One thing I'd
yeah,
say though is obviously Dunebugs.
his
Which
run was
let
kind
me
of
let me just say,
crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just say, I hadn't watched it, yeah,
You
because
haven't seen it yet, still?
no, I've watched it now, yeah, but
Okay.
like at the time I hadn't watched it because obviously because I was at Melbourne, I
Mhm.
just didn't get the time, and I was trying to
Aren't you
catch
in
up, and
Melbourne
then
right now? Oh, you mean just at the tournament,
but
right?
like at the event and
Yeah,
stuff, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and then and like time zones and stuff, whatever. And they were like Dracovids were like, oh yeah, it's finished, here's the graphic. Can anyone post it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I've got access to the Twitter,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, well, can anyone else post it? Yeah, because I haven't actually seen the
The
regional, and I
results.
kind of don't want
Mm-hmm.
spoilers. Yeah, and nobody else wanted to post it or like would post it or could post it. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, let me just like, I was like, okay, well, obviously I have to know who won because I can't put like a generic tweet being like, congratulations to the winner of the Knoxville Regional.
You should have that just typed out and just copy and paste it for every tweet.
Yeah. So I had to do that, yeah. So like I had to find out who won at least, yeah. But nobody thought to mention the fact that he had like a 95% win rate. So I didn't
His win rate is
include that in the
crazy high.
tweet because it was he dropped one game the
He
whole
lost
time.
one game and he tied one
Oh, and
game,
there was a tie. Yeah, yeah,
but the tie doesn't
yeah.
impact your record. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody thought to mention that.
Mm.
So that's also why that's not in the tweet. Because I didn't know. Didn't
He
even know.
was 18-1-1, I believe.
Yeah.
Pretty
It
nuts.
was wild.
Pretty nuts. Yeah, I think Doombuck's one of those players where like if he's really on his game, he looks like unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mentioned this a lot last season where I thought he was probably the best player of NA
Mm-hmm.
for like a good chunk of it, just
Yeah.
from his like
A lot at
Arlington
the beginning,
performance. But
the
but
beginning of
then
the
but then
season,
Wadaj
because I guess
started
he
like being
stopped.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then he stopped going to events. I think that was the thing, or like he started
No,
staffing more events instead.
he still went to a decent amount. Like
He went to some, but I think
this season he's gone
uh,
to every single event either as a staff member or as a player
mad,
in North America.
mad.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Should we start with Melbourne?
yeah, let's do
Little,
it. Well, let's
yeah.
hear your POV, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you competed,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think you prepped much because you didn't hit me
Nah, I
up
didn't
first
prep.
scrims.
Nah,
Yeah.
I want. Well, okay, here's the thing. So
You
I
don't
was
want to go
like,
worlds. You don't want to win it.
nah,
You don't want to stop
nah,
your coefficient's record breaking
no. You know what
performance.
the thing is? Yeah, let me just say. Let me
You
just
don't want
say.
to be the
Yeah.
nighttime clash of Australia.
Let me just say, I'm well overdue for a rematch with Jakobovic. Yeah, he beat
Yeah,
me on the stage
yeah.
in
Yeah.
OCIC when I first landed in this country, and I have yet to have a rematch with him in any
That was almost a
format.
year
So
ago. Yeah.
I know. Oh, I guess I played him in GBL, but doesn't really count. But I'm yet to have a
Yeah.
rematch with him. Yeah. So Jacob, if you're listening, yeah. Oh, you're next.
No, don't say you're next. You just got to be Valiant Vish before you say you're
Yeah,
next.
yeah,
There's a
well,
couple
and then also
barriers here.
Valiant Bitch as well. Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, basically
yeah.
my yeah. Well, okay, look after the
You're
shenanigans.
the good part is
Uh,
your win percentage against them is the same, so you have an equal chance of losing.
yeah, well, yeah, well, anyway.
Anyway,
Okay, after all the Liverpool stuff, um, I severe lack of sleep. Yeah, I was like, okay, let me prep later
yeah,
on in the week. Yeah,
got a
so
little
it came to
nightmares of
like
nighttime clasher,
it was haunting me,
riding a
man. It was
raptor.
like it's a very good picture.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it got to like Tuesday, Wednesday. I was like, maybe I should start prepping now, but I was just like still a bit tired, and then also I had loads of stuff to sort out because I'm leaving Melbourne like next week.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it came to like I was at work on Thursday. I took the day off on Friday, but even on Friday, I was like, okay, look, I can just do loads of scrims today, yeah. And I just wasn't feeling like that much energy, like I'd worked the day before. I was still a bit tired, so I basically decided I was like, look, I can either ideal situation was I was practicing all week, yeah, and I didn't do that, yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
could potentially practice all day today, yeah, but I'm not feeling it. So it's like it's not worth me doing some like half-ass practice, because then if it doesn't go well, then I'm gonna be like, well, maybe I should have practiced a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, at least if I don't practice at all, yeah, and it doesn't go well, where it's like, well, you know what did I expect, right?
Right.
But I was like, I'm not gonna write it off just because I didn't practice, because um like a lot of the Pokemon I was using, I've used before. So
Mm-hmm.
I went in with honestly, I went in with a lesson that I got from Vish last time, which is just a bit about consistency, and just trying to like maintain consistency in all the matches that I should win.
Yeah.
And I think that considered, I did pretty well.
Okay.
Obviously, didn't do amazing, so I lost to Rocket Claire in the I think it was losers semis,
Hmm.
and
I thought you were in the clear too.
honestly,
I was like, you avoided Valiant Vish. You went to losers
honestly,
quick,
as soon as
and
Vish lost round one, I went up to him. I was like, "Brev, looks like fate, you know."
yeah. And then when he
It's
beat
like,
you
yeah,
again later that day,
yeah,
he's
that was
like,
what the fate
"You're
actually
right.
was.
It was.
Yeah,
It is fate."
yeah. So yeah, that was a bit
Yeah. The
unfortunate.
moment you realize you had to play him again, you're like, "Oh damn! I spoke too soon."
Honestly, yeah, every time I saw him in the bracket, I was just like, and because also we had a so this was great. We had
Dude,
a
that's how I felt about Elites when I was at Fresno, right? Because I saw him in the bracket. He went down early. I'm like, I'm chilling, right? Like he's definitely the best player here. I'm chilling, right?
uh,
Like I ain't going to see him, right? And I'm looking. He's like every person, like it's like one, like two ones, two ones. Like I'm like, dude, just take another game off him. What you doing? I ain't going to face him. And then here we
uh,
were. Yeah, but
yeah,
anyway, go ahead.
man,
Yeah.
literally. But yeah, it was really cool. We actually had so there was two Korean players who had registered to compete. One of them was Yetaruna. She was the one of the Korean qualifiers last year who played at Worlds.
Yep.
She came third place in the Korean qualifier, and I think I focused on her a lot when I was talking about the qualifiers.
Hmm.
And the main reason was because the storyline with her was
Did
she'd
her
never even
brother
hit
also
legend
qualified or
yet.
something?
Her brother also qualified, and they faced each other in the first round of Worlds, which was
What?
really unfortunate.
That's
Yeah,
super
it's
unfortunate.
really
How far
unfortunate.
did they respectively make it in
I think they
Worlds?
both. I want to say
And
they either both went 0-2 or one of them went one
well, they
two or
can't both
something. They
go
didn't
0-2
have.
if they face each other. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah, true, 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 true. Oh yeah, true. Yeah. So one of them
What?
probably went. They did. They didn't have a good tournament really.
The mathematician's back.
So yeah.
Wait,
So
so
she was
she
supposed to. She had
okay.
registered to come down, and another player who I recognized from the Asia Pacific Championship tournaments that we're doing,
Mhm,
a player called Singaporean, and he actually came down as well. So it turns out that Yetaruna actually had some visa issues, meaning that she wasn't able to sort out the trip in a short period of time.
mhm,
But Singapore did actually come down and was doing pretty well. Was knocking out a lot of people who I think if I didn't know who he was, right, a lot of people were just like, oh, I just got dumped on by this person that I've never heard of before. Do you know what I mean?
mhm,
But they were doing really, really well. But ultimately, they got knocked into the losers bracket by Triple Crit, who eventually
mhm.
came second. And then in the losers bracket, had to face Valiant Vish, and unfortunately for me, wasn't able to take out Valiant Vish. But honestly, what do you expect this Vish? He's a
Yeah.
world
The
class
thing is also,
competitor.
even if you beat Vish, you would have to face off against Rocket Claire again, who
Exactly.
I assume
And
she was playing on point.
she was on point. You know what? I'm not gonna lie in it. Yeah,
She didn't face no easy players either. She was like
nah. This is
taking
the thing.
people out.
She beat Vish. She beat Avrip.
She beat
My matches
Fish.
against her were
She beat you.
so my game one. I remember. So the thing is, my game three. Yeah, I was like, if I because majority of the tournament, I was pretty calm. And when I went into the match against her, I was a bit nervous, and I don't know if it was tiredness or but for some reason I was just a bit more nervous than my previous matches. And game three, I made a very silly move to be honest. But the thing is that game one was so back and forth. I can't pinpoint where I made a mistake or where she made a mistake or where I played well or she played well. It was just so much back and forth, so much switching out, going in, and it eventually ended up on me wing attacking down her Lickitung
Mm,
probably a few licks before she got to a body slam.
right.
Like super super thin margins. So arguably maybe I should have lost that if I'd have seen the footage. Then there might have been some argument that maybe I should have lost that. So
Right.
she was really on point the whole day, and then even the second day as well. To be honest.
Hmm. That's
Um,
good.
so yeah. Honestly, good tournament. My last tournament in Australia. Um,
Not going to fly back
so
from Perth.
Nah, man, nah. But what's really exciting though is,
Yeah.
oh, and you know what? I'll get to that. But yeah, what's really exciting is that actually a lot of players have now. So, oh yeah, we didn't mention this because we had the nighttime clash episode last week,
Hmm.
but Australia. Maybe we did mention
There's also no. It came out
it. No,
afterward.
yeah.
This came
So
out like on Friday
Australia
or Thursday or
have.
something.
So they TPCI announced that they're changing the championship points rules for Australia,
Hmm.
and so it will be 250 points instead of 300 points to
Hmm.
qualify.
Reasonable. Yeah.
And also, locals are starting in March.
Hmm. That's
So,
pretty good.
yeah, good news all around for Australians.
The
Now,
only
while
bad
we
news for
were,
Australians is that Yakovich took away another guaranteed invite.
this is, yeah, this is unfortunate. But you know what? I think the resounding opinion is like,
Yo, if you're that
you know,
good,
you
you
got to
deserve
beat the
it.
best to
Be the
compete, right?
best, yeah. If you
So,
can't beat the best in your region, you're not beating the best in the world at Worlds, right?
yeah, realistically. So, I mean, Jakobovic, like undisputed. I'll be honest, yeah. I think for him as well last season, obviously he was the OCIC winner and had the highest win rate of the season, yeah. But I
Hmm.
think 100%, you know, throughout the season there was a lot of discourse being like, well, yeah, he had a high win rate, but it was in Australia, whereas Human Catcher-Bug had a higher win rate in Liverpool, right?
And then he 2
Um,
0 Human Catcher Bug at Worlds.
well,
So,
yeah, this is the thing, you know. I
no.
think we were discussing. We were like, you know what? Like, obviously, Crescent Angel Stan is a great first match, right, of Worlds. But
Hmm.
I think Jakobovic, Human Catcher-Bug would have been an amazing first match of Worlds. You
That
know,
would have been
like just
hype.
put the story to bed. You know,
Hmm.
a season long debate.
Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. EU was ready in shambles after Worlds. You
Do you
can't
know
do that
what? Do
again
you
to
know
them.
what? As a Pokemon fan, yeah, I would have loved to seen that. You know,
Yeah, as a resident EU person, you would
yeah,
have
we
you would
can
have
leave
lost
out. We
even
can
more
leave out.
sleep.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Stan lost anyway, so I guess it didn't make a difference. You know.
Yeah, that's true. But Crescent Angels is
Yeah,
no
yeah,
easy opponent
yeah. I
anyway.
mean, but nobody is in its worlds, right? But I think yeah. So
There was someone that looked a little sketch on
I was I
stream.
was gonna I was gonna give people the benefit of the doubt, but okay. Well,
Hey, no one's perfect, so but
so yeah, the thing is, I think like last season it was definitely you know only competing in that event,
mhm,
um, you know, people talking. I think there's a lot of questions about Jakovic's ability. And honestly, I think from an objective standpoint, I'm like, well, he only had the one tournament to prove himself. And obviously he did, but he didn't manage to show any level of consistency because he didn't enter any other tournament, you know? Whereas, you know, like Human Catcher Bug entered EUIC and topped. So
look.
it's like, I'm not saying um, he didn't have the consistent, but he didn't enter another tournament. So there was no like objective proof, right?
Mhm.
Now, this season, yeah, dominating Brisbane and dominating this, there's no question. Do you know what I mean?
You
Like
know
I
who
don't think there's
questioned
any
it
more
though?
consistent. Who's questioning? Huh?
These EU players that think
yeah,
they're
yeah,
hot
but I mean,
stuff, right?
bruv, the thing
It all
is
comes back to EU players thinking they're better than everyone else, including the guy that had the highest win rate, and then thinking they're champion at Liverpool. Look, Human Catcher-Bug, incredible player too, right? Better than the vast majority of the world. But thinking their champion Human Catcher-Bug can go toe to toe against this guy, only to get swept as well, right? Because of the EU
yeah.
ego, right?
Hey, we got proved wrong, you know. And honestly, so be it. Yeah, he set record this weekend. The thing is, he
Yeah,
already joined the club of is it Wadaj and Axon and Harjefi of a regional champion and a international
Axon,
champion, right? Yeah,
Axon.
Axon Wadaj. Oh, did I not say Axon?
You didn't say what.
No,
You
that
didn't
was
say
in my mind.
accent. Yeah.
So yeah, joined the club. Tonton's so close to joining that club that same weekend as well. Yeah, but
Hmm.
unfortunately did not. But now he's also in a brand new club of um, two-time regional winner in the same season, and then he's in his own club of back-to-back regional winners.
Hmm.
Nobody who's done that yet. So
No one.
setting all kinds of records this weekend, and yeah, honestly, he's not entering Perth, and I think that's for the best.
No, he's got
I think
to.
it's for the best.
That's the
Nah,
trifecta right there.
yeah, nah, I
Yo,
think
imagine winning every regional in a region in one season.
this-
Dude, I'd do it just for that. What?
you
Why?
know
What?
what? Like, huh?
What's the reason why he doesn't want to do it?
I think it's like one because he doesn't need to, and
Well,
two
of course,
because
he
like it
didn't need to
costs.
come to this one either.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
he lives in Melbourne, right? So I think if he didn't already
Okay.
live in Melbourne
Oh,
or
I
like
see. I
close to
see.
Melbourne, then
I
he
see.
might have like had second thoughts.
I see.
But Perth is like really far away as well. Seems like a waste of money. Um,
Not if he wins.
yeah,
It's not a waste of money
yeah.
if
Well, I
you
guess
do
it's not a
that
waste of
well.
money for him, to be
I
honest.
don't
Right?
like players like this aren't wasting money when they're
Yeah, that is
consistently
true. That is
going
true.
top cuts.
Yeah, well, he needs to leave some championship points for everyone else. um,
Look,
but you know
Yakovich, if you're
what? Yeah.
listening, do it for all of us, right? The people that want to see the three-peat right there.
Beg you
Dude,
don't.
tell me you don't want that, right? There's no way
You
you
know,
can. Talk
I
about the only person to have an international from your region ever,
uh,
right? For Pokemon Go. It'll never
and then
happen
win
again.
every single regional.
And then to win also that would be okay. Look, I don't know if
uh,
how Yakovich feels about this, right? He already got a
uh,
lot of records, but that is a tough record to ever top.
uh,
Winning every regional in a single region in a
and the
season.
only ever I see
And the only ever I see
of
in the
the region
region.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But winning all the regionals. Obviously there's
yeah,
less regionals in Australia
yeah, yeah,
slash
yeah.
Oceania, but still, that's still a record, right? Ain't no one
Yeah.
going to top it, right?
I
I
think if
mean,
we make a Drake of his badge for that, it will just be his face.
I'm okay with that.
I
I'm okay
mean,
with that.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's
Uh,
literally impossible for any other region outside of
yeah, I think so.
Oceania
Yeah.
to do it again in the future. But yeah, that would
Yeah.
be the king of Oceania. I mean, he kind of
Yeah.
already is, but come on,
Yeah.
man. There's no way you're not curious, Yakovich. There's
I'm
no way
curious.
you're
You
not
know what?
curious, right? I'm
I
curious.
yeah,
Don't you
I
think you could
think
do it?
no, I think he potentially could, but I think we need to for the benefit of the community. Yeah, it's good he's not going. But that said, you know what? I'm very excited about Perth.
No,
Why?
for the benefit
Because
of the community, if I'm in Australia, if I'm one of the community members, one of the PP people, I hope he goes, right? I want to see if I could beat him, right?
there's
Like
better ways
I
to
I
benefit the
I want
community.
to be like
There's other
the
ways we can do
Kingslayer,
this.
right? I want to be the one to dethrone him, right?
We don't have to go down that route. we can
No.
we can do this in another
No,
format,
because
some
no,
other way.
you know what this feels like?
We
It's
can do
like
it
the
next
guy that
season.
it's a guy that's queued up into Hard Jeff in the grand finals of Curitiba, right? And like,
Mm.
I gotta be able to take at least one game, right? All these other fools they lost, but I can do it, right? I want this challenge. And then every time they get beat, they're
That
like,
is
man,
true.
this is
Yeah,
tough.
yeah, that is true.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Look,
basically, so
I'm not trying to
yeah.
enforce your plans to travel, Yakovich, but I don't also want you to regret this one day and be thinking, what if, right? I had the chance for the three-peat, the entire season sweep. What if I did it?
Is
And
there a
that's all I gotta
basketball
say.
comparison of someone
Uh,
this?
why
Would it just
basketball?
be Michael Jordan? I don't know. I just feel like they really focus on that. Even though
Mm,
basketball's a team sport, I feel like you have a lot more like individual players who really
they'll do it
are
for
like
all
focused
sports.
on a
Like,
lot more.
they talk about Tom Brady being the GOAT in American football and stuff. But
Yeah,
basketball is kind of a weird one because a lot of people compare Michael Jordan and LeBron. And
yeah.
some people, especially like the younger people, are always convinced it's LeBron. There's like
Mm.
all these. I like read one of these stats, like the tweets about it on X, and then like for the next 6 months, it was all over my feed. Like, why LeBron's the best? I was trying to get rid of it. I'm like, not interested, not interested. Right? It's finally gone. But for like a solid 6 months, I was reading all these stat lines of why LeBron's better than Oh, this is what also led to this?
Uh,
When I was hosting the podcast with Speedy, and this was discussion constantly, right? It was like a sports, like the comment section were all about sports, right? Like we had like RC Cola really big on the LeBron train, right? And all this stuff. But anyway, look, RC, don't start typing, right? Like I'm not trying to invite that
let's not
back. I'm
start.
just
Yeah.
saying, right? We did discuss that.
Uh,
I mean, there's like there's always examples of these kind of people in like a lot of respects, but it's more this is kind of more isolated because it's just in Oceania, right? You want to say
mm.
like he's the greatest
Yeah,
all time
yeah,
in Pokemon Go PP. He's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
easily
But I
one of
mean,
the
the thing
most
is
accomplished.
basketball is pretty much just the US. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, what is? Let me
Uh,
see his Dracovic stats. Because what besides Worlds? What other
hmm.
tournaments has Jakovic participated in?
It was just Melbourne, like the first ever Melbourne.
Yeah, the first ever. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
What's his win rate?
I think
Oh,
probably
so yeah,
like
so 9. Wow, that's pretty good. He got
what?
ninth there, first OCIC, first Brisbane, first Melbourne, and
That's so many,
33rd
man.
Worlds. That's high because like there's a lot of people that have very high consistency, right? I
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like no hate on these people, right? I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of people, not even just I'm like, I like, make fun of EU and stuff, but like a lot of NA players too will say certain NA players are some of the best players in the world.
Mm.
And at best they've gotten like third place at a tournament.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't like how are they the best players in the world? I get they made multiple top cuts, but they've gone to like 20 tournaments.
But you know what? I think that's like also that's what's it like a broad generalization, right? Where if you actually want to rank like if you actually tier the players, yeah, I'd say when you're saying like one of the best players in the world, yeah, I feel like you're combining three tiers, right? You're combining
I'll
tiers
give you
of
an example.
like,
I'll
yeah,
give you an example. Onion
mm,
Frank as an
yeah,
example. Really
yeah.
good player.
I think you could say he's one of the best players in the world, but you'd be broad. You're like you'd
How
be
how
making
one
no,
of
no,
the
because
how many
you'd
people?
be making a broad statement combining, in my opinion, three tiers, right? So you have like one tier, which is um the level of player who has the potential to top cut or win a tournament, yeah, but maybe they haven't done it or something like that, yeah. Then you have the tier above of players who've actually achieved something, yeah, and then you
Yeah.
have the tier above that, which is like the elite players who have shown
No,
like
but
this kind of
to say one
consistency
of
and
the
stuff like
best
that.
players, you should be in that elite tier
Yeah, yeah,
automatically.
but I think like when you say one of the best players, you're like just generalizing on the whole three tiers, you know. But maybe we should be a bit more specific now that there's a lot more people in the spotlight.
No,
Because I
but I
think
think
back
some
in the
people,
day, you
I
could be
legit
like, oh
think
yeah,
some
one of the
people,
best.
I legit think some people believe that though.
What that he's like the top tier.
Yeah,
You couldn't
it's
put him in
okay.
the top tier. You
It's a
can't. Yeah,
subjective, it's a
yeah.
subjective thing, right?
But
I'm
you
not
like
saying that
you
it's
can't put him
not,
in the top tier until he's got those achievements. I think this
okay,
is what the
I
tiers
got a
should
question for
be.
you.
You know. Uh-huh.
What would you? Oh, so you got three tiers. What's the tiers?
Yeah.
Elite players.
So you
Second
got the
player.
yeah. So
Is
you got
like
the
people
elite.
achievements. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the second place where they've actually achieved something. So maybe they've got a world's qualification like in previous years, or like
Hmm.
they've won a tournament, but maybe only one or
Yeah.
something like that. And then you've got the level below that where it's like they have the potential to do these things, but they
Where
just
would
haven't done
you
it.
where would you put inadequates? What tier?
Inadequance, I would put him in the second tier because of the top cut consistency from last season. In
But then
addition to
Onion
the
Franco
top cut
goes
of
there too.
worlds. No, but he didn't get worlds.
So
You know
the
what I
difference
mean?
between third tier and second tier is world's qualification.
It's an achievement. It's like gaining an
No,
achievement,
no,
right?
no. I
So
know. What I'm
because
asking, what the achievement is, right?
I'd say yeah.
Because
I'd
that's
say
the
worlds
old.
is one of
That's
them, right? Yeah, worlds. Yeah,
what's the other achievement?
well, actually, like winning a tournament. Yeah.
Huh?
Actually, winning a tournament.
What tournament did he win?
No, no, I'm saying he didn't. He obviously didn't get that. So yeah, worlds
Okay,
is
so I
closer
got,
to yeah.
but here's the
Worlds
thing
plus the
though.
consistency. Yeah,
Well, here's the thing though. He qualified for Worlds with the Cascade invite at
yeah,
Stuttgart,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
He got third,
yeah,
which is not easy. I mean, by
yeah,
any means, and I think he's actually a really good player
yeah,
too. Onion Frank got third at Knoxville last year,
yeah,
but he didn't go at Worlds because the invite didn't cascade
yeah.
down.
You know what? I think
So
because
what's to
Inadequance
say if Onion Frank
performed,
went to Worlds, he could have
yeah, then
also
maybe it
top
would be
cut
different. Honestly, then maybe
because
it would
Onion
be
Frank had a
different.
lot of
Yeah,
top cuts last season
yeah.
too,
If Onion
right?
Frank went to Worlds, I think if Onion Frank went to Worlds on a cascaded invite
But he
and then
can't control that
performed
because
at Worlds,
he got
yeah,
third,
I know.
right?
But I mean, these aren't official tiers. This
Well,
is my opinion,
that's
you
what
know.
no,
Like,
I know, but that's what
yeah, yeah,
I know.
yeah. I think,
My
but then
whole
this
but my
season,
whole
yeah,
point is what opinion and subjective opinion is one thing,
huh.
but data speaks for itself. And I'm
Yeah,
looking at the data of like someone like Jakovic, that
mm,
speaks for itself, right?
yeah, yeah,
Crazy highest win rate of the entire season last
yeah,
season, right? At an
mm,
international crown, two first place regional crowns, right?
mhm,
Ninth is your worst placement at a non-worlds event, and then you made
mm.
top. Did he make top cut? No, he didn't make top cut, right? He got
No,
33rd. He
no,
didn't make top cut, but he still compete at worlds. That's
mm, yeah,
like that's why I think people like get too caught up in what subjectively they think of people, right? And obviously some of this is also grassroots stuff, right? To say like some of these people will like and Aqua's accomplished a lot of things in the grassroots scene, so you could lump
True,
that in,
true.
and then it does change the discussion. But strictly on the championship series circuit, like I would say there's very few people that are like some of the best in the world. To say they're best in the world, I put people like Pottermon up there or like
Yeah.
Jakobovich, Dune. I even hesitate saying Dune. I think he's really good, but
I think Dune is number
he's
one.
played in so many tournaments.
Like he's in the first tier, but yeah, he's played in so many tournaments, but he's performed.
Yeah, but what if Pottermon and Jakobovich played in that same amount of tournaments? What's to say they wouldn't perform at even a higher caliber? Dude, this is look, no disrespect to Dune. I was saying all around he's one of the best players in the world. But like the data subjectively, like if you average his placements, it's not as high as you think.
Mm,
Obviously, he has a lot of first place and like top cut placements, but he also knocked top cut a couple times.
mm, yeah, I guess so.
Yakovic and Potamon, their worst placement outside of Worlds is one spot away from top cut in both of them respectively. Dune's fallen way sooner than one spot before
Yeah,
top
that's true.
cut.
That's
You
true.
know, I don't know. That's why
I
I'm
don't know.
just like,
That's that makes it a bit difficult, I guess.
I mean, obviously, I know for a fact too. Doom was like also not going try hard mode with his team every single time. Like he brought
Yeah,
a double to San Diego last season, right? So like again, like who knew Dracovic stats would even be a thing, and
yeah.
like who knew like I'm not like I knew Out of Pocket brought a Shadow Drapion to a tournament in Toronto last season, right? Like yeah, like is that really good? Probably not, right? Maybe he thought it was good. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I think the data is like it's something else.
Mm.
But anyway, speaking of Dune, we also had
Yeah.
Knoxville.
Well, quickly, I just
Yeah,
want to say, like wrapping up the Australian stuff. So
yeah,
Perth coming up, and okay, so this time for Melbourne, there was no stream, unfortunately.
hmm
Um, some people were trying to make the stream happen, but you know, organized not approving in time or whatever in it. Like,
yeah,
unfortunately, no stream this time.
yeah.
Now, are we going to get a stream for Perth? Don't know. Possible, but no idea. However, initially, I was pretty disappointed that the idea of like not getting a stream for Melbourne and only getting a stream for Perth, because it feels like a bit of a kick in the teeth where your first streamed event is the smallest regional in the world. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Mm.
like a regional that gets 0 players. Like, two people show.
That's why we need Yakovovich to show up. Get some
However,
big
after
names on
this
the
weekend,
stage.
yeah, after
Yeah.
this weekend, it turns out that like a lot more players are planning to potentially fly out because obviously locals are starting. However,
Mhm. You still need the
apparently,
championship points.
yeah. Well, the thing is like so some of them who have top cut maybe once or twice so far.
Mhm.
Um, they can technically get the points from locals. However, the only issue is it's starting in March. You need to build up the like stores that are actually hosting the locals. And I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not because I haven't read it anywhere, but like someone said that the cutoff for when you can earn championship points from locals is July,
Mhm.
and after July you can't earn any more championship points from locals. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's true or not, but if that is the case, then that means they have a 3 month window in which the first month is literally
Yeah.
stores setting up. So
Also,
a
like
lot.
it's you can't. I don't think card shops can host cups until they host a certain amount of local
Oh,
like
that
challenges.
that makes it
I
even
don't
harder, I
know.
guess.
I don't know how many it specifically is. I think it's like three. I
Mm,
might be mistaken though. Don't quote me on that. But I think you have to host three challenges, two or three challenges before you can host a cup. So if you only have 3 months to host it,
yeah,
theoretically you
it's
might
a
not
bit
even be able to
tricky, isn't
host a
it?
cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So you could only get what if you attend all the potential cups, you could get a max of what is that? Uh, 90 points,
Yeah,
right? 15ers.
for some
Um,
people that might be enough, but for some,
But no. But the
if you
thing is,
if
like,
you have one
it's
top cut,
but
no.
but one, you had to find six local challenges, and
Yeah,
two,
yeah,
you had to
yeah,
win first at all of them, which is not
yeah.
easy. Even if
That's
there's
true.
like,
Yeah,
even if four people show up, right? You heard not time
yeah,
Kashi in NA, he hasn't even won a challenge,
yeah. That's true. That's true.
and he's the best EU player there is.
Well, it's good that you've admitted it.
Because
um,
yeah, there's
but
it's never getting old.
yeah. But yeah, a lot of people have actually said that they're considering going to Perth,
Yeah,
meaning that if
that's
there
good.
if there is a stream that will like from the sounds of like the names who are actually going, it sounds like it'll be a pretty good event, like really
Hmm.
good quality of play. And then also I think Perth may they might be looking at doing the same thing that they do in other regionals, where you have a challenge on the Friday and then a
Hmm.
cup on the Sunday. So
Hmm.
now going to Perth, it isn't just 200 points for grabs, but there's, what is it, like 265?
Yeah.
So decent, like a decent
Well,
incentive considering how far it is. Yeah,
well,
yeah,
the thing
obviously.
is, usually
Yeah,
the Sunday one, you usually
yeah.
like, if
Oh,
you're
everyone
playing,
that's
you
not in
don't.
the final. Yeah,
Yeah, people that aren't in top cut, they
yeah.
too.
But
So,
that said, though, I think because
well, depending on how many people go, right? If it's like a four-person
yeah,
top cut, then maybe they could host it right after it's done.
yeah, because it was
For
four
the sake
person
of
this
players
weekend.
that didn't top cut, they're probably hoping though that they aren't there,
Yeah,
because that's how it
yeah,
goes
that's
in
true. That's
NA,
true.
right? These tournaments, like
Yeah,
top
yeah,
cuts going on, all the non-top cut players are going for the cup because they're like,
yeah.
I don't got to face Dome Bug, like at least, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it'll probably be afterwards because like Top Cut finished within like a couple hours
That took a
on the
while
weekend.
though, because there was only 4 people. How did it take so long?
It was the full bracket reset,
No, I know,
like,
but
and then it
like,
was all 5 games.
were they happening one at a time? Because like, why couldn't they just play
So
simultaneously? Like, why
it was
couldn't
top four, yeah. So losers
Yeah.
finals and winners finals was happening at the same time.
Okay.
And then
How
you
does it? I
had
don't understand
just
how
no,
that
sorry,
happens.
not losers finals, winners finals. You had the
Loser
losers
semis.
semis, yeah, and winners
Yeah.
finals happening at the same time.
Okay.
And then you had the losers finals happening, which was five
Right.
matches. Then you had the finals, which was 5 matches, and then the bracket reset, which was 5 matches.
I just don't understand how that takes that long. Because one, you all don't even need to have like ad breaks or whatever because there's no production.
Yeah.
And then two, you just like, 4 hours? Really?
No, I said a couple hours.
Oh, how many?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was a couple, like two?
Two. Yeah, yeah. A couple is literally two.
Okay.
A couple is always
I thought you
two.
said four. Is when they say a couple hours, they actually mean two?
Yeah, a couple is always two. A couple.
I thought it just meant like a what? Let me
A
Google this. What?
couple. There's literally the definition of two.
Uh, all right. Let me take
Well,
couple
Caleb's
meaning in
learned something new
numbers.
today.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so a couple most strictly means two, but it's
Yeah.
often used casually to mean much the same as a few, which means around 2, 3, or 4. And it can be
Okay.
relative to
Well.
the situation and the size of numbers being discussed. Is this not a thing in UK? When you all say couple, you actually strictly mean two?
I mean, if
Because
I
I've
was
definitely
talking,
heard people say a couple something,
yeah,
and it's like 3 or 4, right? 5 maybe.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I was talking about something that I just had no knowledge of, and I was just like, yeah, there's just a
Well,
couple.
okay, but
Then
okay,
yeah,
no, I know you have knowledge that it's 2 hours, but I didn't know it
yeah,
was 2 hours. So how would I know
yeah. But
you're?
you know that I have the knowledge, so you know that I'm
But
being
I don't know.
literal, saying a couple.
No, what do
Yeah.
you mean? I know you. No, I know you have the knowledge, but how do
Ah.
I know? You could have the knowledge that it's 3 or 4 and still say a couple because it can still mean it. I
No,
don't
because
know
no, because I would
what's the
say a
knowledge
couple
in
if I
your
didn't
head.
have the knowledge.
How would I know that? What do you mean? You could say a couple. I was just. This can't be that hard to hit Anicor. How
I
would
get what
I?
you're saying, innit? Yeah, I
A
get what you're
couple.
saying. I
We literally
just,
are agreement that a couple can mean
yeah.
2 or 3, 4,
Well,
5,
I mean,
whatever.
I wouldn't really automatically default to it meaning more than two.
Yeah, I know.
Whenever anyone says a couple, the first thing I'm thinking is two,
That's
and
what
then
you're thinking.
maybe
That's not what
later.
I'm thinking, though.
Well, I don't. Then you should change that because
What do you
this
mean?
could.
Because
This
why would
could
I
be a
change that?
problem in
Because
the future.
other people can say a couple and they mean 3 or 4. I don't want to assume it's 2.
Well, I think you're right to assume it's two
Why would you assume it's 2 when
because
colloquially it can mean
it's a
3 or
couple.
4?
It's a couple.
No, no,
Like,
no,
why?
no.
What do
But
you mean?
you
Why would
literally
you
just
assume
said
it's two?
sometimes you say couple and you don't mean 2, right?
Yeah, but then I'm being lazy about it. Yeah, you would be
No,
right to think I'm saying two. You
how
would
would
be right to think I'm saying two.
I know, but how would I know you're not being lazy right now when you said a couple hours?
Bruv,
Did Anicor,
let's
this
move
is
on, bruv.
dude, you're
This is
yo,
ridiculous.
nighttime crashes still
Ridiculous
got you sleep
conversation, bro.
deprived. Oh my gosh.
Absolute
Anyway,
buffoonery.
yeah, the
Anyway.
buffoonery is he's just it took 4 hours for this event. All right,
Anyway, we've
anyway, okay.
established it took two,
Yo,
but
let me
anyway.
say let me say before we move on to
Uh,
Knoxville, shout out to Triple Crit, right? Who also second place finish, reset the
mhm.
bracket against one of the world's best players, and
Mhm.
also ran Bastion. And not only Bastion, his team was the same as my Portland team, except Annihilate over Polyrath. I know that
Yeah.
might be more of a coincidence than anything else. I heard
Nah, he
Reese
came up to me and showed me. He was like, "What does this look like?" I was like, "Oh, yeah."
before the tournament started.
Yeah, before the tournament.
Yo, if you see him, tell him I said shout out, man.
Well, he's a
Much
listener actually,
respect.
so
Oh,
yeah, he's
yo, much respect, man.
yeah.
That's did he use Sebastian? Did you see, were you so
Yeah.
what's the etiquette?
So
Because
funnily enough,
are you allowed to like
oh,
look over their shoulders or
well,
like
yeah,
what's
this is the stupid thing, man. Like okay,
because
so
that's
obviously
probably
there's no stream
distracting
or
too,
anything like
right?
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
The only thing they'll allow us to do is look over the shoulders or video over the shoulders, right?
That's
What
so
they don't allow you to do, yeah,
yeah.
what they didn't allow us to do was we were like, can we take the recordings? They were like, no, yeah. We were like, can we
Okay.
take a video of the recordings? They were like, no. I was like, what the hell? So
Wait,
you'd much rather us be distracting and video them while they're playing as opposed to taking a video of the recordings? Idiots,
wait,
man.
what do you mean by take a video of the recording? Oh,
Like
like
have the
screen record?
recording no have the recording play on the phone because they won't allow us to send the recordings, yeah, so
Yeah.
we have the recording playing on a phone and then video the phone with
Ah.
another phone,
Is
and
this
they're
an
like, no,
organizer thing or like a TPCI
the
thing?
organizer thing, man. Organizer.
Ah, dude.
I mean, I
You
don't
couldn't
know
be
about
sneaky with it and like little airdrop yourself afterward?
no, because I had the plan to do this in Brisbane, yeah. It turns out that airdrop is actually disabled on these phones,
Oh, they
but only
got
in
this
Australia,
on lockdown.
bruv. I don't know what their
Wait,
problem is,
airdrop
you
in
know.
general is restricted in
Only
Australia?
no. Just like
In
just
these
in
ones. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Well, apparently, like you can airdrop on like the EU phones and the NA phones, but they set them up so you can't airdrop
I
in
think I heard of
Australian
some
ones.
NA players airdropping their own footage to their own phones.
No, I'd love to do that. You know? Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know if it's
I think
against
that's
the rules
sick.
or not. I mean, I've never thought about it, but
Yeah, but
um,
yeah, that was bloody annoying, man. But yeah, he
wow.
did. So funnily enough, he did use Bastidon.
How many
He
times?
so he used it against Rocket Claire, and I think it won
Hmm.
him like maybe one match. He caught a good lead.
Yeah,
He led it, I think, twice or three times against Jakobovic. Yeah,
yeah.
he won the lead in two of them. So it was a Bastion Licky,
Uh huh.
and he lost the lead, or not lost the lead, but he had like neutral lead with a Gligar in one of them, right?
Hmm.
And all three matches he lost.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Wait.
it was because he had no proper Whiscash check, and Jakovovic's Whiscash just went
Oh.
in
Yeah,
like
that
every
okay,
single
yeah. So
game.
I mean, that's a big reason why I personally don't run that team anymore. With just
Mhm.
swapping out the Annihilate for it because you're way worse than the Whiscash without. Well, that's even more impressive. He was able to reset a bracket without a proper
Yeah,
Whiscash check.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kind of crazy. Yeah, that's
yeah.
really
Shadow
that's
Whiscash
why
as well.
like in this current meta with Annihilate, my team's a little bit different that I've been running. Because yeah, I mean the Wishcat because the Polyrath is so necessary. Like Vigoroth, like no big deal. Well, definitely not big deal with Annihilate, right?
Mm,
But it's a Wishcash that's a huge problem
yeah,
for sure. Well,
but
anyway,
yeah,
solid
moving
run though.
on
Yeah.
to
That's actually
oh,
really
I guess
impressive in my
okay,
opinion.
yeah.
If you could reset the bracket and win a best five against someone as good as your Kopovich when
Hmm.
you don't have a true Whiscash check,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
nuts. Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
And the
you
thing
just have
is,
to rely on
so
Law and Lickitung, I guess.
from what I know of Triple Crit, I don't know too much. Where I heard of him was from um,
I remember him in OCIC.
Sylph. Oh, okay, well,
Yeah, yeah, it was.
I didn't
Yeah,
see the thing, but mainly so when he used to take part in Sylph, so there's like an Australian Discord server, and they used to do like monthly like little championships from the Sylph metas, yeah, just to like crown the best player of that month or something, right? And they would log them over the season. And when you look at like the last Sylph seasons one, literally all the names on there on each month, it's like Jakobovic, Triple Crit, Jakobovic. It's like only
what?
them two who are the like. But then obviously certain people didn't take part in Sylph and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, like seeing his name there that many times, yeah,
Oh,
but
they've
not
definitely
seeing
battled
him on any
before.
other platform, then you know that he's definitely good.
Hmm.
And yeah, proved it this weekend. good performance.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's a good chunk of points too. 160.
yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
many points did you get?
I think I got 100. Is all right.
Oh, that's really good.
Not
Oh
bad.
yeah, because
Yeah,
top
yeah,
cut, right? Yeah, top eight.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's nice.
I was considering. I'll be honest. I was considering like not taking this season to. I'm not going to take it serious anyway, in it because like I got a lot of stuff that I want to sort out, like personal life wise.
Hmm.
However, I've been convinced to try and go to Hawaii. So I'm gonna try and cook something up for EUIC. I think the most I'm gonna do though is like, okay, look, I got 180 points now. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm gonna try hard for EUIC,
And see where it goes.
and then I'm gonna do locals, and then
Yeah.
there's a small possibility that I might enter one of the last regionals, like maybe Italy or Stockholm or
Wait, you're
something.
at 160 and
180, 180.
180?
Yeah,
I don't think. I think as long as you like get like 100 points from NAIC or UIC, you're
yeah. Then
good.
I should be pretty good. Yes.
You could just buy your flights at that point.
Yeah,
Because
I
the
guess what?
locals, I mean, you've been hyping up London locals all this time. Like,
I
you
should be
could
able to.
scrounge up some points, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
come
think it
on
should be
now.
fine. Yeah.
Also, I feel like
I,
at the towards the end of the season for
uh,
locals, I don't know. I don't know if people do this, but my
yeah.
guess is some of the people that max out on local points are
Might just
content.
not go. Yeah.
Yeah, like why they're gonna go to every like
If they're
cup
not
and
in
challenge.
contention for travel award, then like maybe there's no point in it.
Well, even if they are, but like if they've already pretty much maxed out the
Oh
local
yeah, true,
points,
true,
yeah,
true. Yeah,
like
that's true.
there's still
Yeah,
no
yeah,
point, right? Yeah,
yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna try EUIC. Yeah, I got some
It's
plans.
just like
Um,
it's like the delayed legend route, right? Where you push for legend when like everyone else trade legend, so it's way easier.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true.
Like towards the end, when you
uh,
would start 10 locals, you're going to start bringing some people like, oh, you interested in PvP? You should come with me. We need more people for this cup.
Bring my little cousin, like, give him a phone, download Pokemon in it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? I say that though, yeah. Like my cousin's at that age where he's just like super good at games, yeah. And
How
I
old is
remember
he?
like I think he's like now he might be like 13, 14 or something like that, yeah.
Mm,
And I
that's
remember
good.
like there was like a year or two ago, yeah. I was gonna challenge him in one of the games that he plays, yeah. I was like, give me a week, yeah. I'll be blessed. Yeah. And then later on, yeah, I see him playing this game, yeah, bruv. The speed that his hand was moving at, I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah. I
confidence
don't think
show.
I'm here this next week, you know. Like,
Wait, what game was it?
I don't know, and like they just play some like random mobile games. They play like Fortnite and stuff like that as well. But like
No,
the
those
speed
games
that
are
his hand was
hard.
moving, I was like, you're not the same like you were 2 years ago. You know, like 2 years ago, I was
Yeah,
having
no
to
kid.
like, you didn't even know how to use a controller. Yeah, and now you're like, it's too much. You know.
Dang.
You know that's
I already
that
have this
age though,
image
you
of
know.
what you were like a couple years ago when you have like cousins that are like 5, 6 years old, and you're like, yeah, let's play some backyard basketball, and just like dunking on them, like yeah, try to mess with me. Yeah.
Nah. Surely not.
uh,
Uh,
anyway, okay,
but yeah,
so we had
brief thing on
Knoxville.
the meta though,
Yeah.
because then we can go into the Knoxville meta. But if you look at the top eight, obviously we don't have the full meta, but top eight, Shadow Gligar and Licky, of course. What do you expect?
Hmm.
But lots of Annihilate. Yeah.
Hmm.
In fact, 7 out of 8 Annihilate.
Hmm.
With Jakobovic being the only one to not use Annihilate.
Right.
Um, and then we also have what I found interesting was double flyer on nearly every team,
Not
or like an
yours.
alternative an alternative flyer on most
Oh
teams.
wait, no, you do
So
have double.
I did as yeah. So
How was
I
the
was
Mana
using
Buzz?
Mandibars. Mandibars honestly was really good. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
figured it
like
was. It didn't really succeed much in Knoxville, but it
yeah.
was really
I thought it
cool.
was pretty good. I didn't. It didn't lose me anything. To be honest, it was just like yeah, it put in a lot of work. It was pretty good.
How
Um,
was Obama Snow? I feel like Obama Snow just wasn't the play.
yeah, I mean, Obama Snow was good. It did what it needed to do, I guess. But like at the same time, I feel like it probably could have been a different Pokemon, and it would have been just as good.
Mm,
So it wasn't bad, but it was alright.
yeah. Okay.
Didn't hate it.
Yeah. What
So
about Registeel? I
Knoxville,
feel like Registeel was kind of tough.
yeah, but it was kind of necessary at the same time.
Just run Basty. What you mean?
No,
What
no,
do you need
it
it
was
for? That
necessary for
Basty
like
doesn't beat.
no, it was necessary for obviously it was necessary for flyers, but
It's
also
it's worse into Gligar than Basty is though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Gligar was really the only issue, and I mean, what
Okay.
I had before, I had Lantern, right? And then you told me to change it to Registeel.
Well, yeah, because
um,
otherwise your team was going to be
yeah,
like I don't
but I
remember
think
what it was
Lantern
going to
would
be
have
weak to.
been decent, to be honest. You know,
I forgot why. I think it's like charge bug was a big
yeah.
issue for you.
But even that wasn't even like Lantern's fine against that. You know, I think Lantern's
It's
pretty good
okay.
because again, like nobody's really using grass,
Oh,
and
Lickitung I think was going to be a big issue for you because if you don't
yeah,
get
but then
mana
I've got
buzz on the
Mana Buzz.
Lickitung, then
But
you
then
just
everything else
lose.
is neutral, you know. Like you're not hard losing
Uh,
to it.
yeah, but it's
If
like
it
you need
was a
some
problem where
deterrent.
it's like a grass type is the problem, I'd say yeah. But
Wait,
it's
okay,
like, you
so
know,
what do you
Lantern
need
can
the
fight
Registeel
back
for?
against Gligar. So it was just
What do you
against
need?
flyers.
But then
It
why
was
not
just
just
for
run
extra
Basti? Because
flyer
Basti's
coverage.
better into the flyers.
No, but the thing is with Basti in it, yeah, it's like then you have to be like, oh, am I gonna like, you know, would I bring Registeel into a team where because I was already Annihilate was already safe against me, right? Yeah. Would
Right.
I rather have my Registeel accidentally locked into Annihilate or or like my Bastiodon accidentally locked into Annihilate?
Yeah, but
The
would you
answer is
rather have
Registeel, to be
your
honest.
a night your Registeel locked into a Gligar or your Bastion at least locked in Gligar? It was like 8
Honestly,
Gligar on this,
no,
or there's
honestly, I wouldn't mind Registeel
6
because
Gligar.
the thing is that like the Gligar kind of has to throw energy, so it doesn't really get to like
What do you mean the Gligar has to throw energy against
yeah, yeah,
Bastion
as
too
in
when
no,
kind
no,
of
no, but
logic
it's
is?
yeah, yeah, that's true. But I don't know, I don't mind it against I don't mind it against the Reggie, to be
Charger
honest.
Bug is also way stronger into the Reggie.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I thought
Look,
Reggie was fine, but I mean, I wanted
I'm
to run
just
Lantern anyway. So, but
I'm
yeah,
just
anyway,
glad Triple Crit listened to me out of people in Australia.
yeah.
Let's move on to Knoxville. All right. All right, so this Knoxville, what's the deal?
So, Knoxville. I mean, well, you were the caster. You should know the
I
deal.
was. It was
I
good.
only
It
just
was
finished watching it this morning.
you oh this morning? Yeah. So I will
Oh,
say two
yesterday.
things.
Oh,
Shadow Wish Cash,
yeah,
Peng. It's
yeah.
legit. And then the other thing I was gonna say is uh Annihilate with Night Slash, I think is the play. It
Hmm,
looks so much
hmm.
better. Although I will say Rockhaven was playing out of his mind with his Ice Punch Annihilate.
Yeah,
And that Umbreon, I feel like it was hard to bring, but like he made it look good though.
yeah.
I feel like
No,
everyone
do you
else
know
that
what?
brought
But
Umbreon
look at
didn't
the
make it look
team.
good.
There's like there's not as many Azumarill
Dude,
as you know there
you're
previously
killing
have
me.
been.
You're
Do you know what I
killing
mean?
me though. I'm
Huh?
not saying it's you specifically, but the Dracovish people, because I know Polly wasn't there for
Uh,
this, so he couldn't make it. You're killing me with this graphic again, with this winners bracket graphic. Just
why?
put them in order of their placements. It's so hard to look at.
Oh, right. Oh no,
Because we
that's
got
because
Awesome Ev first, and
yeah,
like
that's
which
because
is
Polly
fine. Awesome
wasn't.
Ev, like I know. That's what
Bruv,
I'm saying.
like I
Paul.
said, yeah,
I'm not
I
saying you
wasn't
did it.
available.
I'm
I
not
wasn't
saying you did it, but
available. Polly wasn't
whoever
available,
look,
and that
Mr.
person didn't want to
Jacob
put
is
in the effort.
CEO.
Yeah.
Mr. Jacob is CEO. You need to get your people online, right?
uh,
Get them
no, but
labeling.
you know what? I'll be very honest. Yeah, I'll be very honest. Yeah,
Do
you
they not
know
have
my
access to graphic that Polly does,
no,
like
they
with the
do, but my
medals?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, my at least right now because I'm like super busy in these days. Yeah, my
Mhm.
approach to it is I'm like I let the NA guys sort out the NA stuff. Yeah, so I'm like if they don't want
What do
to
you
put in
mean,
the
NA
effort for
guys
the
saw the
NA,
NA stuff, dude?
if they don't want to put
You
in
were
the
so
effort,
used and gave
bro, I'm not
Tomahawk
even in
UK,
their time
Tomahawk
zone.
US.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Yeah. But look, I'm not even in their time zone, so it's
No,
like
no,
it's
I'm
difficult for
not.
me to do
I'm not
anything for
saying.
like NA in it, you
I'm
know.
not asking
So
for
I'm
you
like,
to
if they
do it.
want to
I'm just
do it,
saying.
and yeah,
No, I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying you
no,
need to get
yeah,
on your people to do it, right?
yeah,
Make sure
yeah,
they sort this out
yeah.
before
They'll
Dortmund,
watch when I
right?
get back to London. It'll be good. Oh, Dortmund. You can be sure it'll be done for Dortmund. Yeah, who do you think's doing it?
Well,
Yeah.
look. I'm not saying it has to be you.
Bro, you think I'm gonna
I'm just saying. I'm
let
just
my
saying.
people go without any
I
first
don't
place, second
know. When
place, third
Nighttime
place, fourth
Crusher
place?
wins it
Come on,
again,
man.
I know you're going to be crying a tear when
He's
you
not
put in
going to be
that
on the
first place
graphic.
medal.
He's not going to be on the graphic. He's
Oh,
not
you
going to
say
be on the
that now.
graphic. Yeah.
You say that now.
Even if he wins, he's not going to be on the graphic. Yeah, there's just going
Well,
to be a
you could
gap.
take him off the graphic.
Yeah, his name won't
Yeah.
be there. His team will. Yeah.
Yeah, take them off because you're also taking off another guaranteed invite to Worlds from Europe, so might as well take it all off.
Uh,
But no, I thought it was really good overall. I think
yeah. So yeah, I like the Umbreon
Zimikin's
pick. You know.
Surfetch is kind of nuts, to be honest. Like bring Surfetch,
Yeah. But you
and
know
his
what? I see
Surfetch
the
is
thing with Surfetch though, because it always has play against like majority of the meta. You know,
it
it's
just
just
like
like super frail, and you have to just
he's
be
running
like
Leaf
careful with it.
Blade. Yeah,
Brave
it's
Bird.
so hard to
Yeah.
run though. I mean, he does run it, but like
Yeah.
it is definitely
It's probably
it's
just
like
not as good as something else. You know
you
what I
know
mean?
what
Yeah,
it'd
but
be
it's still
like?
got merit.
I feel like it's if I ran Purple Pass in every tournament. You know, because Bad Stat, you could argue, has like some really solid matchups and stat product. But it's like if I ran
uh,
something with bad stat product with the same typing with like okay coverage, right? No,
what about
no hate
Spark
on
proper
Zimmy though.
fast?
I've known Zimmy since I knew of Zimmy since the Seattle Go Fest 2 years ago.
Mm.
And I faced him actually. And he was running
Oh.
to Surf Edge back then too. So the moment I saw him again at Salt Lake City
I
afterward,
think he should go for a
I
in-game
knew.
trainer name change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what Surf
so
Edge Kid?
yeah, yeah.
No, he's a
Zimmy
super
fetch,
nice guy and stuff, but I give him like
Sir Zimmy.
that is the definition of handicapping yourself, you know. Um, but
Nah, no. Honestly,
it's a 1474
I
Surf
mean,
Edge too, by the way.
okay,
So
that's
stat
wild though.
product
That is
wise,
wild because it's
I
like
mean
if you're
it's a
really that
shiny,
committed to
it's shiny,
Surf
it's a
Edge,
shiny
that's
though.
fine.
He's not going to have a
But
shiny
I mean, look,
shiny.
I couldn't say that Surf Edge is bad. You know what I mean? It gives you the grass coverage. It's a fighter. It's not awful. It's got play. I think it's got merit. I think it's not like that bad.
He's
You know?
also running the Sleep Blade Brave Bird variant,
Yeah.
which is like
But
I
I
think
swear there was a regional, like I think it was like a few regionals ago, where his Brave Bird flipped some dumb match or like got him a shield in like a skarmory match or something stupid like that.
maybe.
I can't remember what it was, but it was
I
like
think
quite shocking.
I think Surfetch was better in the Polyrath meta. I don't think it's as
Mm,
good in
fair
the
enough.
Annihilate
That's fair
meta,
enough.
but
Yeah,
I
still
mean,
hits it for
hey,
neutral
you guys
and
stick onto the
potentially
brand,
knockout.
and
Yeah,
yeah, you guys stay true to brand, and I think he's about to qualify for Worlds, if not already.
yeah.
So,
So
um, he did
who
say
can we say?
he wasn't going to bring Surfetch to Worlds if he qualifies.
He wasn't.
Well, he's not going to.
Well, that's just disappointing.
I mean, if you want to win
I
worlds,
mean,
unless you want to do it L
commit
Chase
to the
style,
bit, you
like
know.
you
Yeah.
gotta. No, I don't think he wants to do any bids for worlds, and he's going to go full on. No, he played really well though.
Mm,
He made it to top cut by beating 2-0ing Kimi Sui, which is no
mm.
easy opponent by any
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
So, but anyway, enough about Just Syndicate. I think a lot of really cool storylines. I did not realize Blob NA was Lao Jeff's brother. Like,
What? Really?
well, I thought you watched the podcast. What do you mean? You skip all the interviews?
Yeah, I
Oh,
skip all
okay.
the talking in it. Yeah, because I
Oh,
wasn't watching it live, and
yeah.
I was
Blob
just
NA is Lao Jeff's brother.
wow,
Yeah. I heard
that's
of Blob.
wild.
I've commentated Blob NA's battles before.
Uh huh.
I think he's only played in 2 tournaments before this. It was Knoxville last year and Toronto this year, I believe.
Uh-huh.
I think it was Knoxville last year. No, it was Fort Wayne last year and then Toronto this year. And I think he got like 33rd in both. But he beat with Dodge at Toronto this
Mm,
year. So that's why I was like, whoa. I was like, he
pretty
kind of
good.
knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. And again, he's also I think I might have mentioned it on the podcast back when it happened, but he also plays League of Legends. He's my friend on League of Legends, so I
Okay.
see him online a lot. I never played with him, but he's very highly ranked, at least compared to me. So like he's definitely good
Nice.
at like video games. But he made Top Cut for first time as well as his brother Lao Jeff. So
Wow.
I don't
So
think Lao Jeff's team is really
if
the play
Lyle
anymore.
Jeffs is Lyle Jeffs the third.
What do you think Blob NA's name is? It ain't Blob.
I don't know. Blob Jeffs the second, maybe. Actually, I'm looking it
Maybe
up
his name
now.
is Bob.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. Yeah. But
I don't want to reveal his
yeah.
name, but
Lyle's Kyle.
yeah.
Butters kept killing me. He kept saying Lyle's
Lyle's,
Jeff.
yeah,
I
bro,
was
that's
like,
so funny.
and I
It's,
think I
it's funny
asked him
because
about
everyone
it, and
makes the
he's
mistake and it's so dumb.
well, I said it, and someone said he prefers Lyle's Jeffs.
Nah, bruv.
I
I
don't know
don't
if
think
that's
that's the
true or
case.
not,
I mean,
though. I don't.
I can't say for sure, yeah, but I really
Yeah,
doubt it.
I don't
I
think so
really just
either.
think it's like people misspeaking really badly.
Yeah,
But maybe it is. Maybe it is, but
yeah.
I don't know.
We got Valor Ash and his Talonflame again. His team is
Yeah. But
wild. I don't know how
honestly,
his team has like no Lickitung
Talonflame
checks.
Talonflame was looking so good though.
Was it?
There was
I
yeah,
know him and
man.
Rise and Blob ran into, but I didn't actually see Blob on stream.
Okay, I'm thinking about Talonflame. So Talonflame in Liverpool looked really good, right? Nobody really had like proper counters to Talonflame, or if they did, it was like,
Yeah, but
they
this is
only had like
NA, man. You
one,
know, NA,
right?
you can't run that stuff and get away with it.
Okay, look,
I'm
what
just
Talonflame realistically, the
standing back.
hardest answer, or like not the hardest answer, but like the matchup you really, really don't want to be in is the Azumarill matchup, right? But and then like Lantern or something. But
Basti.
most of the matchups, yeah, Basti, but look, there's not a single one here, so We can
Yeah,
ignore that.
yeah.
But like most of the other matchups, like for example, Whiscash is obviously a water type, but it's
It's not that
dependent
bad.
on
It's a
the Scald.
wish cash.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like you got play Charger Bug, you've got play as well. I think
I'd rather be
Talonflame
the
has a lot
Talonflame
of
than
play.
Charge Bug.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a lot of play in a lot of matchups, with that kind of coverage. So I think it's not a bad choice. I think it's especially if you're like familiar with using it, and because I think again like using Incinerate, so many people mess up. It
Hmm.
seems like I saw loads of incinerate mistakes on stream
Hmm.
over the weekend. But yeah, if you like know how to use it, know when to like flame charge and then fly, or like when to double fly, and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
think yeah, it looks decent.
What do you think about Onion Frank's team,
Um, just take another look at what that is.
dude? One
I
match that
Yeah.
really like was unfortunate. I don't know if it's like a mindset thing, like he was just tilted
Mm,
or not. This is not actually not really to Onion Frank. Did you see that out of pocket versus Rockhaven matchup?
yeah. Oh, and he kept on like miscounting things, and
No, I think
it was just a
I
bit
think
off.
pocket was just tilted or something.
Yeah.
I feel like he was just like mentally like exhausted or frustrated because there was one game they rematched,
Mm,
and or maybe it was multiple, but there was one specific game where he like pretty much thought he lost.
yeah.
And instead of countering down the opposing Annihilate that had like almost no energy, Rockhaven's Annihilate, because Rockhaven had a Skarmory in the back,
Yeah.
he throws a Night Slash when Rockhaven's
Yeah.
Annihilate has like 2 HP. And then because he threw that energy early, they should have charge attack prioritied on the or no, Rockhaven should have got to the Sky Attack before the Shadow Ball
Mm,
from the Annihilate on pocket side. But Rockhaven lagged and then didn't get like a turn, 2 turns off or something, or a turn off, 2 turns off, I think.
mm,
And then he gets outpaced to the Shadow Ball. And then he, of course, brings it up for review. And then they rule in his favor and they get a
yeah.
rematch. That was a game that Pocket should have straight up won.
Yeah.
But he just, I don't know.
He was
He
making some
just,
very interesting mistakes. Yeah.
I think he was just frustrated with himself or with the game or I don't know what. But like, I was like, there's no, like, even if Rockhaven lags at that point, that wouldn't even be rematchable because he far outpaces him if he
Mm,
just went for the shit countdown. I was so confused. I was watching, I was like, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. But, and then they rematched, of course, and then eventually Rockhaven won, right? Like, I think, like, he just, he just beats Rockhaven at that point. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I guess
Anyway,
everyone can have.
yeah. I mean, hopefully
Yeah.
he figures it out for the next one. But I mean, he's already got enough points, I think, to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
just like I feel like it seems at least. I mean, I don't know. I don't like. I'm no expert on this, but it just seems like he's a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know what it is. He kind of reminds you of Dodge like midway through last season a little bit.
Mm.
You know,
Like not
um,
fully on his game,
not even
or
not
maybe
it's
just
not even
a bit
not fully on his
frustrated.
game. He's like really good, but it's just like yeah, like mentally, I feel like he's like frustrated and like it's making him like create misplays, right? He's like almost like mauling a little bit mid gameplay, right? Not like he's not like this is a bit like this is the thing with Doombug. Doombug is not giving up until the very end, right?
Yeah.
He'll be like fighting, like he plays to his win cons no matter what. Not to say he
Mm,
doesn't make any misplays, but he is like he believes he could win it at any point, even when it looks like is like no shot, right?
yeah.
But I think a lot of people end up giving up a little bit before then. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, what do you think about Onion Frank's team? That team was kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean, uh, I think it's interesting. Okay, so one thing I
Seems a
think
little
like
bit alignment based.
yeah, but I guess that's just him in it. No, that's
People
just how
always
it
say
goes.
that. I don't think so though.
You don't
He
think so?
plays like pretty solid balanced teams overall in
Yeah,
tournaments. Like I feel like people just say that because like he used to run like
because he used
double
to
charm
run.
in
Yeah,
GBL. But like in the official tournament circuit, I feel like he plays like pretty solid teams that aren't like
didn't he start off
RPS.
playing Shadow Victory Bell?
Yeah, but he ran Shadow Vic and Clarence Stumpfisk. Like that's like a like he never ran Shadow Vic Bastion or Shadow Vic
Uh,
Charmer, you know? I don't think maybe he did at Hartford, but like that was just like
let's
a
see.
meme team him and both Pocket both ran. Like the like people always say that he plays like these RP strategies, but like RPS strategies, but I think that's just a GBL thing.
Yeah, I mean the
I
thing
mean,
is,
look,
it's
it's not a
so
big deal if
difficult to
that's a
bring.
narrative, but like I just
Yeah,
don't think it's an accurate narrative.
yeah,
Like, I think he actually plays like pretty legit teams that aren't like gimmicky by any means or RPS.
Yeah. But would you feel comfortable bringing a straight out grass type?
No, no. I mean, okay, look, this team
Yeah, I mean,
is,
no, but he's been bringing
it's a little.
Serperia all season. Or like,
Did he? He didn't bring
yeah,
it in
he's,
Portland.
oh, okay, no, this might be San Antonio is still this season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
San
brought in San
Antonio was right after
Antonio.
meta rotation, and like it's hard to
Oh, okay,
say.
fair enough, yeah,
He also got
true.
fifth there. I mean,
Yeah,
his San Antonio team actually looks. No, I don't know if it looks similar, but he likes
yeah,
Lantern a lot, actually.
yeah. Lantern's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing though, I think the Vigoroth, like Vigoroth, I think is potentially the best Pokemon if it just wasn't for Annihilate, right? Because it's just got coverage over everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought pairing it with Annihilate is kind of interesting,
I thought it was cool too.
but then I don't know about like also then having the A slash on the team because then I feel like it
Yeah.
makes one of those really difficult to bring,
His team is definitely a
into it.
little bit weak to Charger Bug as well. But
Mm,
I think he personally, I think he played around that pretty good. Like like everyone brought Charge Bug into him, and he didn't really seem to struggle against it at all.
mm.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and the water gun lantern I think was quite smart as well
that
because
was smart. That was smart. Yeah,
yeah, I've
it
been
looked really
like
good.
I thought about that as well in
It
terms
was like
of
just straight up
obviously
beating Charge Bug.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
like the better electric.
yeah. It was actually quite cool.
It's just really
Um,
scary to bring that in a Whiscash meta. But I mean, when you have
yeah, but
Altaria
even
and
then it's like got a
Superior,
bit of a better.
yeah, it's slightly better. Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like got a bit of a better thingy against
Yeah, the
Whiscash. So.
Altaria and Superior coverage though for that was really nice for all the Whiscash. So
Mm,
who did he lose to? He lost. Oh, he lost to Doombug, right? And then he lost on Rockhaven. But I don't know. I think Onion Frank played really solid with a funky team. Like
mm.
on paper, that team makes no sense, but it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Night Slash Annihilate, I think is the play. I think Shadow Whiscash is probably the play. What do you think? You think Shadow Whiscash? I
Yeah. I
caught a
mean,
clean Shadow Whiscash that hits 1500 at 11 p.m. the night that the rocket event was about to end.
oh, swear down. you wanna tell
Be
us
on
your
the
IVs?
lookout if you're a local mine. Be on the lookout. Oh, I'm not going to say the IVs, but be on the
No,
lookout.
okay.
I hit every power up I needed to on that one. Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I've got a decent one as well, to be honest.
Mm.
You know what I think? I saw a couple videos in the lead up to this weekend, right? So you had
Yeah.
Axon using it on stream,
Okay.
Home Slice Henry making a video about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Axon using it on stream, he then makes a tweet being like, "Yo, I think Shadow Whiscash is legit," and then Home
Mm-hmm.
Slice Henry makes a video about it as well, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then as a result, like obviously people have like started looking into it this weekend, and um, it performed pretty good. And I found that super interesting because I'm like, well, why is it only now that it's why did it take that for people to be like, yeah, let's do the shadow version?
I would
Or do you think it was an
say
actual change in the meta where the shadow version is actually better against something?
I think that's a big part of it because there is more Skarmory usage,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it two shot Skarmory kind of
Okay.
reminds me of like the Shadow Swampert
Right.
versus
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
non-Shadow. There's more Azumarill usage compared to Corsalia
Yeah, and
because
that's a
Annihilate
cleaner
hits.
matchup as well. Yeah.
And well, not even that. The non-Shadow only wins in the two shields. The Shadow
Yeah.
wins in the one shields. Committing two shields to Whiscash just to win switch is kind of like a
Yeah.
not the best
Long. Yeah.
idea situation in my opinion. Um, and Whiscash has way more play into Annihilate than Poliwrath, right? Like if you're
Mm.
facing against a Poliwrath and your Shadow, like the Ice Punch or the Icy Wind and the counter just takes you down, right? Like pretty quickly. Whereas the non-Shadow, you have to throw Scald, so you have a little bit more play there, in my opinion. Um, and then Lickitung's everywhere still, and that extra
Yeah.
Scald damage is nice because you're going to shield every Power Whip anyway, even if you're
Yeah.
non-Shadow.
Yeah. It's true.
Uh, I think those are the main reasons. I think the
Yeah.
Shadow might be better. Non-Shadow might be better to Shadow Gligar though, but that's about the biggest
But I think
difference. I think.
with Shadow Gligar, it seemed like you can just go straight aerial ace on it. But then at the same
Yeah,
time,
you get
you
like one shot
have
with
to
the
shield the
Scald,
scold. Yeah.
but
So
they always shield the Scald anyway.
yeah, but I mean the
Yeah.
thing is you have more scope to not shield the scold. Like if you need to,
Yeah.
you have more scope to not
Right.
shield the
Right. Right.
scold, and you can still make 1 to 2 more moves. Because they have to go
Yeah.
for the second scold as opposed to a mud bomb. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, that interaction is quite interesting actually, because again, like it makes Shadow Gligar almost like I want to say like a staple, but like kind of like a staple.
Yeah.
I guess
I
it
think
really
so.
is.
I think non-shadow still has a lot of play, but it's just not as yeah. What
Yeah,
do you
the
think
thing
about
is that the
Skarmory?
Shadow is beating things like Cress and stuff as well. So
Well,
Skarmory, so there was a lot of, as in
there's a
like you
decent
can
Skarmory.
beat you, yeah.
No, no, no. I
But
mean
yes,
Skarmory in general as a pick in this meta.
oh yeah, yeah, I was talking about the Gligar and the Cress.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, Skarmory. I can't remember if the numbers had gone up in Liverpool, but I feel like they definitely went up now, like
Yeah,
this
there's a
weekend, right?
decent amount in Knoxville.
Loads of people using Skarmory, and I think
Between the grand
looking at
finals.
Skarmory at the beginning of the season, right? Everyone's like, well, it's an RPS pick, right? You hardwall like things like grass, but then at the same time you're getting hardwalled by like steel and electric types. But the thing is the over the course of the season, the like standard team composition, particularly after Annihilate came out, I don't know particularly why then, but has changed to your electric type is not going to be a lantern, which is generally like a worse matchup, is going to be a charge bug. And obviously, a charge bug's not good for you, but because you're hitting neutral with like Sky Attacks and Brave Bird, you have a bit more play in that sort of scenario, right? Then you've got not really as many steel types around. Like, I guess there's a bit of Reggie Steel, but it's not like on every team or on most teams. You just get one here and there.
Mhm.
Um, and then you've also got like in terms of steel type that's potentially got a lot of potential, or that has a lot of potential right now is the Alolan Sandslash. And that's not even a
Yeah.
bad matchup either. So,
I
and
don't
then
think
when you
Alone
look at,
Sensor is not even relevant anymore. But
it's not relevant anymore, but I think it still has potential right now because it does kind of beat a lot of the like commonly used things. It has
what does it
potential
beat?
to beat Whiscash in certain things. It's like it's neutral into a lot of stuff. So obviously it's good into Gligar. It's like got a neutral to good
Besides
matchup into
Gligar.
Lickitung.
Well,
Um, you
depends,
got
yeah.
I think a neutral matchup into Charger Bug, into
Charger Bug
Skarmory.
typically wins that though.
Um, but it's like it's not like a hard loss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You Whiscash is like you're losing that, but you can hit back. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, steel types, Cress,
Still pretty bad in
using
my
rock.
opinion. There's only
It,
one Alone Sandslash in top
yeah,
10.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't think like I think it's just got
There
more
were more
potential right now. Do you know what I
superior
mean?
than Alone Sandslash.
Yeah, yeah,
There were
that's
more
true.
Talon Flame and Skelders
Yeah.
than Alone Sandslash.
But I couldn't say that means it's bad. I think it like if
Why? It's not
I
performing.
think if something has play, it's not performing, but maybe no one's choosing to use it in it. But I think if something has play against most things, then it's viable and potentially abusable as well.
Let me see what the
Um,
usage was. I don't know if we have usage data for like
so
top
we've
12
got
usage for Knoxville
we've
day
got
one.
day one, so I'll send you this here.
What's day
There was a
one?
day two one, but I couldn't find it. Oh, I couldn't be bothered to find it. To be
Day one
honest.
Knoxville.
Yeah,
Oh, Alone Sandslash wasn't on there actually, so
no.
maybe there weren't that many people running it.
But if you look at all these top 12, Alolan Sandslash has like good to arguably neutral matchups into most of them.
It's not
And
neutral if you lose it, right? so,
no, but as
so
in like, okay, well, what I would consider neutral is potentially it's flippable by like one or two powder snows difference. Do you know
like
what I mean?
what? Which one? Charger bug?
Okay, let's look at Charger Bug. I mean, how much does it take to flip a Charger Bug?
I don't know. All right, so assuming you're running Powder Snow, you beat
Yeah.
Lickitung and Gligar straight up.
Okay.
I don't really think you beat Lantern straight up anymore. With Powder Snow, you don't beat. I don't think you beat Dugong either. I don't think you beat Registeel. You do you even beat a Cresselia without Shadow Call? I don't think so. And then yeah, you beat the
Um.
Mana Buzz.
So Charger Bug neutrally, you win the
You,
zeros and ones, and then
really?
in the
High stat product Charger
twos,
Bug?
yeah, rank one.
Well,
In
you're
the
baiting though,
twos,
right?
well, we can turn off paying. Let's see.
And also, how many people have a rank 1 shadow
No,
along
you just go
Sandslash
straight.
besides
You just go
Aki?
straight ice punch. Yeah, but do you know what I mean in it? Like, obviously this scenario is not going to happen in it, yeah. But it's like neutral enough where even a difference in IVs or like a difference in
I
energy is
guess
going to make it
so. I
neutral.
mean, you're also talking
I
about
consider
Pokemon that
that
has
neutral.
near. You're talking about Pokemon that has near perfect coverage. Of course, it can hit back against everything.
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah,
like,
yeah. But that's what
it
I
can
mean
hit
in it.
back against this and
Yeah,
that.
but
But
that's what I mean. But it's like that's what makes it like viable and potentially abusable. Do you know what I mean? Because you can hit back. Obviously,
mm,
Dugong is probably a bit safer to use,
yeah,
but I don't think A slash
I'm
is
just trying to make
bad.
sure you're not
Just nobody's been
misinforming
using
the
it.
people.
Look, people, I don't think A slash is bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. Look, Caleb thinks it's bad. I don't think it's
I don't
bad.
think it's bad. I don't think
You
it's
said it was
good.
bad.
I don't think it's good enough in this meta. I still stand by the fact that I don't think Umbreon's that good in this meta either. But Rockhaven played a really good.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Umbreon's interesting though because obviously previously it was
there's a
like
Zoomer on Charge Bug
a
everywhere.
Zoomer Charger bug, right? But Charger bug is not awful. Like
No, but you'd still rather be Charge Bug than Umbreon.
yeah, of course, in it. But I'm saying like you're always going to be in a bad matchup, right? But you want like if those bad matchups are less bad. Let's take Dugong for example. Yeah, Dugong Charger bug. Yeah, you'd rather be the Charger bug. But it's not as bad where if you are in that situation, yeah, then at least you're not being like taken advantage of. Do you know what I mean? Like at least they're not going to
I
come
agree,
out with
though.
super too much advantage.
I think it's better than an Alolan Sandslash. I will say that.
That's what you take out of this.
Yes, that's what I'm taking.
But I think Umbreon's interesting for that reason. Like, a bit less Azumarill. Yeah, there's Charge Bug, but maybe if your team is like particularly uninviting to Charge Bug, um, Umbreon can thrive. Because honestly, what else is it that's really stopping Umbreon aside from Azumarill and the Charge Bug? Because
Uh,
if it's just those two,
Occasional
then
Registeel, but that matchup's not that
yeah,
clean.
that matchup's pretty close as well. So
What else is there? Let me see on the meta list. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
I don't know.
so
Anyway,
yeah, not bad.
big congrats to Doombug though. The boosts were crazy, but like honestly, every time I saw him boost, I just in the back of my head, I'm like, another one's coming. Like I
Bro.
know it, right? Like I know it. I'm literally prepping my my voice box for it to scream, right? Because I have to commentate both his games to be double boosted, and like you're
Oh
literally,
my gosh.
dude. Imagine being his opponent, right? Rockhaven and
Bro, you
Magic
just put
Mason
the phone
on the
down,
receiving
man.
end. They're both just like sitting there, like I can't do nothing. And you like imagine being there, white noise on your ears, and you could hear the whole crowd still roaring for your defeat after this double boost, and you're trying to keep it together and be like, I need to find a win con. Like, maybe I'll lick it down with my lick it tongue while taking like quadruple damage. Like,
That was so sad, man.
yeah,
There
you
was
do
nothing you could
nothing.
do. It was just punching through everything.
And then Doombug's mic'd up across from you. You could hear him laughing and just like the maniacal laughter every time he's boosting. Like, yeah.
That, you know what? I think that was the worst part as well. Like, obviously, enjoy your matches in it, yeah. But yeah, if I was like watching him like smiling and nearly laughing, yeah, I was like, because sometimes some people are like, oh yeah, sorry for the boost, isn't it? Yeah. Doombug was not sorry for the boost, bro. he,
Oh, he
he
was
was
like,
not sorry for the
he's
boost.
like, thank you
Yeah.
for the prize money and
He was like, let's
and the
have another one.
accolades. Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, that
yeah.
was
There's a lot
mad.
of people that play with. I think most people play with a lot of emotion, but there's some like that
Mm,
just play with. I feel like I don't play with a lot of emotion. Would you say that's correct?
yeah, you're.
I adopted.
I like to look at people like when things go bad
Yeah,
and see if they like react to it, or when things go unexpectedly and see if they
yeah,
like to react to that way. You don't.
yeah.
Um,
Can't face
some
me.
people do the little like, and then
I
some people are just straight up like,
One of my least favorites is when they're
uh,
like looking at the camera, like, "Oh, like watch this
oh,
sneaky,
when they do
sneaky."
the like, was
When
it
they do
like fourth wall or something like that, where they're like,
yeah, like they break the fourth wall, like they look at a camera or
yeah,
like
yeah.
but they end up
uh,
still losing the game.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's
That's wild.
that's like,
If you're gonna
if
look
you're
in the
doing
camera, win.
yeah, win,
Right.
right? Or like I don't mind the little celebration, but celebrating way before you won. Like I
Mhm.
remember someone, I don't remember this person's name, I'm not going to name him if I did, at LAIC last year, not this
uh,
season, last year. It was like day 1. And I think they I forgot what it was. They threw like a resistant move or something. I think instead of like maybe I don't remember the specific Pokemon. I don't even think it was Lickitung, but let's say it was the Lickitung and
Mm.
Power Whip's like neutral and Body Slam's like resisted, right?
Uh,
And they threw a Body Slam instead of the Power Whip, and I think they were at the Power Whip Benji,
mm.
right? And then like and then he presses it, and then everyone's like, "What? Like what are you doing?" Right? And he was just like looked at the camera was like as in like don't worry I'm
No, I'm
cooking right.
cooking. Yeah.
He puts his fingers to his mouth like just
Uh.
signs like I'm cooking right. And he straight up loses right. Like he throws a body slam. It doesn't
What was he
knock out the
cooking?
Pokemon. He doesn't knock out Pokemon. His Lickitung goes down. I guess he's like trying to over farm on the following Pokemon
Uh,
coming in, and I think that Pokemon gets to another move again before he
oh
can take it out.
mate.
And,
Oh
like
my days.
I don't know what it was. I think it was able like I don't know
You
the
just
scenario.
choose a different game after
Just
that, man.
imagine like throwing like a power whip at like a Swamper when they had no shields, and instead you
Uh,
throw a body slam, and you get
just to get
taken out, and you get hit
exposed.
by another Hydro Cannon coming in.
Oh
Next
mate.
Pokemon. That I was there like, what are you cooking right now? Like who you silencing, right? Like if
I
you
think the
like
food's burning. Yeah.
yeah, if you made a misplay, just admit it, right? Don't try to correct him. Be like, oh shh. Don't worry, I got something for you. I got some
Oh mate.
shh. Like I was like, even if you win that, I don't think that was the optimal play. But I was so confused. I can't even remember where I was commentating that or I was just watching backstage and just like laughing. But yeah. I mean, it is what it is. People are allowed to express how they want.
Yeah, true, true.
But let's just say, right? Because this happened a couple times. Maybe just mainly one time at Knoxville. I ain't ever saying GG's unless I know I lost.
What was that all about? Because I don't really understand.
No, I don't think it's controversial. I don't know why people making a big deal about it.
Because
Essentially,
someone made a tweet about it, and I watched the game and I
no,
was
no,
like, oh,
it
I don't
was
understand what's going on.
no King Alexander versus Jengos. He
Oh,
essentially it was like pretty much over.
right.
He had a Skarmory in the back, and then King
Yeah.
Alexander had a
Yeah. Because
Skeledirge.
I remember this and he threw the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and King Alexander, and then Jengos just says GG's. Right, I was
Yeah.
commenting the match with
Okay.
Butters,
Yeah.
and we're all like, yeah, this is definitely GG's. Right, there's just no
Yeah.
way. It's well played by Jengos, but whatever. And he throws a Sky Attack, gets a shield, and then instead of throwing any energy, whatever, and Django still had a shield too. He had like,
Yeah.
and Chaos had double 100 energy at this point, over it. He just goes straight Incinerate.
Hmm.
And then Django gets a Brave Bird and takes out the Skeledirge. He's down a shield, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry. Chaos had no shields. But either way, and he had like and Django's had like a 2 HP like Duga on the back, right? And King Alexander just straight up wins that. And then King Alexander says GG too after Jengos does.
Hmm.
But then King Alexander doesn't end up throwing a move, right? I think he just like forgot or just realized he could incinerate
Yeah.
down. And then Jengos ends up winning that game. It's game 3 of the losers finals and then making top cut because of it. And I think like King Alexander was trying to clarify. King Alexander's a super nice guy, right? And he was trying to
Yeah.
clarify like what he did. And I don't think he did anything wrong either, right? He just like
No, if
he just kind of
Jungle
lost
said
track of the
GG's
game.
first, you're just replying. You know what I mean?
He's just
Like,
replying. I think
yeah.
maybe like King Alexander might have taken the foot off the gas pedal or miscounted the wing attacks or something, or the
Yeah, well,
seal wing.
that's unfortunate. Isn't
But
it?
that's just a misplay, right? That happens. Like you don't.
Yeah.
Well, first off, King Alexander definitely doesn't apologize, right? Like,
No.
what are you going to yell at a guy for losing after saying GG's in response to someone else's GG?
You know
Like
what I
what? Like
mean?
what is the? Well, why is
Literally.
anyone even angry, right?
I don't know.
Like no one should be angry.
Yeah.
Django doesn't apologize because he thought it was over, right? I think most people
Yeah.
would, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I'm just saying if I'm winning a game, I'm never saying GG's until they say it.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
to be honest, I never even.
or until the game's over.
Yeah.
Because you never
I
know,
never
right?
even do that in it. Yeah. Like if I'm winning, yeah, and it's over, yeah.
You
Even
wait till it's
if
over in
I've
GCs.
thrown the charge move, yeah, and this charge move is 100% KOing, yeah, I'm throwing my charge move first. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
and then you
soon
say
as I see that
GG's.
I win
Yeah,
screen, yeah, then it's
yeah.
like, cool, cool.
I don't care if on the stream it says one hit
Yeah.
KO. I need to see them get knocked out before I say
One
GG's.
HP in the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah.
is, in that example is different because Jengos did not win the game. He was saying it because he
Yeah.
thought he lost, and then
Exactly. Yeah.
King Alexander wasn't responding, thinking he
Mm,
because he thought he won. It was just that was a different situation.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't even know how we got to that tangent. Anyway,
No idea.
Knoxville, what a time.
What a time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also again a repeat regional from last year increased participation.
Yeah. This
So
is the second. Oh well, no, it's not the second, but like, based on the RK9, sorry, based on the challenge bracket, same number of players as San Antonio, making it like joint largest NA regional.
Yeah, they weren't all there though. It wasn't like actually
Yeah, yeah, I
150
know,
something.
but like they
Yeah,
probably weren't all there in San Antonio, so
yeah,
I didn't count in it. But like, still cool, Because
yeah.
again, I don't know where Knoxville is, but pretty lit.
It's in Tennessee, so East Coast. It's really
That
close to Charlotte.
sounds
It's
okay.
really close to Charlotte because a small flight issue. I was supposed to get there at 9 p.m. on Friday, and
Uh,
then my plane was supposed to take off in LA at 11 a.m. and I had a layover in Atlanta. I'm on the plane. I fall asleep. I'm waiting for it. I'm feeling real good. I'm in that comfort plus seating. I'm in like a three
wow.
person row, so there's like two on each side. It's a big plane, two on each side, and then three row in the three
Uh,
seater in the middle, two aisles. No one sitting next to me in the middle seat. One person on the far seat.
okay.
Comfort plus. I'm in the aisle,
Nice.
and I don't have anyone next to me. I'm
Ooh.
chilling, right? I'm
Ooh.
kicking back. I'm like, I'm gonna sleep well, right? I'm gonna land, be refreshed, right? I'm feeling good.
Hmm.
And so this is a long leg too. I don't even know what my flight is, but this is a longer flight. So I'm like, I'm in the good seat for the longer flight. I wake up like 30 minutes later or something to the woman next to me, right? The one, two seats over, right?
Yeah.
She's like, hey, we gotta get off the plane. I'm like, why? And she said, there's some there's some wire that needs to be fixed and they need to ship over the wire part. And they're not
What?
gonna so we're not gonna take off for another 5 hours. I'm like, 5 hours?
What?
5 hours? And I have a layover in Atlanta that I have to catch. I have like a 1 hour layover and I go. And so now my projected landing time is like midnight in Atlanta, not even Knoxville. So I'm in
Oh,
customer
mate.
service and there's a whole line of people. Because I was waiting customer service for like an hour too, because everyone's trying to sort their flights out. Earliest next flight outside of mine is like 11 p.m. or something, or like 10 p.m. I'm like, I want to get there even later. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And there's no way I catch my layover flight, and I can't. What am I gonna do in Atlanta, right? And the earliest flight from Atlanta to Knoxville, they didn't have like a red eye.
Mm.
I would land at 10 p.m., 10 a.m. the next day. The stream starts at 10, so ain't no way I get my baggage, go to the venue, change, get ready, and go. Like I won't be ready, right? And I'm like, what? So I'm talking to like production stuff. I was like, hey, like there is literally no earlier flights in this thing. And then they're trying to set me up and they finally find like a different airline to put me on.
Mm.
And so I end up going on a different flight that leaves at 10 p.m. from LA.
Okay.
And then it flies straight to Charlotte instead of Atlanta. Charlotte was where
Okay.
the last regional was, right?
Yeah.
And then I land in Charlotte at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. And I take like a 30-minute flight from Charlotte to Knoxville. And I land at like, I forgot what the math is, but I land at like 8:30 in
And
the
you
morning.
just go straight to work.
Well, no, because I haven't showered in like 24 hours either, right? And so I go to the hotel, I change, right? I shower. I'm trying to get there in time, right? I get to the hotel like around 9, right? Or like almost 9. We start rehearsal at 9. I already told him, I'm like, I'm gonna
Uh,
be late. I open my suitcase. I didn't bring a button-up shirt. I brought my suits. I brought
Wait.
everything but my button-up shirts. So now I'm frantically I never showered too, right? I'm just like trying to put on a shirt. I'm like, where my shirt at? I'm frantically texting the group chat, right? For the cast. I'm like, yo, anyone got an extra shirt? Like button up, please. Yo, shout out to Speediest Chief too, right? He sends a response like, yo, I got an extra white shirt. You can grab from my room.
Hey, sick
But
guy.
he's in rehearsal. So
Oh,
I'm calling the front desk. I'm like, hey, can you send someone up to open the door? Like, it's my friend. He told me to go just escort me in. They're like, if he calls,
that
then
sounds
yeah.
shady.
If
Yeah.
he calls, then yeah. Otherwise, we can't let you in, which is fair.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We had someone from the production crew, one of the town manager. She's like running across the street, bring his hotel key to me in the lobby, and I go in. I button up. I show up. I show up like 15 minutes the show starts, and here I am with like no sleep, right? Because I literally showed up at the airport on Friday at 9 a.m. and I didn't sleep until Saturday night.
What were your
Right?
seats like on the new flight?
Awful, right? I was in the window side, right? In the back
That's not bad.
by the
Yeah.
window side, right?
Uh,
But the problem is I was in the back towards the back of the plane, third from the back,
uh.
row in front of me, direct seat in front of me, baby crying the whole night, right?
Oh,
This
mate.
is 10 p.m. This is 10 p.m. to like 6 a.m., right?
Oh,
But I'm
man.
losing 3 hours. So it's technically a 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. flight for me for time zone purposes. So I'm not even on the flight for that long, right? I'm flying 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a little bit of sleep, crying the whole flight. Guy 2 seats behind me, all the way in the back. I think he was like a little bit. I don't know if he's on drugs, maybe a little like have some mental health issues and stuff. screaming the whole flight. The lights are off, right? He's just
Is this
sitting.
what flights in the US are like?
No, not usually.
Bro,
Not
that sounds
not at
ridiculous.
all. Not at all. The flight attendants came by at least 3 times to tell him to quiet down. I
Oh
knew
my
something was off
gosh.
when we were boarding the plane. And he was like being all sketchy around the bathroom. I don't know what he was doing. Right? He was like a tall, lanky guy that looked really. Like for better, like I don't have a better way to describe it, but he just looked like he was on some hard drugs, right? And he's like, I was like literally in the back, he just screaming in the middle, like 1, 2, 3, and just like yelling, right? And then the flight attendant come by and be like, yo, quiet down. He's like swearing and stuff, he's like blah 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 blah. And I feel so bad because I think he was in the middle seat too, actually in the back, right? He's just yelling all sorts of stuff, right? And was going to the bathroom, he's like
Oh
opening the
my
doors weird, like
goodness.
people right in there trying to open the door. And the the woman behind me, right, because he's 2 seats back, she
Mm.
turns around and is like, "Hey, can you quiet down? I could literally hear you through my headset, right, screaming and talking, right?" I, th- I think the guy eventually like wore out or something, or the drugs
Mm.
hit him, and like, he finally calmed down. Apparently, he was like literally sleeping on the other guy the entire
Oh
flight. I
mate,
think the
that's
other
so
guy, I feel
long.
so bad for whoever's sitting next to him. I think they were just
Yeah.
like, look, like just like I just want to get off this
Don't want to
flight,
wake him
right?
up again.
Yeah, yeah. The guy was just like cuddle up on this other dude, right? That he doesn't even know. And then on top of that, this was
Oh
the worst
man.
turbulence I felt in years. They're like, we're gonna go through a turbulent patch. And I swear, just the buckle seatbelt sign, like don't leave your seat sign,
On the
was
entire
on.
time.
It was on for like 15 minutes straight. It was shaking so much. I thought the woman next to me was gonna have a panic attack, right? Because it was like that scary. I didn't, but I almost offered her like, hey, like, do you want to like grab onto my hand to calm down or something? I didn't know what to do, right? But I was just like, I don't know. That's just kind of, I don't know if that's a weird thing to offer. And I just like was like trying to keep to myself because
Yeah, I
part of
feel
me
like
was
not
like,
until you're like confirmed dying, then,
yeah, like she
then it's
was like
probably fine.
breathing heavy and stuff and like
Yeah,
getting really like I think she was like about to cry. But
mad.
meanwhile, there's a crying baby in front of me and this guy yelling 1, 2, 3 in the back,
That
and then
is
I'm like shaking like a
that is
freaking roller
stress.
coaster.
That
I'm
is
looking up the whole
stress.
time on the like the luggage compartments
Uh,
and expecting it to just pop open from the shaking and the suitcase to fly and knock me out. I'm about to die before I get to Knoxville. Anyway, all that's to say is I landed in Charlotte, and the Charlotte flight to Knoxville was like 40 minutes. So that's how close it is to Charlotte.
uh,
Yeah, that was a
mad.
tangent.
So you did
Yeah.
the whole thing on no sleep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did a whole day of no sleep. Day one. Day two, I slept like maybe 3 hours.
Well, that's actually very
Yeah.
impressive. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If it was me, I'd be
Uh,
silent. I'd be like, yeah.
yeah. Well, the moment I told them about this, I was just like, I messaged like our group chat. I was like, please tell me Crystal, who's our town manager. I was like, please hope she brought Monster with her because like she usually has like a whole case of Monster and like power energy drinks, and I was chugging them. I'm not even talking about like chugging them before I go on stage, like go in the caster booth. I'm like chugging them while Butters is casting. He's like here comes the Incinerate down. I'm like, what a
Oh
time.
man,
What a time.
mad,
Anyway, that's
madness.
Knoxville. Next tournament is what? Dortmund?
Dortmund, yeah.
And that's that
And
1 day meta, right? It
it's
comes out like
this.
right before.
No, no,
It's
no.
the end of February,
No,
right?
no. Dortmund is this weekend.
Oh, is it Utrecht? Is that the one?
Yeah, Utrecht is the 1 day one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The 1 day
Also,
tournament.
something that someone pointed out about Utrecht is that the other issue with it being the 1 day meta is also like you don't know energy counts until a day before. Do you know what I mean? In it, so like they you can't. I
The
don't think they can do this. The thing
no,
is,
no,
if they're
no.
going to do something for like the PJCS weekend, yeah, I feel like there's decent enough like reason to do it for Utrecht weekend as well. Is that
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous?
we technically don't know for sure if they won't,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
but like
but
I
yeah, I
feel
think
like
there's
it's a good time
probably
to do
less
it.
precedent for that. I will
Less,
say
but still
though,
decent.
yeah, yeah, I will say though, the I don't think the energy counting is that big of a deal
Oh come
because
on, man!
because
If you played last meta, yeah, and
yo, Bertolt doesn't
Skarmory,
even know his energy counts, right? I don't know my energy count sometimes until the morning of, right? When I'm just pulling up these stuff.
no,
So
but
you can make it work.
I mean like energy changes that might affect a Pokemon that you don't realize.
Yeah,
Do you know
no,
what I
no, no.
mean?
You'll know the night before. That should be enough.
Yeah, but come on, man, like,
What's a little last minute prep, right? No, no, no. I understand though. It is
yeah,
inconvenient. I'm not acting. I'm just joking. It is
yeah,
actually
yeah.
quite the inconvenience, um, But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Dortmund. You have numbers on how many
Yeah.
people are attending?
I don't. No, no, no.
Okay, no worries. I'm just curious.
But yeah, that'll be this weekend, and then that's it for the season. Well, yeah, that's it for this part of the season. I mean, there's the LA locals, which will be really cool to watch.
Yeah,
Um,
the cup.
yeah, and then that same weekend, I'm also planning to stream the Asia Pacific Championships Champions Tournament. Yeah, bruv,
Okay.
some of these names, yeah, that we're still in the last week, so some of them are not confirmed. Yeah, so this
I
is the
know,
last
I know.
week.
So I'm only
Yeah,
laughing because
uh,
whenever I had to take a grain of salt every time you say some of these names these days. Because when you're
nah,
like,
bruv,
yo,
nah.
if you know who's going, I'm like, I won't. Only you do. You know these obscure players, right? like,
Nah,
like,
honestly,
like
look, some of these names, yeah.
I don't know the eighth best player from this small country in Asia, right?
Okay, look. I'll give you APAC. So the APAC bracket, although it's the last week, it's the top four that will qualify, and at the moment there is one potential, um, like like there's one possible change in that top four depending on the remaining battles, right? But if I read you off the top five, yeah, so four of these five are going to qualify, right? So you've got Yekai, everyone knows Yekai, Hong Kong player, qualified for Worlds last year,
I
regular
do know
number
you
one on the
can.
leaderboards, which is like super impressive.
Well, I don't know
Um,
about regular. What do you mean by regular?
as in he's hit him like multiple times this season, which is
I'm
wild.
just giving you crap
Yeah,
because when you say
okay.
like a couple means two, regular
Oh,
means
right.
every
Well,
day, right? Oh, so now you can say it colloquially, but when you say
yeah.
couple, it means only two.
Look, I feel like frequent comes under every day. Yeah, regular is a regular face on the leaderboard. There's a regular face at number one as well. At the moment he's number three, which is wild.
Okay, that's
Charming
impressive.
Chinder, or Kindness Dark, as he used to be known, which is
Wait, wait. They changed the name from kind of start to what?
Charming Chinder.
Charming
Charming
Chinda.
Chinder. Yeah, yeah.
Why? What is that? Oh, why did they change the name? Oh, it wasn't like they weren't forced to, right? From like,
No. I think he just
oh,
decided to change it. Yeah.
oh.
So again, another former worlds qualifier.
Hmm.
And then you have Ima Kento. So I wasn't too familiar with Ima Kento before, but Singaporean player and
I'm
has
still not
been doing
familiar.
insane. Yeah.
Okay.
But been doing really well. Only GBL, two times world qualifier. However, only GBL is hanging on by a thread because only GBL has actually been in the top four all season, yeah, and is actually about to drop into fifth place because fifth place is Shin Lena, who's like one of the best Malaysian players. Didn't compete at
Yeah.
the.
I'm just dude, let me say, right, for anyone listening, you do anything of meaning, you do any minor or major accomplishment in Pokemon Go PP, don't worry. Anicor got you covered. He'd be hyping you up for years on podcasts, right? And in conversation. Look, I will say, right? Like, no hate on Speed Cheap, but his memory was like a goldfish memory, right? When we're talking about this stuff, he didn't even remember that he was commentating in Anaquin's battles in Hartford, right? And he was the one doing it, right? You on the hand, you remember stuff that I didn't even know existed. Okay, so it's going to take some getting used to, right? He's like an Anaquin's who, and you're like, man,
Well,
this
actually,
this guy is the best player in Malaysia in this rural town.
yeah.
They
So-
also have a half brother that's related to this guy, and his cousin also went to this tournament.
yeah, man. Hey, I got all my Asian brothers and sisters,
So
all
you
my
have
Asian
brothers and
family,
sisters all
I
around
got
the
you,
world.
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just funny because I was just
Yeah. All right. So current top eight of Japan, yeah, and again it can change this week because it's the last week. But current top eight of Japan, Pokemon Maker, yeah, who also their in-game name is oh no, their name on Twitter is Akira, and they're
okay.
like regular GBLA placements on leader. I think loads of GBLA They've
Yeah.
competed in GBLA loads of times as well. DNK719. I don't actually recognize that name personally.
Well,
Vix
that's a
Rosie
first.
Snapper. Yeah. Vix Rosie Snapper, I feel like is actually super young and a recent like regular leaderboarder. So kind of like I feel like they're a newer face to the Japanese like GBL scene. Tetsuo 106, so one time qualifier, but actually didn't get to go. I think that time that he qualified. I think it was the first
Mhm.
year. Luffy, so 56 Luffy 56 should know him. Chianti, also regular leaderboarder, used to compete a lot in GBLA as well. Um, 63 King Kong X Go, who's leaderboarder as well. But I think a newer name in terms of like achievements and stuff. And 315 Katunari, who's also regular first page and actually
Mhm.
just like top 10 leaderboarder. And also Nyankake as well, who's like was the Sylph, I think
Yeah.
the Asian Sylph continental. I don't know if it's
Champion, I
champion,
think.
but
I
yeah,
think it
yeah, I think it
was,
was
yeah.
champion, yeah, and
Because I don't
just
think
missed
they
out
did
on.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't qualify
PJCS
for
was like
Worlds. Yeah.
PJCS was a bit like middling
Yeah.
performance, but yeah, Nyankake doing quite well as well. And you know what? The reason I mention all these names and read these out is because the format is the same as the Play Pokemon format. This upcoming season is when all the Asian qualifiers are going to start taking place. And
Mm.
so these, in my opinion, are the names to look out for because they're already proving themselves on a similar format.
Yeah.
And these might be your world qualifiers come August. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Good names
Exciting
to look out
stuff.
for.
Exciting stuff. Yeah.
If I don't know who a player is, I'm gonna hit you up.
Let me know. Let me
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Uh
Hey, TPCI. Yeah. If you're watching, yeah.
huh.
You need someone to gas up all the qualifiers at Worlds. I think I'm your guy. Yeah.
What
You
would
got
that
one
be?
guy who lives in. There's one guy who's living
You would
in
be like the
Madagascar,
SME.
and like yeah, yeah. There's this
But we
one
could
player
just
from.
but literally
Huh?
there's a website we could use this for. We could just use Draco Viz.
You
We don't
could
need
just
you.
use Rape, but
Your
here's the
info
thing.
is automated already. Yeah.
Yeah, but
What's
here's
your
the
selling
thing.
point? Yeah.
Here's my selling point. Dracoviz can't give you the storylines like I can. Yeah,
That's
I
true.
can tell you.
I
Yeah,
will say
Hmm.
you did provide some good storylines for Worlds too.
Yeah.
I
There's some
don't think
outliers.
yeah, I don't know
My
who
favorite was
uh, the YouTube one.
Luminous.
Yeah, Luminous. Who did
Yeah,
you send that to?
Luminous, and I think I sent it to Butters. I think. Um,
Why didn't you send it to me?
but
Butters
no,
pulling
no,
out this
no. Yeah,
Butters
you
pulled out
know
this
why?
crazy fun fact, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, that is pretty cool.
You know why I
I'm
sent
like,
it to
how does
Butters
he
is because
know? I was like,
before the
damn, good research,
tournament, yeah,
Butters.
we did so before the tournament on Dracoviz, I did like one spaces for each of the regions
Yeah,
where
and
we
Butters
go
on it,
through
yeah,
all
as
the
a
like thing,
host.
and
Yeah.
Butters was on one of them, and then afterwards he was like, yo, could you send me all your like research sheets and stuff?
Look,
I was like, yeah,
great
sure. So I
question.
sent it to him.
But why not send to me too?
You didn't ask.
Yeah,
I don't know.
okay,
I could have, yeah, I
look,
guess. Yeah.
look. I'm not saying this as a slight, but the difference between you and Palmer's up is that
Uh,
Palmer's up. He going to send all this info to all the casters he knows casting, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, fair enough,
events.
fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
You,
I honestly, I was like, I'll just send it to the one who I think is most likely to even read it, which is the guy who asked
I
for it. You know,
wouldn't read it. Why wouldn't I read it?
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't send it to you, to be honest, in it. But like, I think I wouldn't send it to Speediest Chief because I would have thought like, I don't think he's going to read it. And then who else was casting again?
Gabby and a
Gabby.
little
Yeah,
bit not
I
Rob.
don't know Gabby at all. Who else?
Not
Oh,
Rob.
and then
Helped out
Rob.
with it. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know Rob was going to be there, and also I didn't know him either. So yeah, honestly, I don't know why I didn't send it to you.
No, but see, the thing
I
is
don't know why.
also no.
Uh,
Actually, this is actually
um,
more absurd now to think about it.
go
Okay,
on, go
I
on.
get it. And Butters asked you about this
Uh,
stuff, right? After the spaces, right? And you sent him some
mhm,
stuff.
mhm.
But that happened over a month before Worlds, and we didn't know Luminous was going to be facing off against. Who did he face off against?
It was Chiodo.
Chiodo.
Yeah,
We didn't know he was facing off against Chiodo and going to be on stage battling out on the end of day 2 in top cuts
yeah. I
until it's going to
messaged him.
happen.
Yeah, I
And you
messaged him
sent him
right
a
before.
message
Yeah.
right before.
Yeah.
You could have sent it to me
I
too.
was like listening. Yeah, it was only.
You're looking at the TV and you literally see me sitting next to him, and you're like, Oh
wait, wait,
wow,
wait. Do you know what?
that's
Do you
some
know
great
what? Yeah.
casters. Let me message this info to just the person sitting on the left, right?
You know what? I'm actually gonna like. I don't know if it's possible to go far enough back in our messages, yeah. But I'm
Me and you.
wondering if I did send you anything, yeah.
Okay,
Because
actually, no, don't look. Actually, because now
what?
that I think about it, I think you
Do
did
you
send
think
it
I
to me.
did? Do
I
you
think you
think I
did.
did? Hey, look at this! Look at
No,
this!
did
Yeah,
you see it? You found
bro.
it?
No,
Well,
I
I just
haven't
said I
found it
think
yet.
you did.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this
Okay, let
was
me
in
see. Let me see.
August. No, I
I'm
think you did
scrolling.
because
I'm nearly
now I
there. I'm
looked.
nearly there.
No, because I
Yeah.
think you all know why. When you say
Uh,
this, it reminds me. Because I
uh,
remember I asking Butters where he got it from,
uh,
and he said he got it from you. And I
uh,
remember feeling the same way. And
uh.
then I checked my DMs and saw you send it to me. I just didn't read it, so that's why I never chewed you out for it back a few months
Oh
ago
my days! What
because
date
I
was it again? What date was it? It was the beginning,
it
right?
was August, middle of August. It was like
Okay,
the
okay.
15th or 16th, maybe
15th. Okay, let's see.
16th,
Okay,
17th.
yeah, yeah. Look, okay. So I sent you information about Upon. Yeah, that he was
Okay,
like, he was number one on the leaderboards as Worlds was starting, and he was also competing in Worlds.
okay,
But you replied to that. That's fine.
yeah.
Um, I sent you a long list of names for some reason. Oh yeah.
This was the
Oh,
prediction of top
me
cuts,
prediction.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, and they were probably all wrong because half of
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. And then uh, no, I didn't send it to you. My bad. My
Wow.
bad. Oh no, I did. I did. Look. Assuming
Yeah.
Chiodo versus Luminous is on stream, they are best friends and have a YouTube channel together. And you replied with a thumbs up emoji. And that was it. So there we go. Yeah. There we go. Don't
Like
even
I
start.
said before, I didn't
Thumbs
start
up
because I
emoji, and
stopped
that was
myself
it.
before. I
Yeah.
stopped myself before I started because I did correct myself. All right, let's move on to the events, man. We've been rambling about this stuff for
Anyway,
too
yeah,
long.
it's true.
We've
It's
been
true.
rambling
Yeah.
on for this stuff too long.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about you start off with events because I'm time stamping
Oh,
this
bro,
with one
I
finger.
lost the
But
flipping thing. Yeah.
all right, so we got the Lunar New Year event,
Yeah. Well, I have
which
to, I
is
have to find
live
the fucking
now.
link.
Started Monday.
Hmm.
Currently it's 2 a.m. Tuesday for me, so context of what I mean live. And it goes until February 11th, Sunday. Trampa is making his debut.
Hmm.
Is this in the wild? Because I have not seen one.
I have not seen one at all either, so I'm
Mm,
gonna
okay.
navigate to this document and
Yeah.
and then click on the link and find out.
Okay. Increased chance for lucky Pokemon in trades. That's a
That's
big one
cool.
if you have a bunch of Pachirisu still left and
Yeah,
stuff that you want to reroll.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah. It's
highly
true.
recommend that. Also, we have like guaranteed
Yeah.
XLs, right? So even
Do you know what's
better.
annoying is like I usually do lucky trade. I usually do those like best friends trades with my brother.
Mhm.
But like he
But they
already
don't have to
has a
be best
lucky
friend trade. They
Pachirisu.
could just be just trades in
I
general.
know, but you want to like increase the vibes, you know.
Okay, the
You
vibes.
want to increase the vibes of the IVs.
Yeah. Okay. Additional
um,
candy for successfully catching Pokemon. Nice, great throws and excellent throws. Increased chance of being lucky, so that's cool. Open your
hmm.
gifts, and then yeah, increased chance
So
of
the
getting
additional
XL
XL
candies
candy, the
too.
only issue is that like all the wild spawns aren't really that like exciting for XL candy. Like obviously
Scrubby
Magikarp
candy
and
for Ultra
Dratini is
League.
good. Yeah,
Scrub
Sculpt
too
is
for
cool as
Ultra League.
well. And
Jangmo,
the others are just a bit irrelevant.
Jangmo.
Jangmo, yeah, but I guess it's rare. So
I mean,
we'll
yeah,
see
but
maybe.
it's still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, true, true, true.
Um,
But yeah,
what?
Magikarp and Dratini are like I guess the
Oh,
main
field research
most
is
people have
important
loads.
for the Turtonator. You need XL candies to run. You need full
Oh.
296 for Ultra League Turtonator.
Oh,
And that's actually one
Turtonies
of the
in field
Pokemon I
research. That's
enchanted.
sick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And the rank one for Ultra League is I
It's
believe
like
a 9
a
it's a 96-14. Oh, it's a 15-14-14. It's
yeah. I've
96%.
I've got one of those.
I gave one of those too to
That's not lucky.
I think I gave one to X Gerald actually at my local
Ooh.
recently. Yeah.
Oh, is
Rank
this when
1.
you were like copiuming for what's it called?
Like
Fantasy Cup?
let's
Yeah.
keep going. Let's keep going. And then Drampa's also in field research too.
Mm,
um and
that's
then
good.
global challenge stuff. Certain Pokemon during the event will get that know certain feature attacks.
Yeah.
Two
So these
ground.
honestly just look
Do
like
we
all
know what these
the
are?
Dragon Community Day moves.
Oh, so like
So you've got
Garchomp,
like
Flygon,
Garchomp, Flygon,
Altaria,
Moonblast and Altaria, maybe Draco Meteor and
Salamence.
Dragonite.
No,
Oh, it could be
Salamence.
Salamence as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
it could be Dracometer.
yeah, and then
Salamence got outrage, right?
Salamence got outrage. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then
And
what's the
then Boom
normal?
Burst.
No, no, no. It can't be. It can't
Yeah,
be.
100% it's going to be Boom Burst. What else is it?
But
There's
Boomburst is
no
not
other normal move.
exclusive, right?
No, it is. It was what's it? Noivern. Noivern's. That's where it
Oh
came out.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
So Boom Burst, exciting.
Global challenge rewards, wild encounters. That could be
Yeah,
interesting depending on
that
what
could
it
be cool
is.
though. Yeah,
But we'll see how that
we have no
goes.
idea. And then
By
also
the time this,
exclusive raids as well.
yeah,
Once
by the
that
time this
unleashed them.
drops, we probably already unlocked some of the stuff or not,
Yeah,
or
true,
maybe
true.
all of it.
Yeah,
So, um, that will be
cool.
until Sunday the 11th.
Nice,
So
nice.
there is that.
Decent amount of time.
Um, decent amount of time for sure. All right, talk about this visual changes stuff because I don't really know
Oh
what the
yeah,
deal
I
is
guess we
here.
can like talk about it very quickly. But basically, they've been adding some visual changes to, as it says, certain parts of the world. Only certain people are getting access to it for now.
Yeah.
However, I've seen also like reports from like I think Leak Duck or something like that where they're talking about certain players are getting things such as a ready button for solo raids, and then also like a heal all button for when you're healing your Pokemon.
Hmm.
And so basically, the reason I brought it up was because obviously there's the visual changes, but these are like really small little quality of life things, right? Um, which like yeah, they're small, but it says to me that they've got someone working on these like small little random quality of life stuff. So hopefully some of that spills into PvP, like I don't
Mm.
know if you want to make the charge moves swappable. Yeah, so for like for OCD's sake, I know
Uh,
someone or like some people, and I'm not gonna lie, me included, who've used charge CMs just to swap them around.
yeah.
Because sometimes it feels that way.
Speaking of
But
charge
I,
TMs, Butters is low on charge TMs, I think, because
oh,
he's running
really,
out of
what's he doing?
TMs. Because he
Is
just
he
ran out of
just
charge TMs just TMing stuff. So he's
oh
using charge TMs to get certain stuff, like elite charge TMs. He's like at 3. And he
oh
was like
days?
looking at
That's
the
wild.
shop during community day for a Chansey, and he's like, please, there's a charge TM in this box. Like, oh yes, let's go, right? Or whatever. I was like, dude, this
Yeah,
guy's struggling.
that's
I
emotional, man.
mean,
I'm not gonna lie,
not
you're
gonna
better
lie
off doing a
though.
raid at a regional to get
Yeah, but
charged
then
CMs
yeah,
than
but then you're just going to get it just to not get the move still.
that's
Like,
also true. Yeah, that's also true.
dude, Battle Frontier is
Yeah,
starting to go through my reserves.
oh,
I'm
is it
only like
actually?
at 30 something now. I think maybe less.
Um,
It's pretty bad.
that is actually wild.
Yeah, Zhao Victor had the tweet about the little environmental
Yeah,
impact.
yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
funny though.
yeah. It's kind
Hopefully
of
that
funny.
reduces the damage. I mean, a tree in front of a hydro cannon, like that should do
Yeah,
something,
bro.
right? Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully some quality of life updates come into PvP. Let's pray.
Yeah.
But good sign initially.
Okay, I like the optimism. We have the Sidrai, Hisu and
Hmm.
Sidrai coming out. What's the deal with that?
Well, let's take a quick look on PV Poke and Decidueye Hisuian.
This is gonna be Sunday the 11th, by the way. This upcoming Sunday, 5
Yeah,
additional free rate pass. It's just like it's just same as
all the other
Hisu and
ones.
Samra
Yeah.
and Typhlosion.
So this is grass fighting typing, right? Stats are a bit less bulkier than a Venusaur. Like it's got less defense but more attack.
Well, compared to a
Um,
Chestnut, because it's the same typing,
Good
right?
shout. Yeah, yeah. So compared to a chestnut, I imagine it's going to be super less bulky. Yeah, yeah. Way less
Yeah.
bulky than chestnut.
Okay.
Um, it has. Okay, so again, these are data mine moves and they might change. But for now, Magical Leaf and Psycho Cut. So I kind of like the duality in both of those moves where it's like, well, one's fast engine generating, and one's just like a relatively sort of like, neutral average grass move.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of charge moves, Aerial Ace, Aura Sphere, sorry, and Energy Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think out of all three of the Hisuian Pokemon that have dropped, this has the most potential to be used in some sort of like themed cup or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it
Well,
has like
not gonna lie, I got beat by Hisu and Samurott the other day in Hisu and Cup. What are you
Oh,
laughing
I haven't
at?
played Hisuian Cup, so I don't really know what the plan is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
yeah,
was
okay.
be my Gashadon. Like what am I supposed to do?
Peak.
It's dark water. I mean, my Frostlass couldn't beat it. Like
Oh, skill
yeah,
issues.
yeah. They
Um,
hey, talking about skill issues. Don't even start.
yeah, but I mean, it could be cool. So, yeah, the moveset's interesting in it. Like, it could be kind of cool. If I look at the Ultra League, level 35, I guess
Yeah,
still
it's
relatively glossy in it. Yeah.
yeah. I
And
think it's even
Master
worse in
League,
Ultra
maybe it
League. I
doesn't.
mean, the problem with the Ultra League is why would you ever run this over
That
Virizion?
over thingy in it.
Virizion too good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah.
yeah,
And then in terms of Master League, goes to 3270. So not
yeah.
awful. You know.
It's
I,
not
I don't
good.
know what
What
the
you mean?
standards are these days. Yeah, maybe
It's
it's
not.
awful.
It's
Yeah,
not good.
yeah,
It's
fair
not.
enough.
What do you mean? It's not, yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know what the
Chestnut's
standards are.
okay, and that's has higher CP
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
point. It's
true,
got
true.
flexible point, but
Yeah.
okay. Well, there's that. And then we have Carnival.
This one's a good one though.
Is it Carnival or is it Carnival? No, Carnival.
Yeah,
Carnival of Love. It's not Carnival. Okay. Carnival's
Carnival.
that thing in Brazil, right?
Yeah, yeah. But they're no, but like I guess that's just the Brazilian like
Pronunciation.
yeah, yeah. And they're actually doing something in ties with the Brazilian carnival because it's happening now. Or like happening this month or something.
Well, this is happening probably during this event then. So
Yeah, yeah,
Carnival
I
of
guess so,
Love.
yeah.
Anyway, Tuesday, February 13th to Thursday, February 15th. So pretty much sandwiching Valentine's Day.
Hmm. For all them
Increased
single
chance of
people out there, let's go.
what's what? Wait, let's go. What? Let's go grind some XL candies.
Yeah, yeah.
Event bonus is increased chance of receiving Candy XL when walking with your buddy. 2 guaranteed XL for evolving Pokemon.
Yeah,
That's pretty
man.
big. I
That's
was a
wild.
big fan of that when they did that during the it
Hmm.
was like the Mystic event or something last season.
Hmm.
I remember it
Yeah,
happened during EYC actually,
yeah.
when that was going on. Give your Furfrou a fresh trim for a heart
Am-
trim Furfrou,
Amazing.
which is
That's what I live for every year.
you all about
New
that
trim on the
fashion.
fur.
Yeah, and then just the different like Oracle spawns and Flabebe spawns and stuff like that. I gotta stop saving Flabebe. I keep saving
Bruv, I
Flabebe
have
for XL
so many
trades.
Flabebe. I have so many Flabebe.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
but
don't think
now
I
you
ever
can
need them.
evolve them.
What do you mean? You were able to evolve Flabebe?
No, no, now you can evolve them to get the XL instead.
Oh no, I'm just saying I don't even need the Flabebe XLs anymore. I'm already like
Oh,
I don't
right.
know why
Oh,
I'm
right.
trading them. I'm
Okay.
like I
Yeah,
built one
yeah.
for Master League and I'm like
Fair enough.
at like 300 plus. Yeah.
Maybe a
Um,
Great League Floette is what you're after.
yeah, but I have like 300 something plus candies
Oh,
for it. I
okay.
already have a
Well,
good rank one I can make too. Yeah, I just
yeah,
have there's no reason to make one.
fair enough.
But the shiny form of Ori Choreo is
Oh,
debuting, I
oh,
believe.
interesting.
I believe that's a
Interesting.
new debut. Yeah. Um, it definitely is. I'm almost positive. Uh,
Mm,
and then yeah. Outside that, field research, nothing crazy.
yeah.
Um, you get a rose rate if you finish a collection research, which is like nothing, nothing wild.
Yeah.
Exclusive bonus for trainers in Brazil for any of our Brazilian fans, or sorry, I should say not fans, listeners. Trainers located in Brazil can look forward to earning twice the XP for catching Pokemon during the Carnival of Love events in the Brazilian Carnival. Nice. No, it's actually Carnival. It's not It's not like pronounced differently. It's actually spelled differently
It's
too. It's
spelled differently
Carnival.
as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah.
yeah. It's an A instead of I. But that's cool. That's really cool. I think it's good. It's just for those grind XL candies.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
big one, to be honest. The evolving Excel.
well, I saw increase getting XL candies from your buddy is also nice too, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, true that, true that.
Yeah. I'll go find some Palossand, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm.
Enamorous is dropping, and this is also hey man, for them single people for sure. This is happening on Valentine's Day. They're elite raids, and it's happening at noon, 1 p.m., 5 p.m., and 6 p.m. on Valentine's Day on that Wednesday. Incarnate form Enamorous. Is this thing good?
I almost don't even want to go because it's embarrassing.
What? Why? Why is it embarrassing? It's not like you're walking around with a sign saying, "Hey, I'm single. I'm about to raid
Oh, you
incarnate
pretty much are.
Landorus."
You
Like,
pretty much are. No, because these are the
no.
elite raids. You have to do them in person.
Yeah, but everyone else that's
Um,
doing it is there too.
yeah,
What are you embarrassed about?
still embarrassing, bro.
Like,
Um,
love is in the air for Pokemon Go. Wait, is
okay,
this
let's
in
see.
PvPoke? I don't think it is.
I think
It's
we have to do the
speculative, right?
speculation thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, you break it down for
enamorous.
me because
Is it
you have this one
is it
handed
the incarnate form? So
incarnate form. Yeah.
um, not available for Great League, so that's that out of the window.
Well, that's fine. I don't think it'll be that good, right?
I don't know. It's interesting typing. It's Togekiss typing, you know. But yeah, it's
Togekiss.
actually super glossy in Great League. Funnily enough.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at Ultra League,
Mhm.
and yeah, honestly, it's looking pretty dire. I can't
Well,
lie.
look at it for Master League because no one's running
Super.
Landorus. No one's
Oh
running any
yeah,
of
that's
the
true. That's true.
things
You're
in
right. You're right. I don't know what I
Ultra
was doing.
League.
Now. I
But
don't know what I was doing.
what's
Now.
yeah?
Okay,
Let's see.
Enamorous for the Master League. So 3,800. Okay, what should we compare it to? Should we compare it to Landorus?
And compared to a Landorus
Yeah.
incarnate.
Okay, so it's got similar-ish attack to a land. Oh, this is a Therian. Um,
Oh, okay. So it's
the
even
thing is,
higher
it
then.
compares a bit more to the. Yeah.
Well, that's good though because Therian form's even better. So.
Yeah. So it's got similar-ish attack,
Mhm.
but it's got like 15 less defense and like 20 less HP. So
Okay. Well,
it's
makes
just a
sense.
super glassy Pokemon. But
Okay. Compared
um,
to a Togekiss,
Togekiss,
because it's the other flying fairy, right?
yeah,
It's
that's
probably
true.
the best. I think you're
It's
probably best.
way glassier than a Togekiss.
Okay. What moves
Similar-ish
does it have?
HP, but just like a lot less defense, but way
Defense,
more
yeah.
attack. However, the thing is in terms of the things that it can learn, it seems like the only useful thing it can learn is Fairy Wind. So let's
Well, that's fine.
assume that
Okay.
it will get Fairy Wind. If it doesn't get Fairy Wind, then we can just throw it in the bin. But it has loads of potential charge moves it can learn. So I think going through those charge moves, it's a bit difficult to, um, figure out what they might give it. But it has possibly has potential just because of Fairy Wind. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, what is the charge attacks? I don't know.
Oh, they're just like all good ones. So it's like
Gotcha, gotcha.
like Body Slam, Dazzling Gleam, Disarming Voice, Earth Power, Fly, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Iron Head, Moon Blast, Outrage, Play Rough, Psychic, Sludge Bomb, Superpower. So loads of good charge
Hmm.
moves. So
I think
um,
a Moonblast superpower combo
that'd be
would
interesting.
be pretty nice. That'd be pretty dope. I don't know. I think it's going to be something for our Master League friends to deal with for sure because I don't think it's
Hmm.
relevant anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is there's some really good fairies already. Like Zacian's still stupid strong.
Mhm.
It's still really strong. It's gonna be hard to top that, but I think
Yeah, but
maybe
I
we'll have
mean,
something.
the thing is, having the fairy typing already just gives you the advantage of being like, well, dragon breaths aren't a problem, right? So, like, you already
No.
have,
I know what I'm saying is
yeah.
like I'm not saying it would be bad, but like what's the incentive to make this or run this over Xerneas or Zacian, right?
I think it would just come down to the charge moves, really.
Yeah, but like what? Okay,
Assuming it gets
okay.
fairy wind, it might give you some sort of
Assuming it gets
unique
fairy wind,
coverage. Yeah.
what's the best charge moves you give it that would make it more relevant? If you could pick out of
Uh,
them,
let's see.
Moonblast for sure, right? Because Moonblast is probably the best fairy
Yeah,
move.
stab. Yeah. You could have like grass knot. You could have super sludge
Grass
bomb,
now?
but
What
then
you
sludge
mean?
bomb's maybe
Grass
less
now? You're just
interesting.
you're so walled off by
But like,
by Ho. Like,
oh yeah, true.
what does the grass not
But I
do?
mean, I guess thingy's walled off by Ho as well, isn't it?
No, you have
Body
Thunder
slam
on
would be
Xerneas and you
unlikely.
have Wild Charge on Zacian.
Earth power's interesting.
Yeah, you're still walled up by Ho, which is kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I don't know. And obviously, they could have more, like, yeah, obviously more than two
You
in.
probably want
So
something for steel coverage for sure, though.
yeah,
I mean, superpower's not helping when I recommend that either, but yeah.
maybe Earth power's a bit more
The
useful.
problem with stuff like this in Master League is that Master League
Mm,
doesn't have limited formats. So it's never
mm.
been like, well, if they have a limited open Master League format, like
Yeah,
Halloween Cup
true.
Master League or something like that, you just don't really see that. So unless it's super
Yeah.
meta relevant, you just have to hope that it has maybe some play in like Battle
Well, let me
Frontier
see.
or
Does it
something.
have
But like at
a?
that point too, like it's just such a waste of like resources just to make it just for that, I think.
Yeah, Tapu Bulu's bulkier, so maybe you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But okay, well, we got that.
Mhm.
Anyway, we don't really have to worry about elo check and stuff. I think we settled the uh bets for expert versus expert.
Mhm.
The other person has to wear the Miss cosplay, and I
Mhm.
can't wait till you're running Loudred because that elo about go down while I'm climbing to expert. I'm
I hope you have a Loudred, bro, because you're gonna need it. Uh,
yeah, I'm gonna
get them
need it
XL
so I can
candies
look
ready,
at it and
man.
see what it loses to for you.
Yeah, check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is 2:30 in the morning for me, so let's cover this
Yeah.
tea topic kind of quick.
Yeah.
Um, but so so for those that watched the Knoxville stream on day 2, we had Awesome Ev versus Valor Ash in game. I don't even think it was game number 3. It was game number 2, but Awesome Ev was, I think, already up a game,
Mhm.
and they had to face off, and it was a Shadow Gligar mirror match. Awesome Ev had a Charger Bug and Lickitung in the back. Valor Ash had a Talonflame and a Zoomer on the back. Obviously, that Charger Bug looked really strong for Awesome Ev, but who knows what happens in the lead, right? You watched this whole match, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So how it went down as they started, and I was commentating it, so I actually did know. I noticed it actually pretty quickly. Awesome Evs, or I shouldn't say Awesome Evs. Valor Ash's Gligar, I think, lost a turn and essentially became behind by a full wing attack.
Mhm.
And because of that, Awesome Ev was able to reach the aerials first. Um, but Awesome Ev actually didn't throw the aerials right when they had it, right when he had it. So it was actually less obvious at first. But the second aerials, he got to before Valor Ashes, right? Valor Ashes shot Gligar. And so at that point, I think neither spent a shield. So they were both closing in on aerial ace range. Awesome Ev throws it and takes out Valor Ashes Gligar. And of course, like, standard championship series rules for PvP, you don't quit out, right?
Mhm.
Unless the judge tells you. So you play it out. Just in case what happens, you can't say it's definitely a rematch. Valrash farms down the Gligar and stuff like that with the Zumro, but at this point, I think Austin might have still landed a dig. I can't remember if Valrash shielded or not, but either way, Valrash ends up losing that game. Um, and of course, he's going to mention it to the judge, right? Brought it up for review. Judge was ruling on it. My guess is he probably wanted a second look on the review because this is my guess, but it was probably ruled a no rematch. But
Mhm.
so he wanted like the head judge to take a look at it, which is totally fine and within the rights of the player to ask for. Head judge came over, also ruled a no rematch, and there was no rematch, and he just lost, and he was
Yeah.
eliminated. And um, I think a lot of people were pretty confused with it. What you think?
Yeah. So I mean, I also thought it was strange. I was like scrubbing through the video anyway in it, so I was just like, oh, I guess I don't know. It did seem like a strange uh a strange judgment because obviously there it was like something so clear cut. Because honestly, I like if I remember correctly, I don't even think it was just one wing attack he lost. I feel like he lost like
I
two.
think it was no,
It
it
was
was
like bugging
one,
out.
but because no, yeah, it was one. It looked like two because
Mm.
when Valor Ash threw the first airways,
Uh-huh.
so because that and Awesome Ev was already up by one. By the time Valor Ash threw one, they were up by two
Oh
wing
right, I
attacks.
see, I
But
see, I see,
once
I see.
Awesome Ev threw
Yeah.
his, then it was
Oh,
ended up
okay, I
being one.
see, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, it looked funky because
Um,
yeah. Oh, and then the
yeah.
judges. So what the judges
Mm,
shared with with the casters who
mhm,
eventually shared with the audience is the ruling was because the missed turn happened so early in the match, and
mhm.
so there's so much other things to be played out throughout, and then so they can't rule a rematch because of that.
Yeah. So I saw a comment by Jason on Twitter, which I thought, and to be honest, I didn't see anyone else's comments. It just happened to pop up.
Yeah, because you mute
Um,
everyone else.
yeah, 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 pretty much. Yeah.
For their bad
Um,
takes.
but yeah, I happened to see this, and I thought his comment was pretty valid. So he was saying, obviously, the protocol is you're not allowed to quit out of a match Yeah, unless I think I saw one instance of quitting out of a match early. I don't remember if it was Polly playing or if it was someone else,
Yeah,
but I
probably play Mount Dugan, but the judge told them to quit
and
out.
okay, so there was like a mutual agreement there, yeah.
It wasn't a mutual
Um,
agreement. The judge instructed
Oh,
them to.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I see. So yeah, generally you're not allowed to quit out, and they're always like encouraging you to carry on. And I guess the argument is like similar to how they do in like Sylph rules or something like that, where
Hmm.
it's like, well, if you end up winning the match, then it doesn't matter in the end, right?
Right,
Um, but to then have that, it seems a bit conflicting, right? If you can't quit out early, and then the issue happened too early on for it to be an issue, then what do you do in that situation? Do you know what I mean?
right.
And I think that's a bit of a tricky one. I can't say how judges rule things. Obviously, they've got their like own protocols, but it does seem like a bit of a conflict here that maybe hasn't arisen in the past, and maybe is something that they need to address. I don't know. What do you reckon?
I think the general rule of thumb. I'm no judge, so don't quote me on this. But I think
Mm-hmm.
the general rule of thumb is there's going to be missed turns throughout
Mm-hmm.
like a tournament all over the place, right? On
Yeah.
stage, off stage, etc. And and just because you miss a turn, miss a fast attack, if they rematch all those, we'll be there all week, right? Trying to finish this
Mm,
tournament, right? And that's just naturally, that's not even like a Niantic thing. That's just like a latency thing with the Wi-Fi and everything, right?
right.
Again, if we have LAN servers, maybe a
Mm-hmm.
different story, but we don't, right? Um, so they can't rematch all those, right? And that sets up like a really bad precedent if it does, because then like obviously newer players won't even know that, and experienced players are
Yeah.
just going to be just super annoying, right? And try to rematch everything. That's like, look, shout out to Doombug, but that was like the old Doombug back then too, right? Where he was trying to rematch everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, he's not like that anymore. And definitely grateful for that. But um, so that foremost, first and foremost, which I think most people understand. Um, and I think the judge's general perspective on this is if something, let's say I'm versus you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like a Skarmory into like a Whiscash, and I miss
Mm-hmm.
a move or something. Like I swap in, and I miss a wing attack, seal wing or something, and or you get extra mud shot or something. I think overall that's also not rematchable regardless because it happens so early in a match and so much happens afterward, right? I
Yeah.
think it's different if, and we saw this happen where I talked about actually earlier, but or the East, Rockhaven
Mm-hmm.
versus Out of Pocket. Rockhaven missed two turns,
Yeah.
missed and so wasn't able to get a Sky Attack off against Pockets Annihilate. Missed two Steelings, I guess I should
Mm-hmm.
say. And because of that, they ruled a rematch because he would have got to the Sky Attack taken out, and that was
Yeah.
the final matchup. That makes a lot of sense to me, and obviously the judges to rematch it because that was game impacting right then and there.
Right.
Whereas if that something like that happened right, two Steel Wings is something, right? Maybe miss one Steel Wing against Annihilate right in the beginning of the match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's rematchable by their standards. I'm not saying I necessarily agree or
Yeah.
disagree with it, but I think that's the general thought process behind it. Now, this situation is super unique because it's a Shadow Gligar mirror match,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I don't know. I now that I think about it, well, let's just talk through my thought process, and maybe I actually might go back on it. So obviously, regardless if you agree with that thought process or not, I think that's the general approach to it, right? Which
Right.
to a degree, I think is not a bad thing because if you try to rematch every time someone misses a fast attack or a turn right off the bat,
Mm-hmm.
you're just gonna be there all day, right? And there's gonna be way too many things. And until the game actually runs perfectly smooth in all situations, that's, in my opinion, I don't hate that rule, right? And but uh the Shadow Kygar mirror matchup, that's kind of funky because let's say we don't know who is even going to win the cap, right? That charge attack
Right.
priority.
Yeah.
But if Awesome Ev wins it against Valor Ash, he could still decide to shield and then stay in the match, right? He shields. Awesome Ev could choose not to shield and he has switch
Mm-hmm.
advantage, or he could choose to shield and they both shield and he tries to catch the next aerial ace on his Talonflame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of things he could do. But the problem is because Valor knew he was behind already at that point, and there's no reason for him to make that play because he wouldn't shield because he knows he's not going to be able to get
Yeah.
off the next airways at the same time. Um, at the same time, too, if Awesomev didn't shield, or if Valor Ash's Gligar won charge attack priority, whole different situation too. If he won charge attack priority, that's like game changing, right? He takes out Awesome Ev's Gligar potentially, comes in, Awesome Ev comes in Lickitung. You land a dig for sure before they get to the body slam, or I guess it would be charge attack priority, and then and then or the charge work's not coming in, right? So you have
Yeah.
such like there's so that small turn difference actually makes a huge impact in this specific mirror match lead. So I think like yes, I think I understand generally why they ruled the way they did if that's their protocol. So not like give rematches even if you miss a
Hmm.
turn early on, even if it's a mirror matchup. Clearly, even if because that's what we just saw. But I think in this situation it's very different. However, while I was thinking through this and about saying it, it just came to my mind that if a rematch is given, I think it also sets a precedent. Because there's two parts to this. One, who's the one to determine what's rematchable or not, right? Well,
Mm.
I'm a judge and
That's the
I
judge.
think that was pretty impactful,
Yeah.
right? Whereas, let's say we're in a Zero mirror matchup, right? And I lost a turn in that one, but I don't know. As judge of this, I don't think it's that important, right? Like, in fact, the person that lost a turn and now is taken out, the opponent could farm it down with like a charge ball and come out with a bunch of energy. Like it might not be the worst thing, right? Like I don't know. Like it's like, and then so it just becomes one the discretion of judge to determine in which situation they give the exception and grant a rematch.
Hmm.
Because right now they're saying no rematch doesn't matter if it's mirror or not, right? If it's happening early enough, you lose a turn, stay the game, etc. But I think the other part that's also, and this I think is even more important than the first part, because even if the judges end up being consistent on this ruling, the second tough part is where do you draw the line? Just mirror matches? That's like such a weird specific rule. Is it just really mirror matches? Because what if instead of mirror match, it's a Skarmory versus Annihilate off the bat, and and the Skarmory misses a turn and somehow and then ends up getting outpaced by the Annihilate on the second Shadow Ball, right? Which they shouldn't, right?
Hmm.
But then it's not a mirror match. So what do we do, right? Do we do we give that a rematch too? Because that is also game changing for the end game too.
Do you know what? I think like the whole point of a judge, right, is to be a person who can like use their own discretion, right? Because otherwise you would just have rule books for everything. So there would just be a strict
Ah,
rule where it's like, okay, yeah, this situation happened, and we have a corresponding rule for this. So in every situation, this is going to happen. What's the point
I
of a
don't
judge if you're
know.
going to have these hard rules? I feel like in some
Well,
situations,
you
judges
have
need to
judges to
use their
implement those rules,
knowledge.
right?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. But at the same time, I feel like it should be a part of their duty because the thing is, again,
Oh no,
you
no,
can
no,
have
no. I
judges
know.
to
I'm
implement the
not. I'm
rules.
not necessarily
Yeah, yeah,
disagreeing with you, but what
yeah.
I'm saying is, regardless if you think they should have
Uh,
that discretion, do you think that's the reality? I don't think that's the
well, I
reality.
mean, the thing is because otherwise, then anyone could be a judge, right? But the judges
Anyone could
that
be a
we've,
judge
I know anyone
if
could
you
be a
go through
judge,
the
but it's like,
training and learn the rule
yeah,
book,
but it's
right?
like the judges that we've, like the top judges that we've got are generally people with a good knowledge of the game, and I feel like that's why they're in those like high judge positions, right?
Yeah,
And because they have a good
but they
knowledge
don't
of the game, they can.
necessarily, but they don't have to have it though.
Yeah, I feel like they
I think for
should
like head
because I
judges
feel
too,
like,
right? They know the game very
yeah,
well. But like if you're just first time judging
yeah.
people's
I
battles
feel
on
I feel like
stream,
they
you don't
should
have
have a
to.
knowledge of the game because I
Uh,
feel like they should be able to in these sorts of situations use their discretion because here's
no,
the
no, no.
thing in it, yeah, like
I understand you
yeah.
think they should, but
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
weird requirement. How do you require that, right? You put them through a test, like when they. I think the tough part with judging is also
Yeah,
they're not really paid for this. They're compensated in
yeah.
card packs, and then they have to cover their own transportation and hotels most of the time.
Hmm.
And so like at best they could break even. so
Yeah.
so mostly just volunteers. And I don't think there's like a long line of people clamoring to be a judge,
Mhm.
you know, unfortunately. So but anyway, finish your point too, because I feel like I'm interrupting your train of thought there.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I I think the role of a judge should be to use some discretion because let's say for example a new bug comes into the game, right?
Mm.
I feel like the people who know about the game are more likely to be aware of that, and then as a result will be more prepared to dealing with that as opposed to someone who
Yeah,
doesn't play the game, just goes off the rule book. Do you know what I
but
mean?
the problem is they can't. Like this is not Silver Battle Frontier, right? This is like official the Pokemon Company tournaments. Like
Yeah,
they have to hear the rule book.
yeah. But
You can't go
like,
rogue and be like, "Well, I know about this new mechanic, and I think this time, like, you should." Like they would get fired,
But
right? And
yeah, but the thing
they need the
is like
consistency, right?
being let's say for example it does come up, yeah, there's like a new bug or something like that,
Hmm.
and it goes against something in the rule book, yeah. Well, this judge can actually use their knowledge to then appeal to like a head judge or something and be like, look, we may have to make an exception for this because
Oh,
this is
I
something that's
agree.
likely.
But I think
Whereas, yeah,
that would probably occur before the tournament starts. Like that
yeah,
Friday
fair enough,
before, they're
yeah.
like having a meeting, be
But
like,
there's the thing:
"Hey,
if all judges like,
this is
yeah,
a big, this is a big bug that literally dropped yesterday or this week.
yeah,
Scrap what's in the rule book. We need to address it differently here." Right? I
mm,
mean, I think they'll all be on the same page, right? But I think that's why. I mean, it's not always the case, but I think that's why the stream judge and the head judge end up agreeing on the no rematch, right? They both
mm,
were in agreement. I mean, if they weren't in agreement, there would be a rematch, right?
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't
It
know
just
what
feels
the.
unfortunate, right? It feels like
It feels really
obviously it doesn't sound
unfortunate.
like there's a good way or a good option, right? But
I
it's
don't
just
think it's.
unfortunate that half of your game gets determined because you were just unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
me originally coming into this recording was thinking, yeah, they should make an exception for that mirror match lead. But again, just thinking back on it, if one turn losses are stated game issues in not disputable, or not disputable, but not rematchable, I should say, then it should apply in all forms, even if it's a mirror match, no? Because again,
Mm.
that Skarmory Annihilate matchup, like
Yeah.
you're gonna get outpaced. If you lose a turn, you're gonna charge attack priority on that second Shadow
Mm.
Ball at the same
But see,
time, right?
that's I feel like that's them using their own discretion because again, if
I
all
but I mean, yeah, I'm no judge, but I don't think they're
yeah,
allowed to just randomly use their own discretion.
but like in that situation, it was the case.
The Gligar matchup?
No, the Skarmory Annihilate. Because
No, no, that's just a
if
random
all one
example. That's
turn,
just a random example. I
yeah, no,
just
but as in no, I'm saying like with Hot Pocket and Rockhaven because it's like if all ones.
no, no,
Oh,
no,
I
no,
guess it
no,
was a couple
no.
in it. Yeah.
No, yeah, I think he lost two, and
Oh
it's
right.
also
Okay.
the last matchup of that game. Like that was the final Pokemon for both, because
Yeah.
their main reasons happen early. Like let's say for example, Awesome Ev and Balrash, that was both their last Pokemon, and
Mm.
Balrash lost a wing attack. Then that's a rematch, I
That
think.
still feels like discretion.
No, 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 that's in the rule book because it
That's in
happened.
the rule book. If it's
Well, I
the
don't know.
last
I mean,
one. Yeah. Okay.
not specific last one, but I
Yeah.
look. I ain't no judge, so don't necessarily say it's definitely in the rule book. But what I'm saying is, based on what they're saying, I believe their general ruling is unless the loss of turns is so clearly obvious that it impacts the outcome,
Mhm.
and it happens, I guess, and those are more likely to happen in the end of games,
Right.
then
Yeah.
it's no rematch. Because I get it, because if Valash didn't lose that turn, he still could have lost that lead matchup, and it still could end up the
Mm.
same.
Yeah. True.
But the flip side is also players play differently when they do that, right? Like if he
Yeah.
lost,
Yeah.
he's not going to shield, right? He's
Mm.
and those are things that like unfortunately we can't. I don't think anyone could account for, like how players play different. Every player's going to play differently if a turn's lost somewhere, right? Like if you
Yeah.
notice a turn being lost, like you're going to play differently, even regardless if it's a rematch or not. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. Again, all I'm asking: zero ping, no lag, localized land servers for tournaments,
Would be
and then
amazing.
we'll
Yeah.
never worry about this again.
Never have this issue.
Then
It's such an
our
unfortunate
podcast,
issue to have as
and
well.
then our
Not gonna lie.
podcast will be 2 hours shorter instead of
Yeah.
3 hours and 30 minutes. And I'm holding this mic
Yeah.
for 3 hours and 30 minutes.
I'm
Anyway,
here snacking and you're like
yeah,
slaving
yeah, you're
away.
holding a pineapple tray that's getting lighter and lighter for every pineapple you're eating. And meanwhile, I just need to go to the bathroom. Um,
Uh,
But yeah, that was it for us. I think. Let's wrap it up here.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, we talked about a lot, but we'll see you next week
Yeah.
after Dortmund,
Post Dortmund. Yeah.
post Dortmund.
Last event of the season.
Yeah, yeah, and then where will you be next week? Are you traveling? Are you going?
Next week's my last week here. So
Oh,
last Australian
class.
episode,
Okay.
yeah.
Why do you have two vacuums? And they're like pretty good vacuums. I know the Dyson one is very good.
I
That's like
know.
how expensive is that vacuum? That's like $700 or something, right? It's something pretty
So
expensive. Somebody
I
bought it.
bought the Dyson V7 when I got here, yeah. I got it off some person off marketplace. And then,
Okay,
yeah, I got given the V15, yeah, because someone was throwing it
they're
away because
both
it was broken,
Dysons.
yeah. Yeah. Someone
What
was
do you
throwing
have
it
the
away because it
vacuum?
was
You have
broken, right?
yeah.
But I managed to fix it, yeah. But um I was like, oh, it's still not like 100% in it, yeah. So I went to the warranty. I went into like Dyson chat. I looked at the warranty. I was slightly out of warranty, it seems like, but they were
Mm,
like, "It's cool. We'll send you the replacement part anyway." Yeah, the replacement part is actually the main part. So
yeah.
now I have two of those main parts. Yeah, one of them is fixed and being used, and the other one has the potential to be fixed. And then I need to buy a battery and a bin. I got two Dyson V15s and a
You're gonna
V7.
sell them?
Yeah, but I'm taking them back to the UK. Are you dumb? Like
Wait,
they're
like
coming
how
with
you
me.
pack? How you packing that? Was
I
that your
have to figure
carry
that
on?
out. I have no idea. Yeah, I have to figure it
Aren't
out.
you traveling around?
But I know,
You're gonna be
I know.
holding three vacuums
Yeah.
walking around Japan?
Do you know what's really funny is that
Dude,
like so I've
ain't
got
no
two
way I'm playing
suitcases in
voucher with this
it.
man's just carrying like freaking cleaning like
I've got
equipment
two
all
suitcases in it, yeah. And I
you're not
was
gonna be
like,
able to fit
okay, I'll
either
have
of
to
them in
ship.
any.
I was like, I'll have to
Why do you
ship
need to
some
take
stuff
back
back, yeah.
three? Just sell two and keep one.
No, because the thing is, yeah, is that like it's too little time for me to sell one, right?
What do
So
you mean
I'd
you have
much
over a
rather, and
week? You
also
have a
one of them
week.
needs fixing, huh?
You have a week.
Yeah, but that's stress, you know. Well, I'd have
That's
to have someone come
that's
over and see it, and then
that's
they pay
more
me in Australian
stress than
dollars.
carrying three vacuums
Yeah,
around Japan. No,
yeah.
no, no way, no way.
It was funny because my
I've
mate, he
never
was like,
seen this.
I was
I've never
like, oh,
seen
I
anyone
can ship
double
some stuff back,
fisting
right?
vacuums. Right?
Yeah.
I just imagine you holding two vacuums, cleaning your room furiously before you move out. I'm just trying to imagine the poor Japanese receptionist trying to figure out why someone's holding three vacuums while they're checking in, trying not to
Oh
laugh, right? And you
man.
know they're too polite to laugh or ask about it, so they're just sitting there thinking, and they're going to tell everyone, their friends back behind the
Oh.
desk, why
You don't
this?
want the plot twist then.
What's the plot twist?
I actually
You
have
got a
four.
fourth one coming? No. Wait, what?
We've got a
Tell me.
Dyson V10.
Wait, why do you have four Dyson
Because
vacuums?
after I fixed the other ones, I was like, well, like,
I don't know.
so I got another broken one.
Where
Let's
you get
fix
these
it.
broken Dyson vacuums? I've never seen them.
Facebook Marketplace, bro. Do you know what the thing is? Yeah.
You're just buying. Okay, you're just buying. Look, there's not. I ain't hating on the hustle. You want to buy
Uh,
broken Dyson vacuums, fix them, or hit up that
mm.
warranty and be like, yeah, this one's also a little bit
Yeah,
off,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
They send you parts for this, right?
yeah.
At least sell them before you leave. You're telling
Yeah,
me.
I
You're
was gonna sell
telling
them
me.
before I left, but I
You
just
still have time.
do it in the
You're
UK.
telling me, in all seriousness, you're going to carry around
Yeah.
four Dyson vacuums while you're traveling around Asia and Japan? How
Mm,
are you bringing this on the
uh,
plane?
huh?
What else do you even have in your luggage? Just
Well,
like
I might
clothes?
ship it over. I might ship it over.
You
I've got
you I
clothes and
hope
all
you
my like
do.
equipment and stuff. Yeah, but it's funny because my friend he was like, "Oh, you could ship over the clothes because like they're less likely to get damaged and like you can fit more in." Yeah, and I was like,
And
"Oh, that's a
this is
good
not a
idea."
true friend.
And
This is
then I
not a
was like, and
friend.
then I was
This is not a friend.
like,
What kind of friend would recommend that and put you through
and then I have no
carrying
clothes.
four vacuums around naked in Japan?
Well, he's got a point. There is some clothes I can ship
Those
over.
vacuums could be broken when they arrest you to jail for public nudity, and the cops are just actually no, Japanese cops are actually probably good care of them while you're in jail.
Yeah, yeah. So
They
yeah, I got
those
four
Japanese cops probably
Dysons.
wouldn't even use the vacuum even if they're tempted to. They're like, that's his property, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Why he doesn't have clothes, I don't know.
And they wouldn't believe me if I explained it.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah,
the
that's
heck? You should no. Let me tell you. Just mail it.
yeah.
Just put some like packing
Yeah.
thing to like protect it.
I
Don't
know. I need to
carry.
look into that in the next few days, to be honest.
Or
I think I'm
just
gonna carry probably like one,
what do you need to carry a vacuum around while you're traveling
just in
Japan
case
for?
it gets damaged. I'd rather carry the best one.
No, dude, this
Because
is
there's
what
other
is this
things I
Harry
can
Potter
mail.
where you need to carry your own personal wand, like your own personal broom and fly
There's
around?
other
Like,
things I can
uh,
mail, you know, like
but
and if I
what?
got the
You're
space, I may
going to
as
go
well.
from hotel to hotel carrying a
No,
vacuum?
no, I'll be staying in one place. I'll be staying in one place. I'm just staying in Tokyo.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I'm staying at my
okay.
mate's house, so it's not too bad. If
Yeah,
anything, might do him a
honestly,
favor. Yeah.
yeah, I guess so.
I
You
imagine
should
he's
probably
got a
just
vacuum,
just
right? I
carry
think he's
one
got a
then.
Dyson.
Carry
Yeah,
one,
I'll carry
because if
one.
you
Yeah,
show
I'll
up
carry
to
the
your mate's
V15.
place,
That's a good
if you show up to your mate's place with 4 vacuums and you're too greedy to give him even one of these,
one. You're right. You're right. You're right.
he gonna be like, "I'm
Yeah,
letting you
you're
crash
right.
my place, and you won't. You tell me you need 4 vacuums. You don't want 4 vacuums, but you still too greedy to give me one vacuum." That's the start of the
Yeah,
next Black Mirror episode about how your friend kills you and tries to make it
yeah.
off with the
None of the
vacuums.
vacuums make it back,
Yeah,
or me. Yeah.
yeah. Let me
Yeah.
vacuum up
Nah.
this evidence. What in the
uh,
world,
yeah.
dude? What is like to be in the mind of Anicor? I don't want to know, but I'm just glad I ain't storing up all these vacuums. Look, I thought I was a
You know
hoarder
what's
at
mad is
times,
that I
but
was
you be
actually gonna put it
hoarding,
on the.
hoarding.
I was gonna put it on the stand because I was like, it's visible, like probably
It
going on
is.
it.
Well, no, because I spotted it the moment I saw. I don't remember if you had it last episode, but the
Yeah.
moment I saw it, I spotted. It. I was like, "That's a nice Dyson
Yeah, I always
vacuum."
have one like visible, but the other one's
Yeah, this is the
usually
first time I've
invisible.
seen two.
Yeah.
I better see four in the background next time. I need to see this. I need to see this.
Nah, because you know what? The other two don't have sticks, so it'd just be a bit like boring. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could definitely send those
Yeah.
back if you don't have sticks in.
Yeah,
That's easy
yeah,
to
yeah.
send back.
Yeah, it makes it way easier.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is I kind of want to take back the stand as well because the stand's really cool.
What's the stand? There's a vacuum stand.
Yeah, you just like and it charges automatically.
Anyway, all right, we're gonna wrap it up here. I can't. I'm about to call hoarders and say they have a new candidate here. I mean, I'm just shocked because the room's so bare. This is a guy that didn't have a couch for like 11 months out of his 12 months staying in Australia, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
he has 4 vacuums. I guess if you don't have furniture, you got a lot more to vacuum. So
Yeah, yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
we'll catch you all next week. But I hope you have a good one. Peace.
So